Good Karma Brands radio station. Don.
I was fighting with obesity. I wore...
You were losing.
Hahn.
John, Peter, thank you. Alan, I hope you make the team.
And Rosenberg.
Richard, have you ever heard of Brazzers?
No.
This isn't North Dakota. This is New York.
This is Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg.
The best threesome I've ever heard.
On ESPN New York and streaming live on YouTube.
Finally, the day is here. Game 1 of the NBA Finals, Knicks and the Spurs, is tonight, not next week.
Are you sure?
Not in 11 days.
It's in 5 hours and 30 minutes.
That's right. The countdown is right there on ESPN because, of course, ABC's got the coverage. We've got the coverage starting at 7 with Pat O'Keefe, who will be in San Antonio, so he will be at every game on site. And we'll have 90 minutes of coverage going into the 8:30 tip. Monica McNutt's going to join us a little bit later on for her weekly spot on a Wednesday. Other surprises as well as we're live here at Stout on 35th between 7th and 8th, just down the street from Madison Square Garden. But when you got a team in the NBA Finals, you don't need the team playing to still have a remote. So if you're in the area, you're going to come here to watch the game, or you just want to hang out, swing by, great food, great atmosphere here, we're going to take you right up till 7 o'clock. But finally, Alan.
Finally.
We've got a game. It's still a few hours away, but it feels like we've had to wait so long between series. It's almost like a football schedule that the Knicks have been on. But now it's for real. It's happening today.
Yes. It just does. It does feel like this run has had a lot of breaks in it, which it has, because they have made quick work of the last couple of opponents. And so it's been a lot of waiting around. And, you know, now it's allowed, I think, this city, about the market, Knick fans, to really just start to enjoy it, celebrate it. And now there's a great anticipation to get back to it. Because we know, as the players all said after winning Game 4 in Cleveland a million years ago, that there's still 4 more. And that's really what it's about now. It's about 4 more. And can they get 4 more in the next 7 games? And if they do, you're talking about a legacy run. You're talking about what would be one of the greatest playoff runs in the history of New York sports. And I don't think that's hyperbole.
No. I mean, we gave the list of the great runs in postseason. My last top 5 was that. And it'd be right up there with the 86 Giants who just ran roughshod. But, again, that's one game, right? You know, when you're a 14-2 football team, you're supposed to win your first playoff game. But it was against the 49ers, but still they beat them 49-3, shut out the Redskins in the championship game, and then doubled up pretty much the score with the Broncos. But that's still 40 years ago, and it's basically 3 games. This is 11 games. Nobody in the history of basketball has ever won 11 straight games by the margin of victory that they have. There have been teams that have won more than 11 straight, but not as dominant as they've been. And the whole conversation about they didn't play anybody, well, if you didn't play anybody, which obviously is debatable, then this is what you should do with those teams. You smack them around. That's exactly what they did.
Mm-hmm. Right. You could say these are weak teams, but it's not like these games all went 6 and 7 games. They finished them quickly. Even the Hawks series, that was over fast once they got right. Right? After that game 3, once they got right, that series was over quick. And I think that's what you can counter with anybody that talks about how they're only here because the East was weak and they didn't really play. They didn't play the first or second seed. And you could argue back that, okay, that's fine. But the teams they did play, they didn't just beat them. They didn't bat the bunny. They smacked them. I mean, just completely embarrassed them historically. And so they are a formidable team. They are going to make this a great series with a young Spurs team that doesn't know what they don't know. You never see this. A player like Victor Wembanyama, who we all agree is going to be a generational talent. We know this, right? You could just see it. And most of the time, other than, let's say, Magic Johnson, can you name me another rookie who stepped into the league as the main piece of a team and has reached the finals this quickly? Like, think about it. No. Michael Jordan, he had to go through the pain. He got beat. He got swept by the Celtics. Kobe. Like, all of them have gone through LeBron. They all had to lose first. It doesn't happen this way. And Magic was a main piece, of course, but he was also on a veteran team in L.A. So like, this is not normal what we're seeing.
And even in sports.
And you're wondering how, at his age, when he gets to this level, I always like to say that the deeper you go into playoffs, the air gets thinner. It gets thinner and thinner. And when you get to the NBA Finals, man, like catch your breath in the first 5 minutes of the game, because it's a different level of intensity, and you want to see how does he and his team handle it against a Knicks team that's got a lot of veterans, a lot of guys who have been through wars, and they're in their physical primes right now.
You know, you brought up something good because you even branch out away from basketball, like you said, Magic. You know, right away. Ben Roethlisberger in the NFL. What pick did he end up being? Because it was Eli. What was he?
He was like 11. Wasn't he later?
First round pick, but right away because the Steelers were good. Dan Marino I think was 24, and he was in the Super Bowl in his second year.
Yep.
But the only comp I can think of, just as you threw it out there, was Sidney Crosby. He was in his third year. They go to a Stanley Cup final
Veteran
in 08,
team.
lose to Detroit, then come back, play Detroit again, and then win the Cup.
Right.
So he was in a final in his third year because he was drafted coming out of the lockout. So he was drafted in 05. So 06, 07, 08 final, winning in 4. So Wemby would be on that same thing, right? In the final in year 3.
Yeah.
And Knicks fans all hoping it goes the same way. Lose, and then, do whatever
We'll see
you
you
got to do
next
after
year.
the fact. But it's at that level. But you know what's fun? Because, I mean, if you're a Knicks fan, you might be a Yankee fan, so you've seen the team in the World Series, or a Giant fan, you see the team in the Super Bowl, or Ranger fan, you just saw the Rangers in the Stanley Cup, I can't believe it's 12 years ago, but it's still relatively recent. But for people that are just like Knicks fans, you're going to notice it's different. This is different. The finals are different. It's going to be there's going to be a feel to it, from the anthem to the introduction. Everything is just going to feel like it's on steroids. I always bring up the Wayne Gretzky comp. He's like, there's 4 seasons: preseason, regular season, playoffs, and the final. And I think it's the same in the NBA. Preseason, regular season, the playoffs, and then you get to the finals. And it's just a different animal. You're going to sense it. You're going to see it. It's going to be spectacular. You're going to blush. You're going to want to pass out. It's going to be so amazing to see your team. And the other uniqueness of this, Alan, is if you're of a certain age and don't remember 99, is that, you've met the Spurs in the regular season, but think of this run. You just played Atlanta in the playoffs. You just played the Sixers in the playoffs a couple of years ago. You just played the Cavaliers a couple of years ago. But to play the Spurs, like the West, it's a different animal. It is. It's a different feel. It's so cool to be this far, and it's just going to be, you're going to notice it. It's hard to put it into words, but you're going to notice
It's just
that
different.
everything is completely amped up.
Look, the logo's on the court. The Larry O'Brien. They don't put that on the court until you get to this level. Like, you come out on the court, that's the first thing you see, and that's the first reminder of, this is different. This is real. Like, there is coverage wall to wall, and it's strictly about 2 teams and only 2 teams.
Yep.
That's how you know media day, where they're all sitting there at the podium, and it's not like 15 people. It's 40 people, 50 people, right? All sitting in that room, hanging on every word you have to say, asking you questions. It's real, and that's what you look forward to. And there's a lot of different things. You know what's amazing? In the Brunson era, this is only the 3rd time the Knicks have opened a series on the road. That's it.
Yeah.
They've twice other. First was the first year against Cleveland. At Cleveland, they won that game. And then last year against Boston, and they won that game, game 1.
On the next one.
So right. But this team has really spent a lot of times as the team that usually is playing that game 1 at home, with all that pressure on the home team being, hey, you got to win game 1 at home. It's so important. Where now you're that road team that's just saying, all right, like let's empty the tank. Let's see what they got. And if you lose a game 1 on the road, it's not so bad, because you say to yourself, all right, if I can get the split, it's still there.
Well, that's it.
You don't have that panic as a home team that loses a game 1. But the funny thing is that when this team plays on the road, they seem to excel. They seem to be better off on the road. So 2-0 in game 1s start a series on the road. All right? 16-12 overall on the road in the 4 years that Jalen Brunson has been on this team. 16-12 on the road in the playoffs, Don.
That's pretty amazing.
So playing on the road doesn't bother them. Playing on the road is not intimidating at all to them. And playing the Spurs, this is the 4th time now they'll see them. They've played them 3 times. It's not that mystery. They have played them. They know this team pretty well. And on top of it, I got to throw this out there. Jalen Brunson won a national championship in 2018 with the Villanova Wildcats. That was his 2nd national championship. The last time he won a championship to end a season. That game was played in San Antonio.
There you go. The Alamo Dome, right?
Right. So, I mean, there's a lot of things here that show you that if you think he and any of these guys are walking into this with some kind of apprehension or concern or anxiety, I think this is exactly where they want to be, where they expect to be, and I think they're going to be very comfortable. Win and lose is a different story. You got to perform. But I don't think being on the road, being an underdog, having everybody pick the Spurs and not them, none of that matters. They've been waiting for this. I told you the story. They've been waiting for this moment since last year when they were eliminated in the Eastern Conference Finals, and they got together and they had a party and they said, okay, this time next year we'll be in the finals. We belong there. And here they are.
Yeah, it's a big story, and it's definitely something that's going to get repeated throughout these finals, and certainly if they win. Another thing that I like about playing the game one on the road, I will tell you about. First, you have to tell me and everybody else about Amazon.
Yes, I do, because in New York, everybody knows every block is a business. Every minute counts. And Amazon Hub Delivery lets you earn extra revenue from the business you already run. So you and your staff can deliver packages right in your neighborhood on a schedule that works for you. Bryant and the crew at 165 Hardware in Washington Heights deliver during their store's afternoon downtime. So the extra revenue from Amazon Hub Delivery helps their bottom line, and delivering has given the business more visibility and connection to their community. And by the way, you wondering how to get started? It's easy. You don't need any delivery experience whatsoever. No long-term contracts are needed here as well. And most importantly, there's no startup cost. It's so simple. So New York local businesses, if you're ready to make your next move, visit Amazon.com/hubdelivery. That's Amazon.com/HUB delivery, Donnie.
Now, you want to be home, obviously. But you mentioned all those home game ones. What do we always say ad nauseum? Well, the Knicks never won a series when they lost the first game at home.
That's
so it
right.
puts a lot of pressure on you. And I think there's a lot of pressure to set the tone because, remember, their next loss will be their first in over a month. We'll end the streak, and then you'll be interested to see.
43 days, 42 days?
It's crazy. Yeah, it's way over a month.
Crazy.
But here's the thing. As much as there'll be upset fans, maybe a little panic, because you know how things are, because it'll be the first loss in a long time. Your objective as a road team is just get the split.
Yep.
You'd love to win the first two, but the mission can still be accomplished even if you lose game one.
Of course.
But if you're home and you lose game one, you're right in the thick of it. Everybody's panicking.
Now the pressure is on.
You know, they could sit in San Antonio and be like, all right, let's get back to work. We come back with the split. We now have home court advantage. The objective is still there.
Yeah.
When you're home and you lose game one, it's, now the pressure is you got to win game two.
Conference Finals last year. Right? Conference Finals last year. You lose that stupid game on the stupid bounce. And the panic set in, and then that game two is you didn't know, you got to win this, and all it takes is one guy on the other team to be red hot. It was Pascal Siakam. He just went off in that game. They had nobody to guard him, and now all of a sudden you're down 0-2 on the road. And as you know, when you're in that situation, series is over.
And game one, you'll hear things like, hey, it's only one game. It's only the first game. But you see the stats, right?
70% of the time.
70% of the time, the team that wins game one wins the best of 7 series. In the Stanley Cup Final, we watched that game last night. Great game, by the way. 76% of the teams that win game one go on to win the series. So those numbers mean something. I think history shows you even that winning game one sets the tone.
Yeah.
And you want to do that.
So how do you win game one? That's to me now. I feel like early in a series like this, where these are two really good teams. Early in a series like this, you're looking at the strategy first. You're not looking at – because, Wemby could go for 40-20 like he did in Game 1 against the Thunder. He could do that, and it doesn't mean he's going to average 40-20 for the whole series.
No.
Because you adjust. Brunson could go for 30 in this game, could go for 40 in this game. He had 61 against this team a couple of years ago. He could. He could go crazy. It doesn't mean he's going to do that the whole series. What happens, I think, early in a playoff series is you see things and you make adjustments. And the one thing that Mike Brown's been very good at, he and his coaching staff have been really good in this run. In game, making adjustments. In game, halftime adjustments, third quarter, all of a sudden things change. This team has been really good at, okay, let's see what they do with this. Let's see how they're going to cover that. All right, we have a counter. Because that, to me, is the chess match that helps you win in the playoffs. And if you can make the correct moves in a game, you could go from being down 22 and then win the game by putting pressure on the team that all of a sudden you're making your comeback. There's little things like that to me, change everything. So I'm curious to see in the first 2 games, maybe even first 3 games, is what are the chess pieces, what are the strategies, who's guarding who's in a rotation that we're like, whoa, that guy didn't play at all in the play. Why is he playing now? There's all going to be little things like that to watch, especially tonight, to see how both teams think they want to try something to see if it'll work.
Well, obviously in the NBA, the perimeter is so important. You're shooting from 3.
Yep.
You're defending of 3.
Yep.
And I think the latter is the most important, Alan, because if the Spurs are hitting their threes and you've got to go out and defend, and you leave the bottom of the basket open, like Wemby's going to have a field day.
Yeah.
So
but I don't think they play that way. The Spurs don't play like that. I'm telling you, watch that Thunder series. They really don't play that way. What you want to see that they're going to do a lot is the screens that Wemby's part of, and then they get the switch. That's the dangerous stuff. But you have to watch him a lot of times on the perimeter because of his ability to take one. Like, how Towns is driven a little more in the playoffs and he's had some success. Wembanyama, he's one dribble. Like, you understand, if he's in the high post, which is, for those who don't know, the free throw line, like the elbow part, if he's up there, he's one step from a dunk. Like that's not a jump shot for him. So that's where you got to worry if there's a slip, there's a movement. It's just that's 2. It's 2 points. It's already over.
I wasn't prepared for him. Nobody was.
Yeah.
But one of the first games I did when I did those 7 Knicks games a few years ago was Wemby's rookie year.
First game at the Garden.
I think I did that game with Wally.
Mm-hmm.
And, new to doing play-by-play for basketball is you anticipate what's going to happen. And when you see somebody that far away from the basket, you're not thinking he's going to dunk the basketball.
Right.
And in one motion. Yeah. And I was like, oh, my God. And he was a kid, and he's still a kid, but he's growing and literally and figuratively, right, growing.
Yes.
He is going to get bigger as he gets old.
I honestly think he's not – I think they list him at 7'4". I honestly think he's either already 7'5" or he's going to be –
No, he's going to be 7'5". So
yeah.
he is a special guy, and certainly somebody that you've got circled that you're going to have to worry about.
Yeah, but I just again for everybody watching, like, you got to understand, he's going to do things. Like, you can't overreact if he's doing something spectacular because that's what he does. He does spectacular things because of his size and his agility. You can't get caught up in it. You can't panic. To me, it's the other guys. That's the guys you got to watch. And don't let somebody like Vassell go off and knock down a bunch of threes. They've got a couple of – like I told you about their guards. I love their guards. And they're the ones that you've got to keep in check. You can't let Harrison Barnes get a bunch of open corner threes. You can't let Keldon Johnson come in the game off the bench. That's a guy you're going to pay attention to because he plays a very aggressive, very power-type game. And he comes in and he brings a lot of emotion. You can't let him get cooking. Those are the guys you got to keep off balance because then what happens is now they need Wembanyama to do everything. That wears him down. That's a huge part of this series. So don't get caught up in his, oh, my God, he's averaging 35. Who cares? What you want is for the others to struggle because your defense is so good that it becomes, Wemby's got to do more. He's got to shoot more. He's got to score more. You got to pay attention to his – I've followed that team very closely throughout the playoffs, and I remember from game to game, there was one game he only took 15 shots or 12 shots, and Mitch Johnson said, that's not enough. I need him shooting more. Like, called him out. So that's what you want. You want him to feel the pressure of carrying his team because no one else can do anything.
That's it.
Let him do whatever he's going to do because it's going to happen. He's going to put up his numbers. It's the others you should be watching as a fan. Just make sure no one else has it going.
It kind of reminded me, you just explained that sometimes you don't mind if that one guy is going crazy because you can figure out a way to win. That amazing Super Bowl win the Giants had in Super Bowl 25 against the Bills. Let Thurman Thomas go.
Thurman Thomas went crazy.
Let him go crazy.
Here's your other example.
Shut those wide receivers down and let him do what he's going to do.
Yeah.
And we'll contain the points because they can't score 50 points with Thurman Thomas running the ball. So you pick your poison and maybe sure your wide receivers are not going to beat us. Risen's not going to beat us. Lofton's not going to beat us, and they won the game. So it's kind of like that. All right, well, Wemby's going to go off. If he gets 35, 40 points and you shut everybody else down, you're going to win the game.
Right, and great example is historic. Michael Jordan's famous 63-point game against the Celtics, where Larry Bird said that was not Michael Jordan, that was God disguised as Michael Jordan. Jordan went for 63. They lost.
Yeah, well,
and the Celtics were fine. We just play him one-on-one. Let him go crazy. No one else is even doing anything, and that's the most important thing. The best teams that have a great player, but there's always somebody else doing stuff. This Nick run is a great example of it. Jalen Brunson can have a big night, but there's always others that we keep talking about, whether it's OG Anunoby or whether it's Landry Shamet, who are contributing to the offense so that when you were paying so much attention to Brunson, now all of a sudden they're killing you. What you can't do is overreact to what Wembanyama is going to do, because he is just a wonderful talent and something we've never seen before. He's going to do things that are going to take your breath away because of his size and his athleticism, and you can't get caught up in it. Now all of a sudden everybody's just staring at him and trying to stop him. No, don't let these other guys feel good for 5 minutes in this series.
Well, correct me if I'm wrong. I believe the double nickel game, the Knicks almost won that game.
Yeah,
they didn't get blown out. That was a close game.
You remember what happened, though? This is why they lost the game. Because they all ran at Michael thinking he's taking the shot, and Michael dumped it off to Bill Wennington for a layup.
Right.
That's how they lost the game.
Right.
Because everybody ran at Michael going, he's definitely shooting this. They all ran at him, overreacted, and Bill Wennington's like, oh, thank you. Right? Think about it. And that's exactly my point. The point I'm trying to make, a lot of fans get so caught up in stats. This guy's killing us. Let him.
Let him.
It's the other guys you don't want them getting going. Julian Champagnie, the Brooklyn kid, who had 11 threes against the Knicks on New Year's Eve. I called that game for MSG. Remarkable. He couldn't miss. The Knicks couldn't find him. You know why? Because they were worried about everybody else.
Yeah.
They weren't worried about him. He's the hot guy. Take him out. Don't worry so much about having to double and send guys and watch with Wembanyama. Can he score 100? Can he beat Wilt Chamberlain? He's going to have to. And by the way, 100 might not be enough to beat the Knicks.
Yeah, well,
right?
Because they're going to score.
If no one else scores, come on.
They're going to get theirs for sure. No question about that. Programming alert. Today's Mets-Mariners game can be heard on 1050. Game 1 of the NBA Finals between the Knicks and the Spurs can be heard on 880 ESPN New York. Tip-off is set for 8:30. Pre-game will start at 7. All the games can be streamed on the ESPN New York app. And again, thanks to our partners at the Mets for allowing the Knicks to take center stage. And why not? We're talking about the NBA Finals as the Mets and the Mariners are about to get underway. So, again, if you're tuning into 880 for the Mets, coverage is over at 1050. All right, big show means big wardrobe. I told you I was over at Robert Graham picking up some clothes. You like the color?
By the way, the blue color's fantastic, right? And I love the jacket. It fits you perfect. The material's wonderful. But everybody's got to take a look at the blouse. Look at this. Come on. That's next level.
But I got Nick colors.
That's not a shirt. Don't dare say shirt. That's a blouse. This is beautiful.
It's blouses.
Yes.
Game blouses. So it's got Nick colors. If you want to see it in person, we're at Stout.
Yep. Come on down.
35th between 7th and 8th Avenue.
I'm in team issue today, by the way, because we got an outdoor performance later.
Listen,
team issue.
Look at you.
I know.
No, it's really nice. And it's blue as well. Monica McNutt will join us at 4 o'clock, her weekly spot here on Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg. Other surprises as well, including a curated list at 4:30 that Alan was involved in.
This list is special.
It is creative, I'll tell you that. 6 o'clock, E&N with Anthony Pusick.
Might get a little Bill Pito.
I requested Bill.
Yeah.
Who would host the parade if there is one, much to Alan's chagrin. But so Bill said he might come by?
Yeah,
right?
he just asked the time. So he's saying, how's 4:45? We like that?
I like it right after the list.
Perfect.
After Monica. So we're all set up here, guys. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're hanging out with you until 7 o'clock, and then we will get into our coverage of the Knicks. Want to hear from you? 1-800-919-3776. Just getting started on a beautiful Wednesday from Stout, getting ready for Game 1 of the NBA Finals. Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg, ESPN New York.
The Knicks.
This is a team that is very talented and is playing its absolute highest level of basketball.
The Spurs.
The Knicks have been completely unstoppable.
The NBA Finals.
They will play for the Larry O'Brien Trophy.
I talk about how great we are. That doesn't matter. We just got to worry about being ourselves and just stay locked in and, go win.
NBA Finals Game 1 coverage begins tonight at 7 on 880 and the ESPN New York app.
Hi, I'm Jonathan Ratliff, Engineering Director at Nissan. We know some things are important to hear from an expert, not a voice actor. For instance, the Nissan Frontier is not only powerful and fun to drive, but it's durable too. We added the V6 engines. When you need that power in the off-road, it's there. I know, we've tested it a lot. Now get out there and find your frontier.
Nissan, #1 in new vehicle quality among mainstream brands by J.D. Power. Well-qualified buyers get 0% APR on the 2026 Nissan Rogue, Murano, Pathfinder, or Frontier, excluding S-Trim. For J.D. Power 2025 US IQS award information, visit jdpower.com/awards. Awards based on 2025 model year. Example, 0 down payment, 60 months financing at $1,667 per month per thousand financed. Frontier S-Trim 1.9% APR for 60 months at $1,748 per month per thousand financed. Actual down payment may vary. Subject to in-back credit approval. Not all buyers qualify. Dealer contribution may affect actual price set by dealer. Contact dealer for details. N6/30/26.
If you think a new central air conditioning system is out of your budget, think again. Slomin's is here to change the game with their preseason super sale. They're now offering cutting-edge 18-SEER 2026 refrigerant-compliant R45-4B systems, expertly installed by their certified technicians, all at the lowest prices of the year. That's right. Get started with 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for 18 months. Plus, they're including a comprehensive service plan for 5 years, including annual system checks, filter replacement, and refrigerant to keep your AC running smoothly all summer long. Call Slomin's today at 516-932-7000 for your free estimate. But hurry, these cool savings won't last. That's 516-932-7000 or visit ac.slomans.com. 18-month promo period, no payment, no interest, and no down payment offer. The offer is available through a third-party bank. On approved credit, interest is waived if loan is repaid in full during the same as cash period. Terms and conditions apply.
It doesn't matter if you're running drills at the park, playing pickup on a Saturday, or sinking the final putt. When you compete with your friends with Michelob Ultra on the line, competition isn't that friendly. The trash talk, next level, and the stakes, oh, those are crystal clear. With only 95 calories and superior smooth taste, it's the ultimate trophy. Superior is worth playing for. Michelob Ultra, superior light beer. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2025, Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Hey, New York and New Jersey, Boost Mobile has an unlimited talk, text, and data plan that's only $25 a month forever, meaning you'll only ever pay $25 a month for the rest of your life. Who wouldn't want unlimited wireless when it only costs $25 a month forever? If you don't, you must be one of those people who enjoy overpaying for their phone plan. $25 a month forever is truly as good as it gets. So go online and switch now at boostmobile.com. After 30 gigabytes, customers may experience slower speeds. Customers will pay $25 a month as long as they remain active on the Boost Mobile Unlimited plan.
And now let's take a look at the traffic with Brandy Scott.
Thanks a million, guys. Good afternoon. It's a big night for the Knicks. Game 1 of the NBA Finals. We've got a bunch of watch parties going on. MSG Plaza 33 and Central Park Summer Stage. Heading over to the inbound, George. Stick with the upper deck if you can, even with roadwork on the span. About a 5 to 10 minute ride. Lower levels, some more repairs and a crash. It's going to run you about 15 to 20 minutes in building. Worst of it's the outbound, George, Cross Bronx westbound. Just jam there from the Bruckner on through. Outbound Lincoln will run you about 15 to 20. Outbound Holland 20 to 30. Not moving much on the Jackie Robinson eastbound in Queens, heading over to Kew Gardens. Big crash over by Queens Boulevard. Only one lane is squeezing by. Traffic is at a standstill there from Cypress Avenue. This report is sponsored by Mothers Against Drunk Driving. For victims of drunk and drug driving, your grief is unique, but you're not alone. You always have a place at MAD. Visit mad.org. I'm Brandy Scott on 880 ESPN New York.
Okay, all signed up. Easy. Now let's run payroll. What the? Hey girl, I'm you with more gusto. Nice. Who's that? New social media manager, hired and onboarded with gusto. And spoiler, we're kind of famous now. Wait, we're famous? Oh, well, I'm famous. Payroll, benefits, and HR. Designed and built for small businesses. Choose a future with gusto.
Progressive knows there's no one more important to your team than your pet. They're like your top draft pick.
And it looks like Chuck has selected Pepper the Corgi. Bold pick there, Deborah.
Yeah, Rich, Pepper has a high ceiling for sure, but he does have a tendency to bark at every tree.
Yeah, he brings a lot to the table, but also takes a lot off of it, especially when it's been left near the edge.
Nothing left to do now but suit him up for the dog park.
Protect your top draft pick from injury and illness with Progressive Pet Insurance. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party insurers. Not available in all states or situations. Covered subject to policy terms.
Just like the New Jersey Devils bring intensity to the ice, Viking Pest Control brings that same level of protection to your home. And I know, because I use Viking at my own place, The season may be over, but pests are always in play, so it's time to lock in your off-season defense. As the pest control provider and proud partner of the Devils, Viking delivers 45 years of trusted experience to keep ants, cockroaches, stinging insects, rodents, mosquitoes, and more out of your zone. Their local team builds a personalized game plan that actually works, and when you bundle pest control mosquito services, you score big savings. One call, one company, total peace of mind. Visit VikingPest.com, protecting your home inside and out. Don Hahn and Rosenberg live from Stout. 35th between 7th and 8th. If you're going to the watch party, and there will be a watch party
how about that?
At the Garden, which is cool.
That's awesome.
Looked like there wasn't going to be one. So if you're heading to that, and I can tell you a little bit of traffic today. Wednesdays are always kind of congested because you got the matinees going. It's a beautiful day. Give yourself some time. And if you get here early, swing by Stout. We're going to be here until 7 o'clock, and we'll have some fun. But I want to hear from you on the day of, listen, the biggest thing going, man. It is the Knicks in the NBA Finals for the first time in 27 years. So let's hear from you. Start with Sal on Long Island. You're on ESPN New York. What's up, Sal? Salvatore. No. Not the first one. All right, we'll try.
Well, we got to be ready to pop these up.
All right, Steve in California. We're going to start with you on Don Hahn and Rosenberg.
Hey, guys. Thanks for taking my call. I got the chance to speak with you yesterday. It's been a long time because I don't live in New York and don't listen that much anymore. But now, how do you not? And so yesterday I was talking with you guys about how I thought the Knicks would run San Antonio. And today I'm beginning to think that San Antonio is going to look to play his own. But the Knicks have too many weapons, and all these guys pass. The Knicks are walking into this so well prepared. You look at the way they've changed their offense and their defense throughout the year. I believe they've seen everything, and I believe they're prepared to exploit any weaknesses that San Antonio does show. They don't have a lot. They're a good athletic team. But you started to talk earlier, and I mentioned to the producer earlier, I would guard Wemby one-on-one. I would shut down everybody else as best you can and let Wemby try to beat you itself. It's a team game, and that's how I feel. I believe the Knicks will win. And I'm really looking forward. I'd love to sit and talk with you. I've met you guys both. Love to get the chance to tell you some of my stories about when I worked at TGI Fridays and the Knicks hung out there and lots of stuff. Let's go Knicks.
Well, thanks a lot for the phone call. Times have changed.
I do think you can throw multiple bodies at him. By the way, I think we buried the lead here too. Not that anybody's surprised, but Mitchell Robinson will play tonight.
Yeah.
That's something that Shams did confirm with a report earlier today, but we were feeling this yesterday when we saw him at practice. The fact that first he was visible at practice. They weren't trying to hide him. He was dribbling a basketball. He was showing that he's definitely capable. So he's going to play. So between him, Towns, OG Anunoby, Wembanyama is going to deal with three big, strong bodies. And we know that's what the Thunder tried to do. Hartenstein did a decent job on him, just trying to pound him and beat him up and slow him down and wear him down. But I think you're going to see what Steve was talking about, was you're going to see the Knicks say, we're just going to keep throwing guys at him, but we're not going to overreact to him. I think that's what you're going to see. Make him run, make him work, and understand he's going to get his numbers and not overreact to them.
Time for you to shine. 1-800-919-3776. William in Hempstead. You're on Don Hahn and Rosenberg.
Yes, gentlemen. Good afternoon, everyone. What a good day to be a Knicks fan. I mean, it was just yesterday I was counting down the days. Now I'm literally counting down the hours. Who's talking about? So I'm pretty sure it's going to be a long, drawn-out game series here. But if anything, I have one negative concern of mine.
What is it?
Is the foul calling.
Yeah.
It's the foul calling, particularly between Cat and Wemby.
Very
now,
true.
I don't know, Val, you may know better than I do. I feel that the one who keep each other big men from getting into foul trouble is the one that's going to win the game and then eventually the series. So if you saw these two teams separately in the playoff, who had the bigger edge for keeping the big men into foul trouble? Because I'm still concerned it's going to come down to the ref calling these things. Enjoy the game, friends. Enjoy the rest of the afternoon.
Thank you. Yeah,
thank you, William.
It always does come down to whistles at times, right? Like that always is. How are they going to call it? Understand this, it is the finals. There's no official that is going to try to take over the game. This is where the officials all know. Everybody's watching them too. So you're not going to get, like in a series earlier on when everything else is going on, there might be some situations where you're like, the officials swallow the whistle, all that stuff. I don't think in the finals you get that. I think in the finals you're just getting calls straight up. What I like is if you were playing the Thunder, you'd really worry about the flopping and all the extra stuff that they do. Spurs play straight up. They don't really do too much of that. Mm-hmm. Then again, everybody does it a little, but no one does it to the degree the Thunder do that really puts pressure on the officials, whether they're going to call it or not. So I think that goes out the window. But it is true about Towns. He can get into foul trouble. If he's guarding Wembanyama early in a game, you do worry about him picking up a couple of cheap fouls. That could have a huge effect. But, you also have to know that you can get their guys in foul trouble too. Fouls are part of the game. But I wonder how much they'll allow physicality because the Knicks like to defend physically, and they're very good when they're allowed to. But guess what? So are the Spurs. Their guards, especially Castle, physical, tough defenders that if you let them play and don't call the cheap stuff, it's going to be a battle of attrition.
I know we get into the conspiracy theories all the time. Well, they want Wemby to win. He's the next face of the of the NBA, and you can't be that unless you have a ring. And I'm sure people in San Antonio going, they want New York to win. Big market.
It's a great story.
Knicks haven't won. It's a tremendous story. Like, everybody gets into the conspiracy theories. These are the best of the best. These officials are evaluated all year long so they can be in the position that they're in. And that's why you get the best of the best. Does that mean they're not going to screw up? Of course. They're going to make mistakes, and there could be questionable calls. But overall, you've got the best guys in there, and it's really the style of how they're going to call it. They're going to let them play. They're going to call everything. But I think that's more style than it is incompetence.
Of course.
If you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, I also think that in the end, I've never remembered an NBA Finals where I've said the winner won because of the officials. It's always playmaking, shot making. At this level, those are the two things that matter. The teams that do that the best are going to win. Simple as that. Playmaking, shot making.
1-800-919-3776. Matt in Westchester, you're on ESPN New York.
Hey, guys, listen, just to echo the last caller, what a time to be a Knicks fan. I think I was 17 the last time they were in the finals. So it's been a long road. And I'm going to tell you, I wasn't really so confident when, the coaching change was made in the beginning between, Thibodeau and Brown. I think Thibodeau was a fantastic coach. But to see what happened throughout the playoffs, especially where they started embracing kind of Cat as that point forward, as that point center, as that playmaking type of center where you embrace his strengths and say, as long as you're passable on defense, we can build another team around you and another team that has another gear. As soon as I saw that and double-digit assists were coming up, I was like, oh, my God, we reached another gear.
Yep.
This is another level of play that I hadn't seen before, ever, in the last however many years, 50 years? Like 40 years, whatever.
No, this offense is it's reminiscent of the 73 team. For anybody that's old enough to have seen them, it's what Clyde told me. He's like, that's how we played. It was just share the ball. The ball will find the open man. That's all they care about. And he said, I would pass to look for the open man, and sometimes I was the open man. But it was game to game, matchup to matchup, situation to situation. There was always somebody who was going to end up being the open man. And a lot of times it's Josh Hart. He's got to knock down those shots when he is. A lot of times it's Mikal Bridges, and that's why he's averaging 18 a game during the winning streak, because he finds himself open by all the cutting and moving. And the Towns thing that he brought up, which is a really good point, is if you think about this too, Towns doesn't – it's not about how many shots he gets up. It's having the ball, feeling like I'm part of the offense. He loves to be a playmaker. Do you realize that actually has made him a better defender? Does that make sense to you?
No, it does.
Because he feels engaged. And now instead of running back on defense going, I haven't touched the ball, I didn't get the ball, right? And like feeling frustrated that I'm not part of it. We haven't scored in 2 possessions. I haven't touched the ball. Now my head's somewhere else, and now I get beat, right?
Yeah.
Instead, he moves, he passed the ball, and now he's getting back, and now he's locked in. He's more engaged because he's part of it. He feels involved. And all year we kept wondering, what is wrong with him? What is wrong with Cat? It was as simple as that. He just wanted to be involved. He wanted to feel part of it. And ever since they've made this change, he's been a different guy, not only personality-wise, but on the defensive end.
Oh, we had lots of conversations. What's wrong with Cat?
Yep.
I had speculated, was it because of the possibility of making a trade for Giannis and he being the guy that would go? And, am I going to go to another team? I'm in Minnesota. I'm in New York. Now I'm going to go to Milwaukee. Am I ever going to finally land someplace and be a part of a team that's trying to make a run to a championship? But maybe it was just that. He just was misplaced. Now, you got to find a way to overcome that, but I can understand.
Yep.
When things are going your way one way, you're probably going to bring it to the other.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it always seems like the guy that makes the big play in the baseball game in the field, if he's leading off the next inning, he'll hit a home run. Like, he's in it, because things are going well.
Right.
You feel like you're involved, and that's such a great way you described it. I'm not getting the ball. Now I've got to bust it down there and play defense, and my mind's someplace else. And defense is, there's a lot of strategy to it, but it's also just the effort
just be
and
locked
the engagement of locked in
just be
to
focused.
to do it. And that's just another reason why everybody just seems to be on the same page.
By the way, when you're thinking about the coaching change, it was this day a year ago that they announced they were moving on from Tom Thibodeau. Imagine that.
Yeah, it's.
And a year later, they're in the NBA Finals.
Well,
because that was a move. All of us, myself included, it was like, what are you doing? That's a risky thing. A coach that gets you, like, he's turned the franchise around, won a lot of playoff games. He brought you right to the doorstep, and you're like, nope, it's got to change. It's got to be better. And they made a risky move, and a year later, Don, they are now playing for the NBA championship.
I want to dive deeper into that because I've got a couple of things to say about the coach and how that all went down. It is so ironic, just more symmetry with this team. The 1 year anniversary of Tibbs being let go, and here is game one of the NBA Finals in San Antonio. Just unbelievable. Got tons of calls to get to at 1-800-919-3776. Monica McNutt's going to join us at 4. Bill Pito will join us at 4:45. We've got a list at 4:30. We got ENN at 6. Take you right up to 7 o'clock, and then it's Pat O'Keefe with the pregame. Game one, finally.
Here we go.
Knicks and the Spurs. We're live from Stout, 35th between 7th and 8th. Swing by. We're here till 7. Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg, ESPN New York.
The Knicks.
This is a team that is very talented and is playing its absolute highest level of basketball.
The Spurs.
The Knicks have been completely unstoppable.
The NBA Finals.
They will play for the Larry O'Brien Trophy.
I talk about how great we are. That doesn't matter. We just got to worry about being ourselves and just stay locked in and, go win.
NBA Finals Game 1 coverage begins tonight at 7 on 880 and the ESPN New York app.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today. 1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 877-CARS-4-KIDS to speak to a friendly live agent. Donation is super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Go to carsforkids.org now or call 877-CARS-4-KIDS to donate your car today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids.
Did you know you can donate real estate too? Go to carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K.
At Uline, the prevailing opinion is if you don't live it, you don't believe it. The people at Uline believe in hard work, and they live it by being there 24/7 to answer your call, having 41,000 items in stock, and offering same-day shipping from 12 locations across North America. Business owners, sellers, buyers, shippers, and packers believe it. Uline is the hard-working, dependable source for your shipping and industrial supplies. Visit uline.com.
This is the Ty Butler Show.
When I say Wemby's the best player in the series, there are a lot of Knicks fans who are like, nah, man, JB's the best player. You know why? Because he's the more proven player, and he's the most clutch player in the league. And all of those reasons are why Brunson, of any guy, has the most pressure in this series. And I expect him to ball out. I am picking the Spurs to win in 7.
The Ty Butler Show. Listen Sunday mornings at 8 on ESPN New York and the ESPN New York app.
This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day.
Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
We expect our information in real time. US Med carries continuous glucose monitors, which provide real-time readings of blood glucose levels. US Med is an approved provider for Medicare and over 500 private insurers. So call 888-665-0696 today for a free insurance and Medicare benefits check as easy as... That's 888-665-0696.
Okay, I have to tell you, I was just looking on eBay where I go for all kinds of things I love, and there it was.
That hologram trading card. One of the rarest, the last one I needed for my set. Shiny like the...
designer handbag of my dreams. One of a kind. eBay had it, and now everyone's asking, ooh, where'd you get your...
windshield wipers. eBay has all the parts that fit my car. No more annoying... just beautiful.
Millions of finds, each with a story. eBay. Things people love.
Harry Douglas here to tell you about Fruity Rainbow 5-Hour Energy Shots. It's a fruity candy flavor explosion, and I mean explosion. Fruity Rainbow 5-Hour Energy Shots, a zero-sugar treat that's sweet tooth approved. These can take care of my candy cravings and provides a tasty caffeine kick without all the sugar. Fruity Rainbow 5-Hour Energy Shots. Get candy-flavored chaos with Fruity Rainbow 5-Hour Energy Shots. Available online at 5hourenergy.com or Amazon.
The ESPN New York Beach Bash is back. Thursday, July 2nd at Bar A in Lake Como, New Jersey. Head down to the Jersey Shore and join the Michael K. Show and Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg live starting at 1 p.m. Plus, there'll be appearances from DiPietro and Rothenberg, as well as Bart and Carlin. We'll have plenty of giveaways for fans in attendance, a soccer watch party, and the chance to test your skills by trying to kick a soccer goal past Rick DiPietro. Plus, music from Surfing for Daisy. It's all brought to you by Spike Dave, Boost Mobile, Miller Lite, Fanatics Fest NYC, and New Jersey Lottery. You must be at least 21 years of age to enter.
Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg live from Stout. Peter Rosenberg's on assignment. He'll be back on Monday as we get you set for Game 3, and we'll be back here at Stout on Friday and Monday. If there's a Knicks playoff game or right now a finals game, we're going to be here giving you all the information that we can. But before we continue with this segment and your calls at 1-800-919-3776, listen up, because our producer, Anthony Pusick, has something to tell you.
Thank you, Don, Alan, and New York. Everybody here, you need to hear this. This summer, all lines lead to Champs Sports Fan Central Station, a soccer pop-up shop open right in the heart of the city, 125 West 33rd Street. Not too far. Not too far from here. This is the soccer destination in New York. Jerseys for every national team you ride with, USA, Mexico, Argentina, Brazil, and way, way more, all under one roof. If you want to gear up, rep your country, and feel the energy of the city, Champs Sports Fan Central Station, 125 West 33rd Street. That is where you need to be.
Well, thank you, Anthony.
Thank you
for getting that started for us. We were just talking about this is the one-year anniversary of Tibbs being let go, and I remember.
Isn't that amazing?
Like, what are they doing? This doesn't make any sense.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not unprecedented, and we're seeing it happen now. I mean, it's what the Islanders tried to do with Patrick Waugh, and they made the move, and it obviously didn't work for them to be able to make the playoffs. But if they did sneak into the playoffs and made a run, we'd be praising Darsh for making the deal and bringing DeBoer in. But you brought it up during our group chat. We're watching Game 1 of the Stanley Cup Finals last night, Vegas and Carolina, and Golden Knights come back from 2-0 down to win that game, crazy game. And they made the move to bring in John Tortorella. And just like Tibbs, nobody's saying that Bruce Cassidy, who was the coach that was let go, is a bad coach. Matter of fact, they're lined up to hire him. It's just that right now Vegas isn't granting permission to certain teams because they know how good a coach he is.
Right.
But he wasn't the right coach for them at that particular moment. And it looks like John Tortorella may be, because they win that game. They're up 1-0. They're 3 wins away from winning a cup. Right? And the Knicks are 4 wins away from winning their championship. And you saw how Joe Torre changed things. Buck Showalter's a hell of a coach.
Yes.
But Joe was just right for that period. So just like we talk about free agency, it's not the best player, it's the right player.
Yep.
It's the same with coaches. You could be a great coach, and you get us a lot of wins, but we believe we need something different. Now, where the Knicks lucked out is that what if Jason Kidd had taken the job? What if but Johnny Donovan had taken – not Johnny Donovan.
Billy Donovan.
Billy Donovan.
Yeah.
Johnny Donovan was somebody who used to be our imaging guy way back in the day.
Johnny Donovan, love it.
Yeah, but the point is that would this be happening with them? Because that takes credit away from Mike, and I don't think that's fair because I think Mike brought – all right, he's not Tibbs. Remember the whole anybody but Tibbs. There may be something to that, but he's brought something, Alan, that has contributed to this, not just the fact that he's not Tom Thibodeau.
It's amazing, right, because the conversation at the time was, like, Mike Brown wasn't their first choice is what people say. And it was because of they were first reaching out to teams asking about the availability of current coaches. And the team said no. So you went one by one through different teams and was told no. So Jason Kidd certainly famously was one. Like we just go down the line, but there were several coaches they reached out for. And it almost became kind of comical because they were just it almost became like they're going to ask every single coach in the league, right?
That's what it felt like. And that's where he came up with anybody but Tibbs. Just sound like just give me somebody else.
Give me somebody. But Mike Brown ended up being the right guy, exactly what they needed. And what I like the symmetry between him and Tortorella having success is that Tortorella, last time he was in a Stanley Cup final was 2004. I covered that final.
I was at Game 7 of that series.
Yeah, myself was I was there too. And like to think about it, it's 22 years, right? 22 years in between appearances. And for Mike Brown, his last time as a head coach in the NBA Finals was 2007. So it's 19 years. So the two of them have gone like a long time in between coaching in the Ultimate Series. And so the fact that both of them are back in it right now at the same time, there is an interesting symmetry to that. And it's, it'd be interesting to see if they both can win. But it just shows you, though, that sometimes a coach is just the right time. And that's Joe Torre. Everybody mocked the Yankees for that. The Clueless Joe headline will go down in history as one of the freezing cold takes right, when it comes to tabloid back pages.
Right.
But it's sometimes is just about the right time and the right fit and the right coach with the right group. And that, I think, is what we're seeing. Like, Tort said he came in. He said, I didn't change anything. I didn't touch anything. Right? This is a good team.
Yeah.
You saw him call, I believe he called an early timeout. He was getting on his bench early in that game.
They were down 2-0.
Yeah, he kind of like got into him, and then he got him right, and from there they were great. And I think for Mike Brown, it was tinkering all year, figuring out his team, learning his team. I didn't know Josh Hart was this, right? That was one of his first things. He had Josh Hart coming off the bench. And then he realized, like, what am I doing? I didn't know he was like this. And then he starts comparing him to Andre Iguodala, who won a Finals MVP, Don. Right? Like, that's when you start throwing around compliments like that, you're realizing, whoa, I didn't know we had this. Okay, that guy, I like what he can do. We can use him here. So it took Mike Brown a better part of 3/4 of the season to figure out, what do I got? And then after that, it's what do they want? I'll give them some what they want, but they also got to understand that I know what's best for them because I've been in situations. He's coached LeBron James. He's coached Kobe Bryant. He's coached Steph Curry. He knows how to coach stars. He's been there. And I think that's also part of this, too, where the team had to stop and start trusting him. And it was no longer, he's not Tibbs. This is what we used to do. And Mike Brown was saying, that's great, but I'm here for a reason, so we've got to start doing things different. And they all kind of figured it out together. It just so happened to happen in the first round of the playoffs, which when does that ever happen?
Yeah, right. But it's come together, and they have not looked back since. Let's go back to the busy phones. Bill in Troy. You're on Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg.
Oh, Alan, Don, love you guys. Usually I catch the show in podcast format, but I'm home today, so I get to listen to you guys.
Awesome.
Thank God. Love you fellas. I got 3 quick points for you because I know you got Monica coming up soon. I was born in 2000, so the last time I saw the Knicks in the finals was never.
Wow.
So I can't tell you how excited I am. I'm almost sick to my stomach about seeing JB, Cat, and everybody out there playing. But I'm so excited. On top of that, we got to give props to the old Knicks, man, especially Julius Randle, a guy who came when it was not orange and blue skies and slowly turned around the thought of the Knicks and the NBA, along with Leon Rose and everybody. You got to give those guys props. I love those fellas for coming, banging with us, playing hard, winning playoff series even though they weren't the best team every time. And then my last point for you, more so for Don, it's a fraud question.
Okay.
Now, I'm not a huge hockey fan. I recently got into it, and recently, I would say 2018, and my buddy was a Canes fan then. So I, at the time, became a Canes fan. Once the Kraken got into the league, I thought it was right to become a Seattle Kraken fan. So that's who I put my rooting basis in. Don, would you call me a fraud to say I am a Canes fan for the Cup?
Oh, well, no. Listen, you were very late to the sport. You've only been a fan of the sport for the last 8 years, but you got to pick somebody, man.
You got to put a ring on it, bud.
Are you a Kraken fan now? I guess he hung up.
Yeah.
Well, listen, he asked, I answered.
Yeah, no.
What is he going to do? He's a Canes fan. Did he say Kings or Canes? I couldn't really tell.
I thought he said Canes.
He was from Troy.
Yeah,
Either way, it was another team, and now the Kraken, so you're bouncing around, and we call that a fraud in this business.
That's what it is.
There's
you
no
can't
other
make
way
up your
around
mind.
that.
You can't make up your mind. You're just going with whoever's good at the time.
We still love you.
No, absolutely.
And we appreciate you listening to the podcast, now listening to us live. But you asked a question, I answered.
Yeah.
Super fraud.
Let's go to Edwin in Bushwick. You're on Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg.
Hey, guys. How you doing?
Good.
Good. Hey, I'm always at the live show. I'm sorry I can't make it today, but I'll be next time. But, I agree that, in the beginning when they fired Tibbs, everyone was, skeptic about what's going to happen, how this team's going to look with Woodson. But you could see in the playoffs, you could see the difference. He came from the Warriors background, right? Draymond Green, controlling point forward, right? And now you see that's where Cat is excelling at. He's playing that point forward. The team is cutting the people. We could play iso ball, but we could play a different type of ball as well. Right. And with Woodson, you see that. With Tibbs, sometimes the offense was stagnant. We get down to big leads, right? But with Woodson and his offense, we could get down 10 points, and with that offense, we could catch up.
Right. You might be a little nervous. It's Mike Brown.
With Brown. I'm sorry, with Brown.
Mike Woodson was a decade ago. He's a good man.
Yeah,
a decade ago. But you're showing your Knicks. You're showing your Knicks depth, though.
Yes.
By saying that, by that slip, it tells me you've been around. You've been around.
Yes, I've been around. I'm 50. I've seen the 94 team. I saw the 99 team, and I see this team. And, 94, we knew that Houston was a great matchup because both veteran teams, right? We knew it was going to be a tough series, and unfortunately, we lost that series. In 99, we was a big underdog.
Major.
And we knew once Ewing went down,
right.
we knew we weren't going to beat the
and then
number one.
Once Larry Johnson also, you lost him, too. That was vital because he had played so great in that run.
And this year's team, mature. We have a mature team.
Yep.
We have a team that, if you look at the 4 of the 5 starters, they played in the Final Four. They won championships in NCAA. They played, and they're a mature team. And I think that's what's going to be a difference in this series, the experience.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna find out. We're definitely gonna, because you thought that against the Thunder, that the Spurs. When was this going to stop? Because they're just too young. You don't see this. A team this young, with zero playoff experience from majority of their players, none whatsoever. You just don't see it, that they go on a run like this. So, whatever it is they got, you got to respect it.
Coming up next, Monica McNutt live from San Antonio. She'll have the call with Tyler Murray.
Monica, right? We love
tonight.
Monica.
Our coverage begins at 7 o'clock. We're live at Stout, 35th Street between 7th and 8th. Swing by here until 7 o'clock. Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg, ESPN New York.
If you're heading into summer without a medical emergency kit, you're taking a risk most people don't think about until it's too late. Summer colds linger and can turn into sinus infections that last for weeks. Getting sick right now before vacation can derail everything. And when you're traveling, finding a doctor and pharmacy is stressful. That's why I ordered a medical emergency kit. It's like having urgent care and a pharmacy right at home. It includes essential prescriptions like amoxicillin and generic Z-Pak to treat a wide range of common and serious illnesses. So if you wake up sick at home or on the road, you already have what you need. No waiting for your doctor, no hours at urgent care, no pharmacy lines, no copays. Just match your symptoms to the right prescription in your guidebook or call their telemedicine doctor standing by. Start on your meds sooner and feel better faster. Every home needs at least one medical emergency kit. Order yours online in minutes and it's shipped to your door. And save $45 with my promo code 880 at urgentcarekit.com/880. That's promo code 880 at urgentcarekit.com/880.
If you've been injured on a construction site, then you need a lawyer who knows New York's unique labor laws. At the Parisman Firm, they have decades of experience handling construction accident cases and a proven track record of delivering huge results. Their team has already recovered nearly $1 billion for hardworking New Yorkers. From scaffold accidents to slip and falls and equipment failures, they've got your back. Call the Parisman Firm now at 718-WORKERS. That's right, 718-WORKERS, because your case is their cause. Get the justice you deserve today.
This is your home for the Eastern Conference champion New York Knicks and the NBA Finals. WHSQ and WCBS-FM HD2, New York.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer, providing equal employment, development, and advancement opportunities to all teammates and applicants. To learn more about careers with us, please send an email to talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com. That's talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com.
Are you ready to make a difference for the environment while helping the visually impaired at the same time? Then donate your vehicle to Heritage for the Blind today by calling 1-800-983-6530. Every donated vehicle will either be properly recycled in an eco-friendly manner or given a new life through reuse. Donating your vehicle is easy. Simply call 1-800-983-6530 and Heritage for the Blind will do the rest. They'll even arrange for your vehicle to be picked up at no cost to you. And for a limited time, when you donate your car, you'll receive a $200 restaurant voucher and a 2-night, 3-day hotel stay at one of 50 locations. Call 1-800-983-6530 right now to schedule your vehicle donation and make a positive impact on the environment while helping others. Heritage for the Blind, where every car donation counts and every person makes a difference. Call 1-800-983-6530 now. This advertisement is paid for by Heritage for the Blind.
Game Time is brought to you by Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey, because when it's game time, Alan.
It's Tully time.
Sure. Mets Mariners going on right now, just getting underway, and that is on 10:50. Game 1 between the Knicks and the Spurs, immediately following us on 880 at 7 o'clock. Pat O'Keefe is going to be handling the pregame live from San Antonio, so 90 minutes before tip-off at 8:30. And the Yankees continue their series with the Guardians at 7:05. The Liberty host the Tempo at 7:30. I've got to admit, I'm not familiar with the work of the Tempo. Where is their city? They must be new.
No, Toronto?
The Toronto Tempo.
Alliteration always helps. Okay.
You know what? Alliteration sometimes it's a stretch.
It's overrated.
That's a stretch. I know you need tempo to win, but I'm good. Tullamore Dew, the original triple distilled, triple blended, and triple cast matured Irish whiskey. Be sure to grab a Tullamore Dew or try the new Tullamore Dew Honey during today's action. Glasses up to enjoying Tullamore Dew responsibly.
We're going to have a lot of Tully at the parade, Donnie. A lot of Tully.
So you're touching the money.
A lot of Tully.
Yeah, well, you think, right?
Listen, man, you got to feel something. You got to have a feel.
No, you're definitely feeling this.
You got to feel.
Because
nobody says you can, you're obviously you can be wrong, but there's a lot of people that are talking about this not from a even X's and O's or matchup and all that stuff. There's just like something like this that has turned it. Like I was on the train coming in, and there was a guy who drives an ambulance for FDNY. His name's Rich. Really nice guy. Sits down next to me. And he was talking to me about something that blew my mind. Now, so drives an ambulance, so he sees a lot of bad stuff, right?
Yeah.
He's like, it's amazing. You go around the city, and he drives in Brooklyn. And he said, like, and I've seen people suggest that crime is down, but he said, like, when you see people see other people wearing Knicks stuff, and they all just kind of shout to each other, he's like, the mood is different in the city. That there's just something about what this has done to bring a lot of people together and bring some, like, enjoyment, enthusiasm. You're seeing schools all around the area having a Knicks Day today where all the kids can come in and wear Knicks stuff, and they, they're writing little features or little essays about Knicks and Knicks players and sending them to the Knicks. The team is getting all this stuff from all these different schools. There's just something about it, right, that it's bringing everyone together. And so when you get a vibe like this, there's a party that just goes, This just feels like it's like the right way for this to end. It's the right way for this to end.
Yeah, and it's
you know what I mean. Like, and I'm not saying that as an orange and blue skies guy. I'm saying it as just no matter what team this was, there just seems to be a vibe happening right now. Like you just
no. What does that all mean? You know,
it doesn't mean anything.
It doesn't mean
no,
listen,
it doesn't.
The Spurs
I'm
are
the
a
first
good
to
team,
admit it. It doesn't mean anything. But you know, come on, you know, when something just starts to get momentum, sometimes it's just an unstoppable force.
You know, the only way I can describe it to you was what I felt as an 18-year-old in '86 when the Giants won the Super Bowl.
There you go.
I felt terrific. They're not losing to the Broncos. Now, you always have that little tiny
there's always
area of doubt.
There's a healthy
because,
fear.
Again, you don't want to jinx anything and all that, that's all garbage. But as fans, you go through that,
right? Of course you do.
You know, and all of a sudden they're down 10-9 going into halftime, and it's like, oh, what the hell's going on here?
Yeah.
And then they destroy them in the second half.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but there's always that apprehension. But when you see the dominance that you see out of the Knicks, it's hard not to be confident.
Right.
And then the whole city, and we've seen them rally around the Yankees and the Giants, and when the Jets were in the championship game, and the Rangers and all that. But this one is hitting different. Listen, I've been around. I've been sports radio. I started working at WFAN in '96, so that was after '94. But I worked at Sports Phone during the '94 run of the Knicks, and then when the Rangers won the Cup. So I've been doing this a long. 58 years old. I've seen a lot. This one hits different because of just how many Knicks fans there are. There is no other team that is going to take away from it. There's a lot of Jet fans, so they don't care about the Giants winning the Super Bowl. There's a lot of Met fans who don't care about the Yankees winning the World Series.
Right.
It's the way it is. You know, the Rangers were close in '94, but you know what was interesting about the Rangers is they had to share the stage with the Knicks. It's like there was every other night, so the city was crazy.
Oh, it was.
But
there was nothing like that. And that also is – I go back to that one too, and this is why the momentum thing sometimes means nothing. Because the Rangers win the Cup, and the Knicks are still playing. And it's like you say to yourself, oh, my God, like they're both going to win. Like this is going to really happen. You really were believing that would happen until Hakeem's fingertip got in the way of destiny. So it is true that this feeling can go away quickly. But it doesn't take away from that feel. And you're right. That the Rangers and Knicks every other night – the city was just everybody in this area was so caught up in it. It was so much fun.
But to just have the one team, and I've always wondered about this. I've brought it up on the air, brought it up to people. The one thing that I always wondered what New York would be like if there was just one team per sport, where if it was just the Rangers, just the Knicks, just the Yankees, just the Giants, how up for grabs the city would be if one of those teams made a run, like how it is in St. Louis if the Cardinals are about to win the World Series, or how crazy it is in Detroit.
Chicago only has the only thing they have two of is baseball.
And the White Sox apparently are just –
they're a rumor.
Yeah, they're a rumor compared to the Cubs. That's what I'm told anyway.
Yeah, of course.
You know.
But like, and Chicago's a huge town, like Boston.
Yeah,
they have one of everything.
They're rallying around the Celtics,
so the whole
rallying
city
around the
gets
Bruins.
around it,
yeah, but we don't have that.
No.
But this is the closest we have to that.
Where there's no split.
No – I hate saying it because I grew up a Net fan, being from Jersey, you know, so – but there's just not enough to stop this machine.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I remember Jim Cerny, who's a guy I worked with at Sports Phone, worked with him with the Rangers.
Yeah.
Jim, great guy.
Sure.
About how he didn't watch the two giant Patriots Super Bowls because he hated the Patriots as a Jet fan and he hated the Giants as a Jet fan. He didn't feel any love. He was rooting. He didn't watch the game. Wow. And if the Giants were playing the Ravens, he'd be rooting for the Ravens because that's the kind of Jet fan he was. So you know there'd be fans that are trying to tamp down the excitement because they're not fans. Like there's just not enough Net fans to do that. This is a machine just driving through the city. I turned on the news today as I was when I came back from the gym, and the 12 o'clock news. They're leading with the Knicks.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
You know, it's a news story. It's really incredible.
Yeah.
So when you see that and you see the way they're playing, I mean, it's very, very seldom is New York the juggernaut. We've seen it with the Yankees quite a bit. But usually, the Knicks were a dog in 99. They were a dog in 94. You know, they're a dog here, but only to Vegas. Like, Knicks fans are – so does it mean anything at the end of the day? Can we send that vibe to San Antonio tonight? I don't know, but it just usually I kind of get in fans' faces about, like, like what you said about the parade. Like, dude, what are you doing, man? But I can understand it. Why wouldn't you feel this?
Well, you want to almost speak it into existence, right? The more positive energy you bring, like the better. Because I have learned in my old age that fretting and anxiety and all that stuff, it doesn't do any good. Just keep a positive outlook, man. Like, they just have every reason to believe and put yourself out there and believe. And if it falls short, if it doesn't happen, you deal with the consequences. But it's more fun to sit there and just like let's go, like get into this thing. You got 7. Somebody's got to win 4 over 7. That's what's going to happen here. So it's not going to be over by the weekend, right? No matter what happens, 2-0 is still not over. So
just hold and serve.
Right. So to me, like, it's just like get into it. Watch the strategic stuff that we talked about at the top of the show. Like, that's all the stuff you want to have fun with and not get caught up in, like, oh, my God, 70% of the time you win game 1 that you want to win the championship and they didn't win game 1, so that means they only have a 30% chance to win. Like, man, stop.
No,
just get into this thing.
Just
man.
watch it,
We
man.
don't get this enough.
I just know, and I mentioned it yesterday, when you're slaying the dragon of 53 years, it shouldn't be this easy. So I just feel like there's going to be adversity. There's going to be doubt. There's going to be moments.
Remember the Rangers in '94. That
was
not
perfect
easy.
example. The Cubs had to come back from 3-1 down to win their first championship in 108 years, right? The Red Sox had to come back from 3-0 down against the Yankees in the League Championship Series to be able to go to the World Series, beat the Cardinals, and end their slide. That's the way that it is. It's usually not easy.
Let's not do that, though.
Yeah.
Let's not do that.
You don't want
to have to come back from 3-0 or 3-1.
No, you don't want to do that.
No.
ESPN New York's Beach Bash is back. I'm looking forward to this. Thursday, July 2nd at Bar A in Lake Como, New Jersey. Head down to the Jersey Shore and join Michael Kay, who's going to be there. And there will also be us doing our show from 3 to 7, and Michael will do a show from 1 to 3. We're also going to have appearances from DiPietro Rothenberg, Bart Carlin, and more. We'll have plenty of giveaways for fans in attendance, a soccer watch party, and the chance to test your skills by trying to kick a soccer ball past Rick DiPietro.
That'll be fun.
Now, what's interesting, like when Rick was probably on, he felt like the puck was a soccer ball, right? But that net's a lot bigger. We'll see if he can handle it. Plus, he's a lot older. Plus, music from Surfin' for Daisies. I've gotten the number.
Okay.
And I was told I can reach out and start talking about picking a song.
So they generally will. How does this work again? Because I learned this last year. You can't tell them what song you want. They have to give you a list of songs that they know.
Right. Well,
then you choose.
I will give them songs, and then they'll tell me if they know them.
Oh, okay.
All right. Now, I've had bands.
You got one in mind?
I'm bouncing a couple of ideas.
Really?
I did Smells Like Teen Spirit. I was not happy with my performance. That was not one of the ones that I really wanted to do. It's just the band last year, they only knew that song of the ones on my list. We're going to work on it. We're going to make it work. It's always fun that I go out there and embarrass myself. They'll be playing an hour before and an hour after the show, or even after the show, longer than that.
Sure.
It's all brought to you by Spiked Aid, Boost Mobile, Miller Lite, Fanatics Fest NYC, and the New Jersey Lottery. Must be at least 21 years of age to enter. See, that's right. My voice gave out. It was not.
That was tough. Yeah, you really.
Yeah, don't play that again.
Like you really did. Like,
I went
think
nuts.
about it. You almost cost yourself a season of calling hockey.
Yeah,
We don't want
knew.
We don't want that.
I knew about the Devils.
And
I hadn't told anybody.
Right?
Yet.
Yes. Big
so
secret.
you would have probably jumped on stage and said, "Stop! Don't do it."
Yeah.
If you had known.
I was trying to stay out of the way.
But I didn't let anybody. And that's what happens when your voice isn't good and you end up sounding like Howard Dean.
And you won't let me get involved, Howard Dean. And you won't let me get involved in picking a song. You don't think I have a good enough ear to put a voice to a song?
No, you could suggest.
'Cause it's like, I think your voice would be great for this song.
You could suggest.
All right. Okay.
And, I also had some very successful songs that maybe I can go back in the archives to. There's some songs I haven't done for like a decade. New audience, new people, new venue.
Hey, if you feel good about it.
I did stuff at Martell's like 15 years ago that I can bring back.
I'm feeling this might be the year where you can belt out a Yacht Rock one. This might be the year to do it.
I don't.
Therefore, voice can, can survive it.
I'm toying with the idea.
Mellow. It's the vibe of Beach Bash.
We've got a month.
Yeah. All right.
There's something there might be time for me to be able to work on something.
You say so.
See. Now, Monica has really disappointed us because she has disappeared.
She canceled? Or
no, she hasn't canceled.
I've been looking at my phone.
I wish she did. Then I know I could pivot. But right now, we're in no man's land here.
She's very busy.
It doesn't matter.
She's in San Antonio. There's a lot going on.
Don't care. I'm busy, too. I still came today at 3. I could have done other things, but I came here because it's my job.
Well, that's a good point.
I don't want to get, too crazy.
All right, let me see if she gets back here.
But we're working on trying to get her. Maybe the time change threw her off. I'm not sure.
Yeah, probably.
I got a list coming up at 4:30. Bill Pito, he won't disappoint us. He's coming up at 4:45 as well. Now, I'm going to reach out to Jacob, who's running the board, because he had sent me a list of guys that were on hold before Monica, and they might have hung up. So I'm not really sure where we stand with that right now, Jacob. So do we have a call that I can go to, Jacob?
Yes, you have 3. We have Braden in Utica who wants to talk about the importance of Game 1.
Okay.
What's up, man? You're on Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg. What's going on?
Hey, thank you for taking my call. 1, 2. I don't know. I think I'm not as optimistic as a lot of other Knicks fans right now.
Okay.
Oh boy.
I don't know why. I mean, I was born in 02, so I haven't. It's been a long time.
Well, now I know why you're not optimistic.
I don't know so I don't know. I feel like this game might be just as important as the Game 7 would be. Just because of Wemby.
What? Wait. Say that. I want you to catch your breath for a minute. Stop yourself.
Yep.
And then slowly again say what you just said to me.
Okay. I feel like this. Let me rephrase. This might be the most important game of the series, besides a Game 7, because of Wemby. He's the best player in the series, and seeing how he gradually, last series, kind of. I mean, Game 1 of his last series was insane.
It was his best game.
And then he slowly
got worse. No, come,
exactly.
Stay with me.
So
stay with
I feel
me.
like if we,
if
we can take, I know that's what I'm saying. So if we can take this one, where he's going to be probably at his best and the least fatigued he's going to be, I feel like, I don't know, that sets us up pretty good.
I
don't know.
agree.
I'm nervous.
Listen, of course you're nervous. I can tell. And I don't blame you. I understand. This is new to you, and it's new to a lot of people who haven't seen this. But I'm here to tell you, on the road, the team on the road has less pressure. Everybody wants to win, so the pressure's always there to win, right? But what I'm telling you is that he has – I don't know if he'll feel it, but they really, for me, Game 1 is critical for them, not as much for the Knicks. And if the Knicks get Game 1, the whole series is flipped. That's a big deal. Keep that in mind. And their mentality after what they went through in Game 1 against the Cavs, and they didn't feel like they were ready. They didn't feel like they got the rust knocked off. They didn't like how they prepared for that game. They were still able to win it, but they didn't like how they played. That tells me they're going to have a much different attitude, mentality, intensity, urgency, everything going into this game because they just had it fresh in their memory, right? That should give you confidence. See, it's about if that didn't happen and they were just rolling teams, but they had a game that recently bothered them to a point where they were like, we can't get away with this again. And I think you'll see that impact tonight. I would not have that kind of an anxiety about, you got to get this because, you want to get the game that Wemby might be at 100%. Actually, I would disagree. He might not be at 100% in this game because he just played a 7-game slugfest. Trust me, the more important games are coming later in the series.
No, I get that, but I understand his logic. First of all, I'm never going to tell a person to not be worried about something they're worried about.
I understand.
I can understand him, feeling a way about what's happening here.
Yeah.
All right.
But come on, Don, to say this is other than a Game 7, this is the most important game of the series. That's insane.
But it is insane. But it is important because of the fact that now you've lost for the first time in 43 days. Scotty Bowman used to always say, sometimes getting a loss is good. We'll see if you're able to bounce back. Let's test it's easy to ride the wave. All right, how are you going to bounce back after you've lost? So I think that there's something interesting about Game 1. The stats: 70% of teams that lose Game 1 lose a series.
Right.
So now you all of a sudden historically put yourself in the 30 percentile. You don't want to be there. That's not a place to be. Now you've lost for the first time in 43 days, ending your 11-game winning streak. So now you look at the team in a little bit of a different perspective. Wow, now somebody finally beat us.
Yep.
So maybe it starts creeping in your head. Hey, these Spurs aren't the Cavs, Sixers, and Hawks. So of course, the math tells you it's the first of 4. Right. All right, you're one behind. You get the next game. You win Friday. Now you got home court. Yeah. It's all different. But there is something about the mentality of, all right, how are you going to bounce back from that loss? And what does it mean? Now it puts a bunch of pressure because as much as we say hold serve, you lose the first 2 games. You go from winning 11 in a row to all of a sudden dropping 2 in a row. I'm sorry. It's going to be panic at the disco coming back to the Garden.
It's
I'm sorry.
Different energy.
It's going to be.
You're absolutely
right. So I, as much as I don't agree with the caller, I understand where he's coming from, and I do think Game 1's important. And for my prediction, where it's going to be every other game, then the Knicks are going to have to win Game 1, right?
Game 1 as the critical game.
But that's just me and my prediction and everything else. But I do think that there's something to what he said of, hey, this is a big game. Let's not explain it away.
Understand this, and that's how series go too. The Spurs win Game 1, and then the next 4 games, right? Because 2, 3, and 5. So 3 of the next 4 games were won by the Thunder.
Yeah.
Did that deter the Spurs? They won the last 2. That's all that matters. You know what I mean?
No, of course.
Like the middle of the series, one team won 3 out of 4 games. You would think, oh my God, that's it. The series done. No.
Yeah, but there are things involved in there too. The Thunder weren't 100%. Like things.
We don't know what's going to happen over the course of the series. You don't know who you're going to lose. You have no idea.
But
so that's why.
But just not to argue with you.
No, go ahead.
But you were just talking about the vibe and the positive thoughts and riding a wave here.
But that was fan stuff. I'm not. Players aren't feeling
any
of this.
No, the players aren't. But you were just saying about wishing things into existence and all that. It would be interesting to see what the reaction would be if they lost tonight. It'd be like, well, wait a minute, I didn't expect that. I think the players will be fine with it.
But I know what you're saying. For me, it's what did it look like? That's how I always like. If you lose and it looks terrible, different story. Again, they were down 22 to the Cavs. Like that's when it didn't look good. They looked terrible at that point.
But
in that third quarter.
But you were the first to admit. Not just the loss, but the way they lost to the Pacers set the tone.
Yeah.
The rest of the series.
Yeah.
You don't know what it's going to look like.
Game 2.
We need
that
to
was
know
the game 2. That game 2 at home they gave away to the Hawks. Like that's that game where you're like, it's not good. That's bad. The fact that they couldn't put that game away after Game 1. Remember they won that Game 1 against the Hawks. They were up in control, and that game got a little too dicey late. And they weren't happy. Jalen Brunson told me after that game. He's like, yeah, we can't let this happen. And then it happened again in Game 2. So you're right. It's how it looks. But they are feeling a way about how they're playing, what they've found with each other, and a sense of, destiny that I've heard within this team from the players and what they say. There's that sense of destiny that I think is in their minds, and that gives you a lot of confidence. You know what else gives me confidence,
What
Don?
is that?
Rings End.
Oh,
when I deal with them, because I know I can trust them. Because Rings End has all the best high-end product lines that contractors rely on when you're doing a project at home. So we have a project going on at home, and I'm going through it. My contractor also, we're going through Rings End. We're dealing with them. And you ask why? Well, because here's a great example. When you want to get something when you're doing a project, sometimes you just want to be able to go and check it out, take a look at it, see it, touch it, feel it. They have showrooms for you to walk in and do that. So you can go to 8 full-service lumber yards in Connecticut and Westchester County and 12 freestanding paint centers as well. They're family-owned and operated since 1902, 124 years in the business. They have deep Northeast roots. No, they are not a national chain. They're a Northeast company. They work with the local contractors. They know what you need. So that's why I'm working with Rings End. And if you have a project at your home where you need something like windows, doors, paint, kitchens, and all the different stuff that you want to do to update and upgrade your home, check out Rings End. And if you can't get into one of their stores or check out any of their locations, you can go to ringsend.com. That's ringsend.com.
Jim Cerny just texted me. He's my phone is blowing up as you recount my anger for Patriots Giants.
I got a problem
in
with
those
that.
Super Bowls.
I got a problem with
Nightmares
that.
for me. Not much worse football-wise. Say hi to Alan for me, Jets.
So I love JC, but I have a problem with that.
Why?
Because I'm a Jets fan, as you know.
Yeah.
And the Giants mean nothing to me.
Well,
because they're not in the same conference. They're never in my way, except for the one time with Victor Cruz, but that's another story for another day. That doesn't bother me. For me, it's the Patriots. I hate them. So if the Giants are going to beat them, great,
but you
got to
understand.
I'm not
I'm with
cheering,
Jim,
but
no.
I'm like, I'd rather see the Patriots lose than the Giants lose.
I am in the belief that you hate the other team in town.
Really?
Because they can take away.
What are they taking away? They own it already. Do you understand? I root for a franchise that originally named its team Titans because Titans killed giants in Greek mythology. What the hell are we doing?
Well, but that just shows you that, hey, it's a thing.
Yes, I know. It's already born in. I don't care.
You don't think
stupid.
it should bother a Jet fan that there's a team in town that's winning Super Bowls and you're not?
I mean, they've been around since 1925. They better be.
Yeah, but they
better be good.
Yeah, but the 25 is really only when they started winning Super Bowls. They've won 4 to the Jets none.
Yes.
Or 1.
Well, 1.
So since the 1, they've won 4 straight.
Yeah.
And that bothers you. I mean, you don't think
it doesn't bother me at all. Because
you don't think it bothered Ranger fans that the Islanders are rattling off Stanley Cup after Stanley Cup and chanting 1940?
It's different because the Islanders were a little brother. Islanders were a little brother.
The Jets are little, but the Jets are little brother.
I know, but the Islanders were winning. You said does it bother the Rangers? It should bother the Rangers because little brother started winning, and we're supposed to be the big team in town. The Giants are supposed to be that. Here's what I want.
It's supposed to be more popular, not winning more.
No, here's what I want. What I always want is the other team in town holds a standard that I have to live up to, or I'm holding the standard you have to live up to. The problem is when both teams suck.
I know.
That's terrible.
Honestly,
give me a good team so that my franchise knows
it's a little fraudy.
We can't be
it's
bad.
a little fraudy.
No, it is
We're
not
going to bring
fraudy.
this up on
It is
Friday,
brilliant.
but it's a little.
It's not fraudy.
It's a little fraudy.
No, it's the right way to think.
Little fraud.
It's the right way to
Miniature
think.
fraud. I'll tell you, I'm red hot with Monica. I'm really ticked at her. She's now available.
Oh, okay.
And now she's going to take away the list.
Oh,
She's
no.
coming up next. I'm really upset.
Oh, I know, boy.
And she's going to hear it.
And then Pito comes up too.
You know what?
Wow.
I really worked hard on this list. But listen, it's all about Monica. She gets the cake.
Oh, no.
She gets everything.
She has cake today?
No,
we send
she's
cake
not
to San
here.
Antonio?
We don't get cake. We'd only get cake if she was here.
Oh, poor Don.
No, poor everybody, because I made a nice list. She makes me sick. Don Hahn and Rosenberg,
nice
ESPN
list.
New York.
It's the playoffs. Knicks fans, get in on all the postseason action with BetMGM, an official sports betting partner of the New York Knicks. Download the BetMGM app today and make every matchup mean more than ever with the best daily promotions in the business. Plus, enjoy thousands of casino games with BetMGM Casino in New Jersey. Download today. BetMGM. Make it legendary. 21 years of age or older to wager and physically present in New York and New Jersey only. Subject to eligibility requirements. Gambling problem? In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In New Jersey, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Bigger facilities, faster lines, and more preservatives? While the world automated, Calandra stayed at the counter. At Calandra's Bakery, they stick to the basics. Real people, real ingredients, and real messy counters. Calandra's bread is all natural with 0 preservatives, just 4 simple ingredients doing their thing, which means it might not last as long as the others, but that's kind of the point. Flavor like theirs doesn't come from a factory. Calandra's Bakery, still made by hands, not robots, since 1962.
The Knicks.
This is a team that is very talented and is playing its absolute highest level of basketball.
The Spurs.
The Knicks have been completely unstoppable.
The NBA Finals.
They will play for the Larry O'Brien Trophy.
I talk about how great we are. It doesn't matter. We just got to worry about being ourselves and just stay locked in and, go win.
NBA Finals Game 1 coverage begins tonight at 7 on 880 and the ESPN New York app.
Replacing your home's AC system isn't exactly pocket change. Let's be real. Most people don't have thousands of dollars just lying around. And that's why Sloman's makes staying cool affordable. Right now, Sloman's central air conditioning makes it easier than ever to upgrade without blowing your budget. Get 0 down, 0 payments, and 0% financing for up to 18 months. Plus, every new system comes with a 5-year all-inclusive service plan, including annual system maintenance, filter replacements, and refrigerant. So there are no surprise costs down the road. Whether your system is outdated, your electric bills are through the roof, or your AC finally called it quits. Sloman's has a solution that works and a payment plan that actually makes sense. Call 516-932-7000. That's 516-932-7000. Or visit ac.slomans.com to schedule your free estimate today. Sloman's Central Air Conditioning. Because comfort shouldn't come with a price you can't afford. 18-month promo period. No payment, no interest, and no down payment offer. The offer is available through a third-party bank. On approved credit, interest is waived if loan is repaid in full during the same as cash period. Terms and conditions apply.
Hey, it's Rich Eisen for Pella Windows and Doors. Sometimes teams take a timeout to regroup and call the right play. When it comes to your home, Pella Windows and Doors always has the winning game plan. They're not just window and door experts. They're experts at taking care of you and your home. At Pella, they find the products that meet your needs and their experts install them. They do it every day, and that's why your neighbors trust them. Discover why Pella is a trusted choice for homeowners everywhere. Visit Pella.com/Eisen today. That's Pella.com/Eisen.
Switching to Progressive is a game-winning call. And that reminds us of other game-winning calls in the history of sports.
So it was the fourth quarter and we're down by 5. Sweat pouring down my face. Suddenly it hit me. If only I could wrap part of the towel around my forehead. And that's how I became the first basketball player to wear a headband.
Okay, not really a game-winning call, but it was a good call. You can make one too. Switch to Progressive and you could save hundreds. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states.
And now let's take a look at the traffic with Brandy Scott.
Thanks so much, guys. We've got the Yanks home tonight in the Bronx, and if you're getting a jump start using the inbound George, stick with the lower deck if you can. Upper level, about a 15 to 20-minute ride from 8095. Worst of it to the outbound George, cross Bronx westbound, and adding to the delays, a crash on the lower deck underneath the apartments. Jam there from White Plains Road on through. Outbound Lincoln, your best ride at 20 to 30. Outbound Hahn, earn you 30 to 40. Just picked up that crash on the Jackie Robinson eastbound in Queens. Still bumper to bumper heading toward Queens Boulevard. And we've got a bunch of watch parties going on tonight. Game 1 of the NBA Finals. Knicks in San Antonio ready to take on the Spurs. MSG Plaza 33 and Central Park Summer Stage. This report is sponsored by the New York City Department of Transportation. Speeding ruins lives. Drivers, watch out for pedestrians and cyclists and slow your turns to less than 5 miles an hour. I'm Brandy Scott on 880 ESPN New York.
With the new My Lowe's Pro Rewards American Express card, earn 3 points per dollar spent on Lowe's qualifying purchases for the first 6 months after card account opening. Plus, save 5% every day on eligible purchases at Lowe's and earn points on eligible purchases everywhere else Amex is accepted. Card members get more at Lowe's. Subject to credit approval. 5% can't be combined with any other offer. Exclusions and restrictions apply. Points subject to loyalty terms at Lowe's.com/terms and credit reward terms at Synchrony.com/MLPRA-terms. Visit Lowe's.com/business credit.
Okay, class, let's begin.
Psst, love your boots. I just sold a pair like that on eBay.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it took like 2 seconds to list, and they sold almost immediately. I've been selling everything lately. Some chunky boots, a faux fur coat I never wore, and a vintage chair that was more of an expensive clothing rack.
You know, I actually bought these on eBay. Wait, are you Kitty Sell Stuff from Brooklyn?
Okay, quiet, please.
Find what you love. Sell what you don't. eBay. Things people love.
Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg live from Stout, 35th between 7th and 8th, leading up until 7 o'clock. And then our coverage begins with Pat O'Keefe in San Antonio for Game 1, Knicks and the Spurs. And Monica McNutt's going to be on the call, and her report is brought to you by Calandra's Bakery and BetMGM. Live from San Antonio, Monica McNutt. Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg, what's going on?
Hi, guys. What's happening? Happy Finals Day 1.
Hey, Mom.
How are you guys?
Don is Don. All right, let's just
move on.
Let's just put it out.
I was
it out there.
It's supposed to be my list, but I'm going to throw it out because you stepped on me.
You know, Monica's only going 24/7 right now on different shows, including this morning, and as well as covering media stuff because they had a shoot around today. Can the girl catch a nap? You know what I mean?
Sure, at 4:30.
Oh wow. All right, Mon, I tried. You're on your own now.
You know what? It's all good. Go ahead, Don. Get it off your chest, babe. What's the issue?
No, it's
I'm a little
right.
sleepy.
It's all about you. So,
oh, thank you.
Just listen. You were here, and then you've been in San Antonio for the last couple of days. But the vibe here, I've never seen people more positive than they are about this team. Usually there's some apprehension, especially when a team hasn't won in forever. But they've put on such a show here, Monica, that the fans are just revved up. It's more expectation than anticipation for this series.
Yeah, and, that meeting, my arrival in San Antonio and bumping into colleagues that cover the Spurs or cover the league at large, it's been really interesting because I've been sitting with some folks who have it either they can't call it or it's Spurs in 7 in their mind, which is obviously anytime something's got to go 7 in my mind, it's still a live ball. I think that we are in New York and can appreciate how gaudy things have looked. But then here, folks are really obviously impressed with the youthfulness and the defensive intensity around Victor Wembanyama, let alone with Victor Wembanyama. So it's been interesting bumping into folks, getting various opinions. I'm excited, y'all. We really have walked into almost an ideal finals from a ratings perspective in terms of how Victor Wembanyama is bringing in even the most casual fan. And, of course, we know that the New York Knicks are also global.
So we've talked so much about the vibe, obviously here in this city, in this market, this area, and how fans are feeling, how the outside is feeling. When you touched down in San Antonio and got around the team, what's the vibe there? Because the last time you saw them, they walked off the court in Cleveland saying, we're going to enjoy this tonight, but it's back to work tomorrow. What's the vibe within the team right now?
Hahn, I still think that they have a business-like approach. As you guys know, historically, finals are obviously for the team, but there's a contingent of family members and all of that good stuff. And so it's a lot more pomp and circumstance, both in terms of the schedule and the mandatory media and, the traveling party. Right. But as I've listened to these guys when they got to the podium, they still understand that the job is not finished. They have a tremendous amount of respect for their opponent, as they should. But they also believe in one another still, and they have had the opportunity over this 11-game stretch, as OG Anunoby told me yesterday, to play their best basketball at the highest level over an extended period of time, and it has only shown them how good they could actually be as a squad. And so I think I'm excited for Game 1 because I really think this one, I'll say it, I think the sweeps are over, right? I do think that this one is going to be more of an X and O chess match, who can execute better down the stretch for both teams, and it looks slightly different in terms of the outlook for each team. But I'm really excited to get to Game 1 because I've got a lot of questions about what the Spurs will implement in terms of trying to slow the Knicks, and of course what the Knicks are going to look like trying to slow the Spurs.
And what do you expect to see from Mitch tonight?
I think I literally texted in our MSG group chat earlier. I was like, am I the only one that is not I don't care. I'm not into this at all. I don't think this is a big deal. No disrespect, but it's not like it's going to impact his jump shot. So, what are we doing here? I expect Mitchell Robinson to play hard. I expect him to use his physicality against Victor Wembanyama. I expect him to be on the glass, whether it's, Keldon Johnson, Julian Champagnie, whoever you want. I think he probably will play more than the 15 minutes that we've seen him play most of this postseason just because you're going to need his size. But I don't think this is that big of a deal.
So we were talking earlier because I was trying to warn fans who are listening, don't overreact to Wembanyama. He is going to jump off the screen, literally. He's gonna do breathtaking things we never see. You and I see it all the time. I love when we do the highlights throughout the playoffs on Get Up and how we just watch the silly stuff that he does, and Greeny just gets so caught up in it. Watch this. It's one step and he's already at the rim. And I feel like you can't overreact to that as much as you have to shut down or stop their others from getting hot. If there's a player on the Spurs that you're like, look, Wemby's going to get his, don't let this guy get going, who would that be?
I think in the experience with the Knicks, it's Champagnie.
Yeah.
You could make the argument that it's also De'Aaron Fox, but I think, everybody keeps saying, oh, the Spurs don't have a soft spot in their defense. I think you've got tiers, as you do on every other NBA team. I think you've got the Wembanyama, the Castle, the Harper, the Vassell, and then I don't know if I would put Fox and Champagnie in the same category defensively. But I think in terms of as you look back at the 3 games that we have, and obviously the Cup is the outlier because the 2 regular season games actually counted, right? there was always sort of an asterisk, if you will, in terms of something being unusual around the circumstances or in the performance of the game, right? When the Spurs came to the Garden, granted the Knicks took care of that one, got the win, but you could also say, all right, Victor was still on a minutes restriction. I think Harrison Barnes might have still been in the starting lineup. And they were at the end of a nasty 10-game road trip where I think they had rattled off like 11 wins in a row. And then you could argue, right, they were gassed by the time they got to the Garden. Okay, cool, chalk it up. The Knicks did what they were supposed to do. I think Vegas probably offers the most balanced opportunity, but again, I think Victor is still coming off the bench at that point. Yes. And then you get 15 rebounds from Mitchell Robinson, and you get outstanding performances from Jordan Clarkson and Tyler Kolek down the stretch off the bench, like however you want to quantify that. But that's, maybe something that counts as, the Knicks bench goes deeper than anticipated. They become the champions in Vegas. And then on New Year's Eve, Champagnie, who we just mentioned, 36 on 11 threes, and you don't have Josh Hart in that ball game. Like, okay, so what are we supposed to take away from this one as well? Not to mention that was like the post-cut malaise, if you will, and it is attached to that nasty 11-game stretch to start the calendar year for the Knicks. And we know they're a very different team since then. Now, I think the Spurs are a different team from the regular season as well. They have been battle-tested to this point. I think the Knicks, obviously, we've talked about it a ton. They are a different team in terms of how they approach and what the productivity has looked like up and down the board. So I'm really excited for this one. But I think Fox and Champagnie are probably the guys that if they're just getting loose, then there's a little bit of an issue.
Talking to Monica McNutt, her weekly spot here on Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg. You mentioned them coming back against the Thunder. The general feeling is the Knicks have the scar tissue from those 2 losses to the Pacers the last couple of years, and the Spurs might be a little early to the party.
Yeah.
But the wins in Games 6 and 7 of the conference finals, what does that mean for them going into this series?
I think Victor Wembanyama has been so unique, not just as a player, but how honest he's been, and it's refreshing, right? And he talked about it yesterday in terms of his team facing the challenge of coming down from the emotional high of the achievement in the Western Conference Finals and knocking off their foe in the Thunder and being prepared to play against the New York Knicks squad. And so as I look at that, yes, there's an emotional curve. I also, though, I think of all of the coaches or teams who could say momentum in our case is a good thing, they just want to keep playing, I think it's probably most applicable to the Spurs. When I think about the Sixers saying that earlier this season, I'm like, oh, your team's kind of old, bro. You sure you want that? And we saw how that panned out. Like, that's not the case for this group. And so I think the only way to play through, or I guess to come back to earth from that high, is to get to the next basketball game, especially when you have a young group. I have been one who has questioned their experience all season. I've had to throw that out, if you will, because here they are. Right. But I do think that the Knicks' sort of grizzled experience for them is going to serve them well in this one. But there's something to be said for the youthful naivete, if you will. Like, you don't know what you don't know. You're just hooping, and that's where the Spurs are.
Right, that's what makes them so dangerous. Exactly that. The Knicks feel like a team that has an urgency about them, as if they know, like, this is our best. This might be our best shot, so we got to go for it, because they are, that veteran group in their prime right now. So, Mon, with all that in mind, you touched down in San Antonio. It's real now. Like, you walk out, you see the Larry O'Brien on the court, all the stuff, a lot of the media that's there. How about for you? You got butterflies about tonight? You fired up about tonight? What's your feeling as you're going to make your first call of an NBA Finals?
I just want to play ball. Like, I want to get to it. I have been fortunate to cover the Finals, not with either team, but like nationally for ESPN, so that's cool. But I think when you're on the ground with a team, one, I've been rolling with these guys all season, so there's a different level of investment, just both in terms of the market, the opportunity, what the opportunity would mean for me potentially, because I've already said, Knicks win a championship, I'm giving TED Talks on championship culture. Who want to book me? Like, let's go, right? But, like, it's just so incredible the way this game, like, ignites cities and communities, and we obviously live in New York and we've seen it there, but, like, you can't drive past a building that's, starts to enter the high-rise category without seeing a Go Spurs Go sign here. Even this morning when we were doing First Take, like, the way those fans showed up and the energy from their fan base is commendable and respectable as well. I'm super, super excited just to get to it, and I'm so thankful, like, for sort of the camaraderie that we have as a broadcast team. Like, Tyler's super excited. We have a lot of fun together, our whole MSG operation. It's sort of surreal for me. Like, I put up my question today on Instagram to talk to fans, and this is by far the most engagement I've ever gotten on one of these questions. And so I just appreciate the way folks have, I am sort of synonymous with what this team is doing with the organization, and that has really kind of settled in for me being here for the finals. So it's really cool.
Well, we also have Bill Pito here sitting with us. He's up next.
Monica.
Pito!
What's up, Monica?
Nothing much, man. This time zone's messing me up. I got to apologize to Don for being a little sleeping beauty. But it's fine. I'm here. I made it.
He was napping during the segment.
But we're so happy for you. Enjoy it. And, I expect this series is going to be a long one. We'll obviously talk to you next week and get an update. Because if you come on next Wednesday, that's setting us up for, Game 4, right?
Yeah, that'll be Game 4.
You better not sleep through your pregame hit tonight, Monica. We got pregame 7:30.
You know what,
you better
Pito?
be ready.
Don't get with the radio boys and start showing off. I don't want to hear it.
Just be ready to go.
And you'll be back in New York. So
have I ever not been ready, Pito? Come on.
Well, 4 o'clock today.
Yeah,
that's other than that.
Other than 4 o'clock today, yeah.
All right. Enjoy it, Monica. We'll be listening.
All right, guys. Talk to you later.
All right, that's the Monica McNutt Report. It's brought to you by Calandra's Bakery. Calandra's Bakery, just 4 simple ingredients and still made by hand since 1962. Available daily at your local supermarket. And BetMGM, own the moment, make it legendary. Download the BetMGM app today. Please gamble responsibly. Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. Bill Pito, coming up next.
Hold on. Monica's got her own segment? Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
What's
and
going on?
She gets cake,
She
too.
gets cake.
What the heck's going on? Where's the producer of the show?
It's business.
We will talk to you. We'll bring Anthony in and find out what's going on. Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg till 7 o'clock here on ESPN New York.
When care matters most, experience matters more. The Allure Group is redefining rehabilitation and long-term care across New York with 6 convenient locations. Their expert clinicians create personalized care plans to help you recover, rebuild, and get back to what matters most. From short-term rehab to long-term care, Allure is committed to comfort, dignity, and results. To learn more, visit allurecare.com. The Allure Group, where care meets compassion. It's the playoffs. Knicks fans, get in on all the postseason action with BetMGM, an official sports betting partner of the New York Knicks. Download the BetMGM app today and make every matchup mean more than ever with the best daily promotions in the business. Plus, enjoy thousands of casino games with BetMGM Casino in New Jersey. Download today. BetMGM. Make it legendary. 21 years of age or older to wager and physically present in New York and New Jersey only. Subject to eligibility requirements. Gambling problem? In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In New Jersey, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Bigger facilities, faster lines, and more preservatives? While the world automated, Calandra stayed at the counter. At Calandra's Bakery, they stick to the basics. Real people, real ingredients, and real messy counters. Calandra's bread is all natural with 0 preservatives, just 4 simple ingredients doing their thing, which means it might not last as long as the others, but that's kind of the point. Flavor like theirs doesn't come from a factory. Calandra's Bakery, still made by hands, not robots, since 1962.
The Knicks.
This is a team that is very talented and is playing its absolute highest level of basketball.
The Spurs.
The Knicks have been completely unstoppable.
The NBA Finals.
They will play for the Larry O'Brien Trophy.
I talk about how great we are. That doesn't matter. We just got to worry about being ourselves and just stay locked in and, go win.
NBA Finals Game 1 coverage begins tonight at 7 on 880 and the ESPN New York app.
Download to see if you qualify. Not all customers will qualify. Transfer fees may apply. No Albert subscription required. Albert is not a bank. Albert Instant Loans are issued by FinWise Bank, member FDIC. Not an actual client. Terms apply.
Kylie, what's wrong? I just got hit with a car repair bill. I'm behind on rent, and I feel like I can never save any money.
Have you tried the Albert app? Albert is your financial assistant, helping you find ways to save and create custom budgets to actually grow your money. Plus, you can get up to $10,000 for big expenses, or advance up to $1,000 fast when you need cash right away.
Albert can get me up to $10,000?
Exactly. Albert spots you in a pinch and helps you grow your money in the long run.
I'm downloading Albert right now.
Download the Albert app and use promo code MULTIPLY to borrow up to $10,000 for whatever you need. The Albert app helps you budget better and save more money so you reach your financial goals faster. Download the Albert app right now and use promo code MULTIPLY to borrow up to $10,000. Use code MULTIPLY to borrow up to $10,000.
The ESPN New York Beach Bash is back. Thursday, July 2nd at Bar A in Lake Como, New Jersey. Head down to the Jersey Shore and join the Michael K. Show and Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg live starting at 1 p.m. Plus, there'll be appearances from DiPietro and Rothenberg, as well as Bart and Carlin. We'll have plenty of giveaways for fans in attendance, a soccer watch party, and the chance to test your skills by trying to kick a soccer goal past Rick DiPietro. Save DiPietro! Plus, music from Surfing for Daisy. It's all brought to you by Spike Dave, Boost Mobile, Miller Lite, Fanatics Fest NYC, and New Jersey Lottery. You must be at least 21 years of age to enter.
Rosenberg with you until 7 o'clock. We're here at Stout, 35th between 7th and 8th Avenue, and it's always a pleasure to welcome in the great Bill Pito, who got me in a little bit of trouble earlier, but I was just being honest. We were talking about who would host the parade, and immediately my answer was Bill Pito.
Yep.
No.
And the reason why is because the reason we talked about it is I don't think Breen would do it.
Why is
because
that?
he's calling it nationally. And I'm not saying it was right or wrong, but Joe Davis got a ton of heat last year when the Dodgers won the World Series and he hosted their parade. They're like, wait a minute, he's the Fox announcer. He's a national guy. And I don't think Breen would do it. So either way, if Breen didn't do it, that's why we were talking about who would do it if not for Breen. And I said Bill Pito.
All right.
He's been there a long time. If Al
were
here,
right.
if Al Troutwig were here, he'd probably be doing it. So
Maybe Allen does it.
But and Allen was in a way.
It wasn't in a way. I made a joke.
Luckily we're in the same room. Otherwise, I think he might have taken it.
You can't make a joke. All I did was he said who would do it, and I just put my hand up.
You could do it.
And then he started going Bill Pito, and I put my hand down. And then I'm like, you didn't even pause and think me. You went right to Bill. And I'm just teasing him. And now he thinks that I feel a way about it. Of course you would do it.
Well, it would be an honor. I mean, we got a long way till that, but that would be fantastic.
No, I know. But it was one of those conversations because he's right. The whole thing that happened with the Dodgers,
you really
didn't go over well.
But you think people really pay attention to? Look, we're in the media.
They pay attention to everything.
No, we're in the media, so maybe we would notice. You think average Joe fan wouldn't?
You don't think everybody in the league that's watching this game knows that Mike Breen calls Knicks games?
So
everybody knows that.
I know, but do you think if he were to host a parade, you really?
I wouldn't care.
I mean,
I would think it would
these
be
are
fitting.
Vince Scully.
Yes,
I would have no problem with it. Listen, Joe Davis. I only brought it up because Joe Davis got a lot of heat.
Right. From who though?
Well, them. What is any heat, right? I mean, but I think people. And listen, Mike Breen's not on social media. He probably wouldn't even hear about it. But it was that's where we got to the debate. I hope he does it. I think he deserves
to.
But
Bill, you pay attention to a lot of that stuff in our business and the criticism of people in our business.
I didn't notice that.
Yeah, that was something at the time that people were calling him out, saying that it was bad form because you're the national voice, and now you're looking like you're
interesting,
like more of a team guy. Now, again, I would think the obvious choice would be Mike Breen. Of course, it would.
Right.
But Don was suggesting maybe he wouldn't because of that. Like you've been in business forever. You wouldn't care. Clyde introducing people.
Well,
Clyde would be good as a
Clyde,
guest.
the traffic cop, does not jump to mind. He does a lot of things well.
All right.
I don't know if
that video on social media about getting ready for the finals.
Yeah,
getting the
he's getting
attire right.
Yeah, he's getting the suit done. Yeah.
Bill, fans, in sports radio, it's usually very negative. Fans are worried. And I've been around a lot of teams, a lot of championship runs. We've had the Rangers 12 years ago, Yankees, Mets were in the World Series fairly recently. I've never seen a fan base as positive that they're going to win than the Knicks right now. Have you?
I think you watch Media Day yesterday. Obviously, I don't know how many people got to watch all of it, but we talked about this a little bit. They're so easy to root for. They're such a positive group. They always say the right things. They're such nice guys. And now, there are comparisons to the championship teams in the way they're playing. Everybody, how can you not root for this team? There's not one unlikable guy. The coach is amazing. I just think they're really easy to root for, and I think that has a lot to do with it.
It's the fact that they're cerebral. right? So when you get answers from them, you're getting answers that are thoughtful a lot of times, what they say. Even when, like, because Jalen's famous for never really giving you an answer, but even in doing that, it's still semi-thoughtful. Like, what he's doing, you could tell he's sharp, he's witty, he's funny. And I think you're seeing that. I mean, Josh Hart is a guy that's so quick to make a joke, but also self-deprecating as well. I loved his line about if a unanimous defensive player of the year is guarding me, that says I'm pretty good, right? Like I
Right.
love that. Like I think that's what this group's kind of become. And the most remarkable thing I think has been the transformation of Karl Anthony Towns. I don't think he ever reached pariah status, but there was a lot of fans that still had a hard time embracing him. And there was this talk about how the Knicks got softer when they moved on from Hartenstein and Julius Randle and Dante DiVincenzo, and Towns wasn't really that guy. And you start to learn that the more engaged he got, I think the tougher he got. Would you agree?
I think a lot of it is when fans see a superstar willing to facilitate
Instead
and
of
pass
shoot.
the ball
Yep.
and do the things that he has done here lately, I think that changes. And he's always going to rebound.
Yeah.
And he's maximized his shot totals, which aren't through the roof, to get his points.
Nope. Yeah.
And I think if there was ever maybe a thought that maybe he's not a team guy, without question, now there's no doubt that he is a team guy. I think that's really helped people's opinion of him.
Talking to Bill Pito, you can see all the MSG coverage led by him, with Allen, of course, coming up
1 hour
at 7:30.
pre-games, extended post-games, and on the off night, we also have
Right. Knicks Talk Live at 8.
Talk Live at 8.
As long as it's not a weekend night, because Allen needs a day off.
No, he does. You don't want to get burned out, because I think
he's only doing 12 shows a day.
But
these guys checking their watches last night when I walked in the studio.
But you bring up a great point about the likability. Like, you go back to the '94 team, as great as that team was. There's, Patrick Ewing. You can understand people not liking Ewing or Oakley or Mace, right? There isn't anybody. They all play hard, but I think they're all likable. I can't speak for outside of New York how they feel, but really, I think that. Listen, you hate the opponent, but they're a very, very likable group. I think Mike Brown's story is a great one, too.
Yeah, it's very interesting.
And Allen brought it up again. Everything is just so much symmetry around this team. It's the 1-year anniversary of them letting go of Tibbs.
I know.
Isn't that crazy?
I know. It is amazing. And I actually was in the studio exactly a year ago, and we were at work. We were doing one of our summer shows, and we were like, is this true?
Mm-hmm.
We were absolutely shocked. Exactly a year ago. Where did this come from, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was just absolutely. And then you go with Mike Brown, and one thing that I know we didn't address. I'm just curious what it was like for him to beat the Cavs, a team that let him go twice. Yeah, I'm sure he would have said the right thing.
Yeah, he would have.
But
personally,
that had to mean a lot to him.
Yeah.
And now he's going against a Spurs team that, as a head coach of the Cavs, he lost to in the 2007 Finals. So
Greg Popovich.
Yeah, right. And he started his career. One of his first jobs was an assistant to Greg Popovich.
Yeah.
So,
no, there's a lot of obviously a lot of that story that's going on here, and it's also sort of the journey of the season. You were in Abu Dhabi to start the year. Think about this: they were one of the first two teams to start the season. They played the first preseason game in the league. They're going to play the last game.
Right.
Whether they win or lose it, they're going to be one of the last two teams. So they were one of the first two on.
Right.
They're going to be one of the last two off.
I think I'm headed to be a scout, because I texted these guys on Gershon Yabusele. I said, he don't have it.
You know what?
From Abu Dhabi. It was the only thing I've ever gotten right. I texted these guys. I said, they got a problem here.
It was the first quarter of the first preseason game. He's in Abu Dhabi. He's like, this isn't it. We're like, no, this is a great signing. He's like, no. This is not happening. He was right.
Sometimes, not often, but, you can see how a guy moves. Mm-hmm. And what's amazing is they were able to get out of that and get Alvarado here.
Out of him.
Right.
Crazy.
For cheaper money.
Yeah. And they got a useful player.
Right.
In the rotation.
I mean, Yabusele goes, and who was that guy, Allen, the whatever it was.
Dallin Terry.
To Chicago.
Yeah.
They got Yabusele to waive his player option somehow, and then they swing the deal for Alvarado.
And Alvarado's been a key piece.
No, he's good. He's important, really important.
So you say Yabusele, that's going to one day be a strange pull Nick, who was a Nick that you could name that was, nobody remembers him. We play this game with fans all the time because I think this has been a fun thing about this run.
You're going to go down old rosters?
Yes. So there's always a name.
Aldridge, please.
All right, there you go. I was going to ask you because it seems to be this rite of passage now, this badge of honor I'm walking around. I come out of Penn Station. I'm going to our studio downtown. I came up to our studio here. Whatever it is, wherever I am now, a fan will see me.
Kadeem Allen.
No. This is what they'll do.
No.
I'm not kidding. People will come up to me, and then they'll say, I'm a Knicks fan, and then they'll just come up with a name. And it's almost like to prove, like, this is how long I've been watching this team.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That I can say, LeVar Postel. You know what I mean? Like, names like that out of the blue. And that's when I'll go, all right, you've been a fan since 2001, clearly.
Fans certainly deserve this, and they deserve all the coverage you're giving. Thank you for coming over. That was really nice.
Anytime.
Appreciate it.
See you guys.
Bill Pito.
See you guys soon, all right? Thank you for having me.
Coverage for all the game days
7:30.
at 7:30.
Yeah.
On off days at 8 o'clock.
Right.
And there'll be extended post-game coverage as well after the game on MSG.
Go Knicks.
Big 5 o'clock hour. I'm going to move the list to 5:30. ENN at 6. Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg live from Stout until 7. And then it's Knicks coverage right here on ESPN New York.
FanDuel is giving you better payouts on same-game parlays all NBA playoffs long. With more ways to build and more value every time you play, you can stack your picks your way for every game, every matchup, and every moment. From spreads to player points to threes and more, build it all into one same-game parlay and go for bigger payouts. So if you're setting same-game parlays this NBA postseason, bet them on FanDuel. More options, better payouts, all NBA playoffs long. With more ways to build and more value every time you play, you can stack your picks your way for every game, every matchup, and every moment. From spreads to player points to threes and more, build it all into one same-game parlay and go for bigger payouts. So if you're setting same-game parlays this NBA postseason, bet them on FanDuel. More options, better payouts, all NBA playoffs long. Head to FanDuel.com/local to get started. FanDuel, an official partner of the NBA. Play your game. 21 and over, physically present in New York. For help with a gambling problem, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369.
ESPN New York, now streaming live on YouTube. Subscribe today and watch the show. WHSQ and WCBS-FM HD2, New York.
Monkey Sports, built by players for players, is your one-stop shop for hockey, baseball, lacrosse, and more. Find top-name equipment and expert in-store services like sharpening, break-ins, and relacing. Shop in-store at Monkey Sports in Farmingdale or Woodbridge or online for all the top brands. Whatever your sports, Monkey Sports gets you game ready fast. Monkey Sports, where athletes shop.
Right now, police are stepping up patrols to make sure drivers and pedestrians obey our crosswalk laws. Why? Because every year in New York, people are injured or killed just crossing the street. So remember, pedestrians, obey traffic signals and use crosswalks. And drivers, yield to pedestrians in crosswalks. If you don't, we will educate you on the law. And you may get a ticket, because tickets get attention, and that saves lives. A message from the Governor's Traffic Safety Committee.
And now let's take a look at the traffic with Brandy Scott.
Thanks, guys. We've got the Yanks home tonight in the Bronx and already jammed on the Deegan in both directions, heading over to the stadium with the volume for the outbound, George. Northbound delays go back across the Triborough into Queens and up onto the Bruckner. Southbound said you're hitting the brakes from the Mosholu on down. Inbound, George, really not too bad. Upper deck might run you about 5 to 10 minutes from 80-95. Even better from the 4 and 46 approaches. Outbound Lincoln will run you 20 to 30 minutes. Outbound Hahn 45 plus. Heavy delays on the Staten Island Expressway westbound, heading over to the West Shore, backing up across the Verrazano into Brooklyn. And Game 1 of the NBA Finals, Knicks at San Antonio, ready to take on the Spurs. Lots of watch parties tonight at MSG Plaza 33 and Central Park Summer Stage. This report is sponsored by Mothers Against Drunk Driving. For victims of drunk and drug driving, your grief is unique, but you're not alone. You always have a place at MAD. Visit MAD.org. I'm Brandy Scott on 880 ESPN New York.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
In a world
Parched for excitement, one drink will emerge. Twisted Tea, the refreshing thrill ride of flavor. Recreating its classic role as the hard iced tea that goes down smooth. Twisted Tea doesn't just taste like real iced tea, it's made with real brewed tea and a 5% kick of alcohol. Taste the adventure with Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea. Keep it twisted.
Twisted Tea Brewing Company, Cincinnati, Ohio. Please drink responsibly.
Game time is brought to you by Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey, because when it's game time, guys,
it's Tully time.
Mets Mariners on 10:50 right now. They're in the top of the fourth inning. Mets with a 5-1 lead. Bo Bichette with a couple of RBIs.
Bo Bichette.
Mets trying to at least salvage one of the three-game series out in Seattle. And then, of course, the Yankees, they're going to be taking on the Guardians at 7:05. But the big story is right after us at 7 o'clock, the extended pregame show with Pat O'Keefe. Knicks Spurs Game 1, and tip-off is set for 8:30. And the Liberty will play host to the Tempo. They're in Toronto. We found that out earlier at 7:30. Tullamore Dew, the original triple distilled, triple blended, and triple cast matured Irish whiskey. Be sure to grab a Tullamore Dew or try the new Tullamore Dew Honey during today's action. Glasses up to enjoying Tullamore Dew responsibly. Want to hear from you at 1-800-919-3776. We'll do the list at 5:30. ENN with Anthony Pusick at 6. But a couple of things I wanted to throw at you.
Mm-hmm.
That the Knicks have beaten their opponents by 19.4 points here in the playoffs. Spurs not bad, 10.3. It's not as good as the Knicks, but
it's still double figures.
Still double figures. Found this interesting, too. Spurs had a 756 winning percentage after going 62-20. The last time the Knicks faced a team with that good of a record in the playoffs was 1996, 30 years ago, when they took on the 72-10 Bulls and lost in 5.
They were the only team to get a win against that Bulls team up until they got to the finals.
And that was 96.
Yep.
So I'm trying to remember the runs for the Bulls and who they played in 96. They played the gotta think about this now. 96. I know they played the Sonics, and they were up. Weren't they up 3-0 on the Sonics, and the Sonics stole a couple of games, but that wasn't in 96, right? Was it? Or was
it? Was.
It was. No, I was right. Okay.
Yeah.
Right? Was I right? They were up 3-0, and then the Seattle took a couple of games?
Sounds right.
I remember because I know Jordan, Pippen, or somebody else, did a commercial saying, when we win, don't riot.
The thing for Chicago.
Yeah, for Chicago. And then they end up losing the next two games.
Yeah.
They said they jinxed it.
Yeah.
Sonics almost came back. That was a fun Sonics team with Kemp and Peyton.
Yep.
Was Shreps there, or was he already in Indiana?
I don't remember. This 30 years ago.
I know. That's why I was asking you.
It all blends. That era blends so much from me year to year and stuff.
It just. But here's what's crazy, guys, of how things change. All right. The Spurs came into this season a 65-1 shot to win the title.
Yeah, because they were so young.
They were young.
They hadn't made the playoffs yet.
Again, that's why everybody's saying they're a year early.
Yeah.
The Knicks, according to DraftKings, were a 10-1 shot.
Right.
Now, the reason for that is they were the favorites to come out of the East.
Yeah.
And so those were really good
odds.
They
didn't have the third highest, right? Third best odds?
Don't know, but it had to be third, right? Because obviously it would be Thunder would be 1.
Thunder was 1, and was Denver 2?
The Knicks had the best in the East, right?
I thought them and Cleveland were tied.
Yeah, that was probably – yeah, I think you're right. I think they were tied with Cleveland. We're all like, really? Why is that?
Yeah.
All right? So if the Spurs were to win the title, according to Sports Odds history, it would be the first time that somebody with that long of odds had won a championship in 40 years.
40. So
that's 86, right? So that's
is that the Celtics?
That's the Celtics.
Why would Boston go into that year as a 25-1 or worse odds, right? Why would that? That doesn't make sense.
Well, yeah, it's like they're 65-1.
To win a championship in 40 years? Yeah.
And it can't be going into. It says this is what that says. San Antonio would be the biggest underdog to win the title in the last 40 years, according to Sports Odds history.
Yeah, I can't imagine that '86 Celtics team was that far off when you think about it.
So I'm just trying to think. It was because with the start of the season, was it 85? So who won in 85? I'm trying to remember. Lakers wouldn't have had long odds either. You wouldn't think,
it was
right?
always every year was either the Celtics or the Lakers winning championships then.
And then
that's all you had until you got to 89.
I don't know. That's what I'm reading.
Yeah.
So we'll probably check that out.
They took turns every other year. It was only the Sixers, I think, with the one team that interrupted it.
So
it's in the 80s.
So it's crazy. And so even with the 62 wins, the Spurs still had the Thunder were better.
Yeah.
Markedly
better.
And the Knicks ended up were disappointment in the regular season when you look at it. I mean, they had 10-1 odds, best odds tied with Cleveland to win the conference, and they finished third.
Yeah, but it's always like nobody asks you how you got there, right?
But it just shows you the journey, right?
Yes.
Like everybody lives in the now.
Yeah.
Look at the Knicks, you feel great about them. But there were times you didn't feel great about them in the regular season. Like, what's going on with this team? Look at Detroit. How is Detroit that good?
Right.
Then all of a sudden Tatum comes back and he's healthy and they take the 2 seed. We were having conversations, if you remember, serious, legit conversations about the Knicks better make sure they don't drop the 5 and lose home court. Right? There were those, because there were times where it was right there, like their lead was only a couple. They were scuffling. Atlanta might finish 4th, and they dropped the 5 or could drop the 6, right? Because look at Toronto.
Yep.
Like there was a lot of, but now it's just all glorious. 11 games have changed everything.
Well, that's what makes a run, though, doesn't it? That's what makes this so remarkable. Is that first and foremost, all along, them getting to the finals was something we all said they could do. Right? Nobody said, oh, there's no chance. We all said the potential is there. The expectation was there going into the season. But there was a lot of questions of whether or not it could happen because of various things we saw along the way. But they kind of are where we all going into the season said, we expect this to happen. Right? Like this isn't a shocker. This isn't out of the blue. This isn't 99. 99 was not that. 99 was a shortened season.
Right, they were an 8
They made
seed.
a late trade to get Latrell Sprewell, and then they had to throw a season together with Patrick Ewing, who was barely on the court. Like that was a miracle run. They barely got into the playoffs that year. That was one of those miracle runs where it all came together at the right time. They get to the finals, but they were so banged up by the time they got there. They had no chance of winning. We've never seen anything like this.
But
where it just clicked in the playoffs. They had a meeting. They all looked at each other and said, "Are we doing this or not? Like, are we all in or are we not?" And everybody just decided, all right, we're all in. Let's do this. And this has now become, they have hit their peak. They have reached their potential. They have realized what they can be. And now all we need to sit back and watch and see is, can they now finish the job?
Yeah,
it's in them to do it, though, Don. There's no doubt they can win this, right? There's no doubt they can.
No doubt.
It's now watching, can they get it done?
Yeah.
Can they do it?
Because you don't. The reason I'm bringing all this up is you never know what's going to happen. That's why sports is so amazing. When we say nobody expected this, the people that haven't followed the Knicks all year think we're talking about them being in the finals. We're not, because this was expected.
Yeah.
It was expected by the team, by Vegas, and the expectation was that you got rid of Tibbs because you wanted to win the conference.
Yeah.
So
because you felt like last year you should have been in the finals and you didn't, and you blame the coach for that.
So this is not a surprise.
Right.
However, it wasn't the journey we expected. We figured they'd be the 1 seed. They'd cruise. They'd win 55, 56 games, maybe 60, and they'd go into the finals, and then we'll see what they do against the Thunder or the Nuggets or whoever.
Right.
I don't think anybody was talking about the Spurs based on the 65-1 odds of winning the whole thing.
Right.
And so nobody expected that kind of adversity that they would face. And then you get to the playoffs, and now they became the team that you thought they were going to be. Dominant, beating up on teams, 11 straight wins. However, the one caveat is they're down 2-1 to Atlanta before it all starts.
Right.
And now they got us doubting again. So they had us doubting in the regular season at times. They had us, I'll be honest, especially me, down 2-1, doubting in the first round. Like, all right, they might be get out of this series, but this doesn't look like a championship team.
Mm-hmm.
So will there be another doubt moment? The good news is the last time they've had doubts, the 2 times they've had doubts, they've overcome it. So will there be a moment in the series, Al? I'm going to ask you.
Moment of truth, yeah.
We'll start to look and go, I'm not sure now. I'm not sure what's going to happen. Maybe you're down 2-1 in the series, or maybe it's just losing tonight. Something as simple as that. But do you think there will be a moment where you'll look at the team and go, I'm not really sure now?
Yeah, I thought there was going to be one in the Cavs series, and it didn't happen.
Well, it happened midway through the third, I guess, right?
Yeah, but game
well,
one,
fourth, excuse me.
To me, game one should never put doubt in your mind. Not a game one. Because a game one is too arbitrary. Like it's anything can happen in a game one that you can always adjust to. Maybe you didn't see it coming, didn't expect it, or somebody just had a bad game, right?
Right.
So game ones, I don't feel ever comes a moment of truth. Game two could. If you lose game one, we could have a moment of truth in game two, or a game three when it's 1-1.
Yeah,
because you're home. So you could have that moment of truth there as well. So I think that first one will come early in the series. I don't think it's game one, though.
But even with their history of never winning a series when losing the first game at home, you don't think that would have placed doubt in somebody's mind about whether they'd be able to beat the Cavs?
Maybe because of that whole history.
Yeah.
You're talking about the Eastern Conference Finals now.
Right.
Yeah, that's going to be there. But here's your other. See, to me, that kind of history, I have fun with, because when you say, they've never won a series when they lose game one at home. And I'm like, but this team, their history in this was one game, one series. I also look at all right, so here's the other thing. Something's got to give. The Spurs have never lost game one at home in the NBA Finals. They're 6-0. They've never lost one. And you're like, wait a second. None of these guys played on that team. That's not their history.
No.
That's just that's a historical
At least the other
anomaly.
6 had pop. I mean, they don't even have pop.
That's what I mean. So it's a historical anomaly. It's just one of these things that eventually, at some point, that's going to stop.
But to defend stats, we do throw them out. I mean, it doesn't really mean anything.
No, it's a lamppost.
And really, was there ever a time where the Spurs were a dog in the finals?
I don't believe so.
So it kind of makes sense, right?
Yeah.
They probably had home court in all of them, right?
Yes.
And so
they had to have.
Yeah, right. So even that stat, it's not the same.
Oh no, well they've only lost one, right? They have 5 rings. They lost one. They lost that one to Ray Allen's shot.
Yeah,
the Heat.
Exactly. Yeah,
that's the only one that they lost, but they won that game one.
Yeah, so they've
never lost a game one.
One of the 30% that Heat team that lost game one and still found a way to win the series. So, it is crazy too. The other thing that just baffles me is this was a team you didn't trust, and now it seems like everybody's complete 180.
Well,
from not trusting them to complete trust.
You go 43 days without losing a game.
True.
And the majority of the games you played, the 11 games you played over those days, you didn't just beat your opponent, you beat the hell out of them. Think about that. Like that, how do you not build trust that way? Which is, again, why I think the trust is built up enough to a point where, as you're watching tonight, you're going to see it's a new series with new adjustments, but they are two teams that have played each other, not just twice. They played each other 3 times. They played each other with something on the line. There is sort of a familiarity between them. I don't think it's that much of a difference, and I do think that's going to make this, which is what I said the other day. People got to understand something. This is going to be an epic series.
I agree.
This is going to be a very – if you don't have a dog in the fight, this is a fantastic series for you. If you just love watching really competitive high-level sports or basketball, this series is for you because it's going to be great.
And you can't have an epic series without there being moments of adversity and moments of doubt.
Yeah.
If it goes the way that I think it's going to go, where it's going to be every other night.
Right.
Knicks win game 1, Spurs even it.
Right.
Then that means the Knicks would lose a game 6 at home and have to win a game 7 on the road. You don't think
adversity.
there'd be doubt? There'd be people ready because I remember in '94, it was a huge party outside the Garden.
Game 5.
The Rangers were up 3-1.
Yeah.
They're going to win the cup.
Oh,
And then the cup, the Rangers.
They came home and they weren't ready.
They weren't ready, and then we're going to win in Vancouver. Oh, big! It was a Saturday night, I remember. And they got their doors blown off there, and all of a sudden you're facing a game 7. Like, what's going on?
Yeah.
And the final score was 2-1.
Mm-hmm.
That's the other team. They're in the same position. The Rangers won 54 years. The Knicks haven't won in 53. There weren't chants of 1973. That never became a thing.
It doesn't have it doesn't have the rhyme.
It doesn't work.
It doesn't really work. 1940 just has a rhythm to it.
Really,
1973 is too awkward.
You know what I always wondered? I never asked. Maybe I can ask somebody because I'm doing the Devil games now.
Okay.
Do you remember what the attendance was at the Meadowlands?
Yes. It was 19,040.
Yeah. That can't just be a coincidence,
Come on now.
right?
No way. Even if it was like maybe it was 19,047. Somebody's like, take those 7 seats out.
Right, exactly. Let's just put something. Let's just put a barrier. Like that's too high a number for it to be a coincidence, right?
Yes.
If it's 140, all right, well, it was a 1 in 140 shot.
It was 19040.
It was a 1 in a 19,040 shot that it would be that number.
That was chef's kiss. That was just perfect. It really was.
1-800-919-3776. Want to get some calls here coming up. At 5:30,
the list.
We'll do the list. It was bumped unceremoniously by Monica McNutt.
I think it was pushed
to
up.
5:30.
It was pushed up.
No, I know
to
she's
a bigger
busy. I know
time
it's crazy.
frame.
But I'm a stickler for punctuation.
Listen, I let her know ahead of time that you were
punctuality.
You were
I should say punctuation. I don't care.
You don't
if you've
care?
ever seen my text, I don't spell anything.
Yeah, I noticed that.
But punctuality is something that I care about. I want to throw. It's off the beaten path, but it just came down.
What happened?
Brian Hulk just tweeted. No update on Aaron Judge, according to Aaron Boone, who said the doctor is still reviewing images.
I don't like that.
I don't like it either.
No.
I was going to ask you if
still
you like it.
reviewing images? Like, what are you doing? All right, so you go like this.
You had them for 24 hours.
You hold it up. You look at it. You're like, all right, yeah, there's something going on there. I'm not ready to decide what it is, though. I need you to look at it. Hey, Dr. LaGreca, can you look at this now? Because I don't know what I'm seeing here. No, normally when you look at the image, you know exactly what's going on. The fact that they're still reviewing.
Because
I don't love that.
Well, the way it looks is that they need something more definitive. They don't like what they see, or another opinion's coming. They're getting another set of eyeballs to take a look at. It can't be good, right?
No.
It's not like, oh, I'm sorry, the doctor's at the golf course. He's going to check it later. No,
yeah,
they looked at it. They've been sitting there staring at it for 24 hours, and they've got no update? Or are you not ready to announce the information? Is that it?
It kind of feels like that, doesn't it? It kind of feels like they think they know what it is, and they want to see how do we want to say this? Because it is strange. It's a rib thing that's affecting his shoulder, and it's probably now the reason why he's gone a stretch of 20 games not being himself, not looking himself at the plate, right?
Right.
And if that's the case, you got to get whatever it is fixed. Does that mean he's going to miss a lot of time?
We'll keep an eye on that.
It's not great. Great.
I know we're all wrapped up in the Knicks, but at some point
big story.
when this runs over, all of a sudden you want to pivot to the baseball teams. And the Mets, they're winning today, but trying to avoid getting swept in Seattle. And the Yankees didn't exactly respond. Cam pitched his probably worst outing maybe of his career.
Yeah, he did not look right. Yeah.
Just kind of crazy in that loss to the Guardians. Let's get to your phones at 1-800-919-3776. Let's talk to Alan in Staten Island. You're on ESPN New York.
How you doing, guys?
Good. What's up?
Calling about the ticket market. I am always studied and looked at the prices of everything. I've always been big on numbers and just everything like that. I own a small accounting firm.
Okay. Yeah.
So I've always been someone who's just always studying the numbers of everything and averages and, different markets. And this NBA Finals is just absolutely crazy. I see prices, face value today, $18,000 for third row tickets in San Antonio on the baseline. Who's going to pay that in San Antonio?
New Yorkers who are trying to get in the building.
Oilmen, too. I mean, you're talking about Texas. There are people, Alan, and thank you for the phone call, that have money in Texas. Okay? So there are billionaires in Texas.
Remember, this is secondary market, too.
Right. But
so what's happening is you're trying to create competition for a ticket you already purchased. So let's not look at it. See, the secondary market thing bothers me because a lot of people think that's the face value price of the ticket, and they blame the teams and the league.
No,
you
that's
get a
not,
lot of criticism where it's like Adam Silver, he's allowing these teams to charge too much. No. Face value. Now, the face value of an NBA Finals ticket is still going to be high because it's a premium event. But it's nowhere near what the secondary is. You buy them up, and then people put them on the secondary market, and they create the competition to see how high. Let me put it up to this. Let's see if somebody will buy it.
Yeah.
Right before the game, an hour before the game, some of those tickets are going to go way down. People will wait till the last minute to get in the building. Same thing will happen with Game 3. Everybody that's freaking out about getting into the building in Game 3, don't pay attention to the secondary market. If you're trying to buy those tickets now, you're going to pay a premium. Now you're doing it because you don't want them to dry up. But there's this feeling that there'll probably be a get-in price for you at some point, day of game, that might be doable.
I mean, it might be. Let's see if I can sucker somebody from New York to fly in and get it. But
Right.
you know, if you have it out there now, you're probably not going to get it.
So I know somebody that they flew to Austin because they can't get into San Antonio.
Right.
All the flights are booked. Flew into Austin, is renting a car, driving from Austin to San Antonio, has tickets to the game. And that's how they're doing it. Because they said, I got to be there is what
Nick
he told me.
fans will get in. It won't be like it was in Philadelphia or
No,
Cleveland.
but you'll have Nick fans there. But it won't be. Yeah,
Right.
It won't be like that. Yeah.
Lou in Manalapan, you're on Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg.
Hey, how's it going, guys? Let's go Knicks. Super excited for this game. Super excited for and happy for the MSG crew, Alan and all of the people that work over there, because this is awesome. It's part of, it's a community with the Knicks. And you guys were just bringing up the fans. I do find it funny watching Instagram and seeing the San Antonio fans say, we want Brunson, when it's like 30 guys in their Tim Duncan jerseys, and it's just funny. It's cute compared to what we do over here. But my thought about the finals and just the way the Knicks have been playing, it could have been the regular season. When you're on a winning streak like this, I really feel like it's not about how they're going to win. It's about what they show in their next loss. Like, we haven't seen them lose, and when we did see them lose, while we were all panicking because the product wasn't good, they only lost by a combined 2 points back to back.
Each game was one.
Do they lose by 15 to the Spurs? Like, do we see what happens if we go down, 15 to the Spurs team, an exciting offensive team, and do we get back? How do we get back? Do we win? This is why, I never imagined we would be in the finals, because I'm a Mets, Jets, Knicks, Ranger fan, St. John's College basketball fan. So it's like, we don't, this is the fifth time in my lifetime a team that I root for made the finals. And this is by far the best team in any sport I've watched get to the finals. So I'm really excited about it. Let's go, Knicks.
Yeah,
Knicks
I'm curious, too, because I think that's a great point.
One thing I want to point out.
Yes.
This team has not lost that often by a big deficit.
No.
It's not what they fight all the way to the end. Like, they really have not been a team that gets smoked. They'll lose, they'll blow a lead late, or they'll be close and they just can't catch up. Maybe they'll go down by 18 some point of the game. They'll lose by 7. Like, they do have that in them. So we've really never, I think that's probably what Lou's kind of saying. We really haven't seen them get overmatched, overwhelmed that often. And I don't expect it in this series. I think every one of these games is going to be a nail-biter. It's going to be tough. It's going to be, the Thunder series with the Spurs was a knockdown drag-out, man.
Hey, listen, you do to lose, the perfect scenario, you know what? Gentleman sweep. Lose game 4 when you're up 3-0. If you got to get it out of the way.
If you got to lose one, that's the one. Although not in this series now.
Yeah, well.
No. You don't want to lose game 4. Not in this series.
Well, no.
You're in your building.
Right, exactly.
If you're up 3-0,
you're right.
It's party time.
Yeah. You don't want to have what I just explained happen to the 94 Rangers, although they made up for Game 7, but you want to avoid that too.
Yeah.
No. You don't want to be up 3-0 and all of a sudden you're playing, a Game 6 or 7. You don't want to have to do that. Coming up, the list.
Yeah, let's go.
6 o'clock, Anthony Busic's going to be handling E&N. Take up until 7 o'clock, and then it's Pat O'Keefe with the coverage of Game 1, Knicks Spurs. Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg live from Stout on 35th between 7th and 8th on ESPN New York.
The Knicks.
This is a team that is very talented and is playing its absolute highest level of basketball.
The Spurs.
The Knicks have been completely unstoppable.
The NBA Finals.
They will play for the Larry O'Brien Trophy.
I talk about how great we are. That doesn't matter. We just got to worry about being ourselves and just stay locked in and, go win.
NBA Finals Game 1 coverage begins tonight at 7 on 880 and the ESPN New York app.
If you're heading into summer without a medical emergency kit, you're taking a risk most people don't think about until it's too late. Summer colds linger and can turn into sinus infections that last for weeks. Getting sick right now before vacation can derail everything. And when you're traveling, finding a doctor and pharmacy is stressful. That's why I ordered a medical emergency kit. It's like having urgent care and a pharmacy right at home. It includes essential prescriptions like amoxicillin and generic Z-Pak to treat a wide range of common and serious illnesses. So if you wake up sick at home or on the road, you already have what you need. No waiting for your doctor, no hours at urgent care, no pharmacy lines, no copays. Just match your symptoms to the right prescription in your guidebook or call their telemedicine doctor standing by. Start on your meds sooner and feel better faster. Every home needs at least one medical emergency kit. Order yours online in minutes and it's shipped to your door. And save $45 with my promo code 880 at urgentcarekit.com/880. That's promo code 880 at urgentcarekit.com/880.
One 877 Cards for Kids. KARS Cards for Kids. 1-877 Cards for Kids. Donate your card today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 877 Cars for Kids to speak to a friendly live agent. Donation is super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Go to carsforkids.org now or call 877 Cars for Kids to donate your car today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids.
Did you know you can donate real estate too? Go to carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K.
Long Island is more exciting than ever at Jake's 58 Casino Hotel. This June, don't miss our midweek Money Rush drawing and your chance to win your share of $50,000. Be here on Wednesday, June 10th and 24th from 3 till 6 p.m. when one lucky winner will be drawn every hour to win $5,000 cash. Then at 7 p.m., one winner will take home $5,000 cash plus any unclaimed cash from the previous drawings. Come to where Long Island wins at Jake's 58 Casino Hotel.
If gambling is a problem for you or someone you care about, please call the 24-hour toll-free helpline at 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY.
Hey Yankees fans, join us at Yankee Stadium on Thursday, June 18th as the Yankees take on the White Sox. And come early for a special giveaway. It's Yankee Soccer Jersey Night. The first 18,000 guests will receive a Yankee soccer jersey presented by Bank of America. Don't miss Yankees and White Sox on Thursday, June 18th, Yankee Soccer Jersey Night. Get your tickets now at yankees.com/tickets.
And now let's take a look at the traffic with Brandy Scott.
Thanks so much, guys. We're going to start off in Westchester County. Not so great on the New England Thruway northbound, trying to make your way over to the state line. Crash right before exit 20 in Rye. You're jammed there and backed up into Harrison. Definitely your worst ride to the outbound George. Cross Bronx westbound. Slam from White Plains Road on through. Yanks home tonight in the Bronx using the inbound George. Really not too bad for both the upper and lower decks. Deegan just packed in both directions, heading over to the stadium with the volume for the outbound George. Outbound Lincoln already about 20 to 30 minutes. Outbound Holland 45 plus. And just about 3 hours away from tip-off in San Antonio. Game 1 of the NBA Finals. Knicks taking on the Spurs. Watch parties tonight at MSG Plaza 33 and Central Park Summer Stage. This report is sponsored by Mothers Against Drunk Driving. For victims of drunk and drug driving, your grief is unique, but you're not alone. You always have a place at MAD. Visit MAD.org. I'm Brandy Scott on 880 ESPN New York.
In a contracting business, you're either growing or you're grinding. Success is no longer about hard work alone. It's about using AI to accelerate impact. ServiceTitan is the only integrated intelligence that seamlessly automates your entire workflow, from first call to final invoice. Born in the trades, built for visionaries ready to stop operating and start automating. ServiceTitan, AI for the trades.
Empower.
After wanting one for years, Kevin is finally enjoying his new hot tub.
This is the life.
He worked with Empower to help him get good at money, so now he can be a little bad.
Oh, no, not my phone.
Oh, Kevin. Kevin's phone may be in hot water, but his finances aren't. Invest well, live a little. Start today at empower.com.
You just made the list, buddy.
This is The List with Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg. Brought to you by the Allure Group.
That's right. It's now time for The List. And as you heard, brought to you by the Allure Group. Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg hanging out with you until 7 o'clock here from Stout. You want to swing by, you're on your way to the watch party at Madison Square Garden. We're on 35th between 7th and 8th Avenue. here till 7 o'clock, and then Pat O'Keefe will take over with a pregame for Knicks Spurs Game 1. So I wanted to come up with a list that kind of has something to do with big sporting events, as we got one happening here. So I'm not going to put them in any order, but I've got the 5 major New York moments that collided with each other, meaning that there was a big moment in New York sports, but something else was happening in New York. Like
so
what's happening with the Knicks.
New York sports moments.
Right.
That kind of happened at the same time that were significant moments.
Could happen
that year.
Could happen with the Knicks, right? Because the World Cup being here in New York, and there's going to be some conflicting things. The U.S. Open from a golf perspective. So here are some of the ones that come up with. Tell me what you think.
And who knows, whatever the Aaron Judge thing might be. Just saying.
Just saying. But all right, here's what we came up with. Again, no particular order. But it was a big deal for me because I was there, and everybody was gathering to watch the other event in the press room while this was going on, and it was Game 4 of Nets Spurs in 2003. It was June 11th, 2003, Meadowlands, Spurs, Nets. During that game, the Yankees were getting no hit. And it happens regularly now, but they were no hit by 6 different Astro pitchers.
Which never used to. That was not a thing.
And again, this is the 2003 Yankees. They would go on to the World Series, lose to the Marlins. This is a good Yankees team with some really good players, and they were getting no hit by 6 different Astros while Game 4 of the NBA Finals between the Nets and the Spurs were going on. And it was kind of a surreal moment. Like nobody was watching the basketball game. They were all watching the 9th inning of the Yankee game.
You wanted to see if it would happen, right.
The other one is when the Rangers won the Stanley Cup. That day, Phil Simms was cut by the Giants. And it was unceremonious. He thought he was coming in to sign autographs. Dan Reeves cuts him. So the next day, the back of the Daily News, when it was a big deal with the newspapers and what's on the back page, Phil Simms getting cut's a banner because they have to put the Rangers winning the Stanley Cup on the back page of the paper.
Otherwise, that would have been a gigantic story,
so you didn't know it was happening at the time you were watching Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Final, but that day, Phil Simms gets cut from the New York Giants. This one's close to your heart. On December 21st, 1997, all right, the Jets are playing the Lions. Last game of the season. Bill Parcells' first year as coach of the Jets. Barry Sanders goes off. Leon Washington with an option gets picked off in the end zone. Jets miss the playoffs, losing on the last day of the season. The day before, Patrick Ewing gets hurt, but during that Jets-Lions game, it's announced that Patrick Ewing is done for the season and pretty much done as a Knick.
Just think about that, Don. For me, that was the end of 2 seasons. Two of my favorite teams.
Right, in one day.
In one day, done.
Now,
what did I have to root for at that point?
Right.
Like the Yankees had lost already, right? They had lost in the ALCS.
Mm-hmm.
The Knicks season was supposed to be like the follow-up to what happened last spring when everybody went off the court. They had that fight, and you're like, all right, well, they're going to come back this year, and they're going to be – and so you're, 25, 35 games into the season, and now Ewing's gone for the year. The Jets season, which started out like, hey, they got a chance to win 10 games. Bill Parcells is the coach. They lose, no playoffs. They're done. And, I mean, the Islanders stunk back then. So, like, what was I watching it? I had my sports – like that – crushed me because for the rest of like the next 2 months, I'm like, what do I have nothing to watch now? Killed me.
Now, there's another one that was a positive and a negative. A lot of Jet-Met fans, right?
Okay.
Well, on September 28th, 2008, the Mets collapse again. After blowing that lead against Philadelphia in 07, they blow not as big a lead, but still a lead again in 08. They lose to the Marlins 4-2, ending their season on the last day of the season. Oh, by the way, after the game, big ceremony to close Shea Stadium with Tom Seaver and Mike Piazza walking off into the sunset center field after another miserable loss. Well, on that day, while that game was going on, the Jets beat the Cardinals 56-35. Brett Favre threw 6 touchdown passes. Do you remember that?
Yes. Of course. Well, I remember the Favre part of it. The Met thing, though, closing Shea, my mother cried.
That's a pretty big day. Well, yeah, Shea Stadium was a big deal.
That meant everything to her, and obviously seeing Seaver. But that, and then Favre, like, he as a Jets fan, you were like, oh my God, like, people forget how good that offense was. until he got hurt.
Yeah, no,
they forget how that offense was insane. The Jets have never had an offense like that.
They finished 8-8, and
they
ended up firing Mangini after the season and all that. All right, and the other one for me, it's close to my heart, and I think if I put it in order, it would be number one for me.
Okay.
The Mets, October 27, 1986, they win Game 7 of the World Series on a Monday night because on Sunday they got rained out. You never see a World Series game on a Monday, but you did in 86 because of the rain out. Oil Cam Boyd was supposed to pitch Game 7, but Hurst was able to come back and pitch because of the extra day, and he was almost as bad as Mike Scott was, but the Mets were able to beat him. And on that day, Giants, Redskins over at Giants Stadium, and how surreal it was to hear, like during stoppages of play, Giants Stadium erupting when Ray Knight hits the home run and all that. So talk about crossover. I know it was a regular season game, but it was still a Monday night game. Giants, Redskins. Late enough in October where you're getting in the middle of the season. Remember that being a big game at the time, and I told you I still had to watch the Mets on the black and white TV because my father wanted the football on the color TV. So those are the events.
That's good. I like that. I mean, you also have the 94 thing also involved the Rangers parade, and Game 5, the Knicks won at the Garden that night. I believe Messier brought the cup to the Garden.
Yep.
Right? And had the cup courtside at the Garden. Everybody, he held it up, and the Garden crowd's going crazy. Knicks win the game, and everybody's thinking, Knicks going to win this thing too? We're going to have another parade.
Yeah.
Like that, those two moments happening at the same time was also significant. But it is amazing, though, knowing the business like we do. Phil Simms being cut, that's not nothing.
No,
and the
it's not
fact that
nothing.
it was completely overshadowed by a championship, it had to be.
And
otherwise, it would have been a back page, a major back page.
And I had it in that the 94 with the parade and the Knicks Game 5 as an honorable mention because one was early in the afternoon, so they didn't really
it didn't happen at the same time, right?
And of course, the big thing was the OJ for Game 5. That was also.
But Messier having the cup in the building, like that whole thing was kind of cool. But yeah, to me, when you have two seasons. End pretty much. I mean, the season obviously didn't end. Ewing, the Knicks were like 15-10 after that Ewing injury. So there's plenty of season left, but you just kind of like, without him, everything was gone. And that just to have that gut punch and Barry Sanders, running at the end. The only touchdown they gave up was Barry Sanders. That was it. They were winning that game 10-6. So to see two seasons in like that, right after the Yankees lose in the ALCS, which I told you. Remember what I told you after that? They lost that game. I was gone for a good 2 hours. I didn't come home until 2 a.m.
So we had lunch earlier today here at Stout, and everybody contributed. Anthony, John
This was
Winthrop,
good.
you did.
I like this.
I mean, obviously it's all in the eye of the beholder, but I thought it'd be kind of fun to kind of relive some of those crossover moments. We might have it with the World Cup. Game 6 is going to be played. There's going to be a game over at MetLife, and the Knicks playing at the Garden, so we might have one of those moments again.
Yep.
Ian Begley just tweeted. Center Mitchell Robinson looked solid in yesterday's practice with the Knicks, and he was with the team during its walkthrough earlier today, per SNY sources. So he remains on track to play in Game 1 of the NBA Finals tonight. Only something unforeseen would prevent Robinson from not playing at this point. He is officially listed as questionable for Game 1 with a broken right metacarpal. ESPN reported earlier Wednesday morning that Robinson was expected to be available for Game 1. So just kind of a refresher on what we all thought that he's going to play.
Yeah, the expectation is he will play, which means, again, they have their full roster available, and that's critical. When you're trying to win a championship, health is a big part of it. This injury, let this be the worst thing that they had to deal with. That and the OG hamstring that they were able to get through early because they finished out a series. They won 2 games without him. And, this Mitchell Robinson, again, plays 15, 18. He doesn't play a ton, but he has impactful minutes when he's playing well, defensively and on the boards. And those are going to be 2 major factors in this series, so you need him, even if it's only for 15 minutes a game.
And that was the list brought to you by Allure Group, the Allure Group, where care meets compassion. Coming up, calls 1-800-919-3776. How you feeling?
How you feeling?
We're less than 3 hours away from tip-off. How you feeling about Game 1? ENN with Anthony Pusick at 6, take you up until 7 o'clock, and then it's Pat O'Keefe with coverage of Game 1. We're live here, Stout, 35th Street between 7th and 8th Avenue. It's Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg on ESPN New York.
The team that is very talented and is playing its absolute highest level of basketball.
The Spurs.
The Knicks have been completely unstoppable.
The NBA Finals.
They will play for the Larry O'Brien Trophy.
I talk about how great we are. You know, that doesn't matter. We just got to worry about being ourselves and just stay locked in and, go win.
NBA Finals Game 1 coverage begins tonight at 7 on 880 and the ESPN New York app.
Who do you think will be wearing the ring at the end of the NBA Finals? Take your shot with FanDuel, and you just might be celebrating a victory of your very own. Right now, new customers can hit the court with $350 in bonus bets guaranteed after betting $5 for 7 straight days. FanDuel is the best place to bet all your favorite players during the NBA's biggest event. Play your game any way you want, seek out individual player markets for baskets and rebounds, or build an epic same-game parlay for a chance at a bigger payout. It's up to you. And best of all, with FanDuel, you get paid instantly when you win. Hey, do you believe in the Knicks team? How many points will Jalen Brunson average? So, ready to play your game? Just visit FanDuel.com/local to join now to get $350 in bonus bets guaranteed after betting $5 for 7 days. FanDuel, an official partner of the NBA. 21 plus and physically present in New York. First online real money wager only. Minimum $5 wager required for 7 consecutive days. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets, which expire 7 days after receipt. For help with a gambling problem, call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369.
It doesn't matter if you're running drills at the park, playing pickup on a Saturday, or sinking the final putt. When you compete with your friends with Michelob Ultra on the line, competition isn't that friendly. The trash talk, next level, and the stakes, oh, those are crystal clear. With only 95 calories and superior smooth taste, it's the ultimate trophy. Superior is worth playing for. Michelob Ultra, superior light beer. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2025, Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Hey, New York and New Jersey. Boost Mobile has an unlimited talk, text, and data plan that's only $25 a month forever. Meaning you'll only ever pay $25 a month for the rest of your life. Who wouldn't want unlimited wireless when it only costs $25 a month forever? If you don't, you must be one of those people who enjoy overpaying for their phone plan. $25 a month forever is truly as good as it gets. So go online and switch now at boostmobile.com. After 30 gigabytes, customers may experience slower speeds. Customers will pay $25 a month as long as they remain active on the Boost Mobile Unlimited plan.
This is DiPietro and Rothenberg.
1-0. Knicks over the Cavs.
And that is it for Game 1. The Knicks just became the 4th team to win a playoff game after trailing by 20 points in the 4th quarter.
Let's go, Knicks, baby! Let's go, Knicks!
There was a 0.1% chance the Knicks were going to win. It was sexy.
Oh. Let's go, Knicks. We took their soul.
It's the biggest comeback win in Knicks franchise history in the playoffs. And they storm back to force overtime and win Game 1.
Morning Start with DiPietro and Rothenberg. Weekdays from 6 to 10 on ESPN New York and streaming live on YouTube.
Prizes, flyaways, even cash money. You want it? We've got it. Find a list of all contests and official rules by visiting ESPNNewYorkContests.com.
That's ESPNNewYorkContests.com.
Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea just got harder with Twisted Tea Extreme. The hard iced tea taste you know and love, but with an 8% kick of alcohol. Twisted Tea Extreme is made with real brewed tea, goes down smooth, and brings your daytime drinking to the next level. Just look for the bright yellow cans in the cooler and get ready to dial up the fun. Big flavor, extreme kick. Twisted Tea Extreme. Keep it twisted!
Twisted Tea Brewing Company, Cincinnati, Ohio. Please drink responsibly.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/play. That's ethos.com/play.
Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
The ESPN New York Beach Bash is back. Thursday, July 2nd at Bar A in Lake Como, New Jersey. Head down to the Jersey Shore and join the Michael K. Show and Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg live starting at 1 p.m. Plus, there'll be appearances from DiPietro and Rothenberg, as well as Bart and Carlin. We'll have plenty of giveaways for fans in attendance, a soccer watch party, and the chance to test your skills by trying to kick a soccer goal past Rick DiPietro. Save DiPietro! Plus, music from Surfing for Daisy. It's all brought to you by Spike Dave, Boost Mobile, Miller Lite, Fanatics Fest NYC, and New Jersey Lottery. You must be at least 21 years of age to enter.
Stout is packed, 35th Street between 7th and 8th Avenue, taking you up until 7 o'clock.
It's happening here, Donnie.
Pat O'Keefe will get started with the coverage of the Spurs and the Knicks. All the games can be heard right here on ESPN New York. If they conflict with Met games, the Mets have been nice enough to move their games to 10:50, like the one that's going on right now. So the Knicks taking center stage for what could be the next 2 weeks, the start of what should be a fun few days here in New York.
Is everybody here getting ready for this game tonight? Like, how are we feeling? What is the vibes tonight right now for Game 1 of the NBA Finals? What are we feeling?
Of course, they're fired up, man. Why not? Why not be fired up? This comes along, every quarter of a century.
Like you said, it's a little under 3 hours. Like, people are pre-gaming.
And they're coming out here because the watch party's back on. When we booked this, it looked like the watch parties were all going to be dead. They're back, both outside the garden, inside the garden, so some people are stopping by here, and we encourage you to stop by here. You'll still have time to get over to the garden, plenty of time to be able to watch tip-off. So come party with us. We're going to be here. We're going to be here on Friday as well, getting ready for Game 2
and this
of the
is a great
series.
Spot. Let's shout out Stout one more time, too, because we've talked about it. It's a new spot. Normally, people remember Stout traditionally was over on it was 33rd Street, but they've moved to this location, 35th Street, where all the other bars are as well. And it's the location, by the way, for me, when you talk about walking inside, you have a main level, which you'll walk in, you'll see the bar, you see everybody there. Then there's where we are. We're upstairs.
Yeah.
There's a staircase that you can ask the hostess about. You go up here, and it's like your own private bar. And it's a beautiful bar. It's a huge setup, a wide open space. Right now it is jam-packed. Everybody's having a great time getting ready for the game tonight. It's the new Stout location. It's 35th Street. It's in between 7th and 8th Avenue, which is 1 block away from the Garden. Very easy to find, very easy to get to, and always a good time here with everybody at Stout.
All right, let's hear from you. 1-800-919-3776. Alex in Limbrook. You're on ESPN New York. What's up, man?
Oh, hi, guys. Just my 2 cents. Donnie, you know how, the hockey players don't want to touch the Eastern Conference trophy?
Yes.
They don't want to jinx it. So I am very proud of the Knicks. I mean, the Spurs, they're young guys, and they were jumping around, running around, hugging everybody, but they were acting like they wasn't acting like they were there before. The Knicks was more businesslike, more stoic, more reserved. You could see in their eyes that, we're not finished here, we're going forward. They didn't make a big deal about it. And I think the mindset-wise, that's a big deal. I really feel I wasn't feeling confident before that, but once I saw how the Knicks carried themselves, mature with experience, to me that goes a long way. What do you think?
True. Well, to be fair,
it shows you what it does show you. I didn't mean to cut you off, Don, but I don't. And you might even say this: beating the Thunder is beating the defending champions
in a Game 7 on the road.
That's a pretty significant thing to do for a young team.
Yeah, and especially the Knicks, they knew they were winning the series. They're up 3-0.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's a fait accompli. So I don't think it's really a fair comparison. Did the Knicks celebrating, winning and beating the Boston Celtics, the defending champions, have anything to do with why they lost to the Pacers in the next series?
Yes.
I don't know.
Yes.
Maybe.
They all said it did. They all said it did. They said they hated their approach to Game 1.
But at the same time,
last year,
I'm not going to fault Wemby crying. He beat the Thunder. There were a 65-1 chance of being able to win a championship. They had to come back from 3-2 down to win the series. I'm not going to begrudge them getting emotional. But there is that whole it came up last week, the Bart Scott theory. Did the Jets win their Super Bowl beating the Patriots in New England? And Bart Scott saying can't wait, and that's why they fell behind early against the Steelers? Or maybe the Steelers was just a better team.
Yeah.
I don't know. We always come up with these reasons, but I wouldn't read too much into it. But the Spurs did address it. Wemby addressed it yesterday, that these 3 days off have helped them.
Yep.
All right, they're done. Now they can refocus and all that. So I think it might be a Nick positive if they had the short turnaround like Cleveland did, if they had 1 day off and then had to play.
Agree.
They had a nice – it was Saturday. Now they're playing on Wednesday. They all they had to do was travel back from Oklahoma City to San Antonio and not have to travel any kind of great distance. They have to come here to New York or anything. So I don't think it applies, but it would be a theme, right, I guess, in San Antonio if they were to lose tonight.
Yeah, it's going to be, and that's what you expect. Again, it's even Wemby said it, like this is another reason why you really like this guy, because he's honest. Like, he's at the podium, and he's really telling you what he feels, and he said it's really hard to come down from that. Like, they felt really good, and it was really – but they have to. He knows they have to be able to come back down now and get ready for a new series. I think the advantage to the Knicks is they've already had an 8-game layoff. They know how to handle it.
Yeah.
They know what went right, what went wrong. But the other part of it is it allowed them to come down. You know, like it allowed them to go 2-3 days and then just get back in the gym and be like, all right, well, back to work. All right. And it starts to fade. Winning that game in Cleveland, that's faded now. That's so long ago. It's not fresh in your mind. It's not still making you feel – you're not basking in it anymore because you've had a couple of days of hard practice where your head now is about what's coming next. So I think it does benefit the Knicks having all that time off, because not only did they come down, they've kind of now ramped back up into getting ready to play another series, because they've got to be sick and tired of sitting around.
Yeah.
Come on, let's get to some games.
Absolutely. Lang in Connecticut, you're on ESPN New York. What's up, man?
Hey, guys. I am super pumped up. I mean, it's been an emotional day. I can't believe it's finally here, a few hours, not even. I've been agonizing over the strategy piece defensively against a unconventional player, and I'm saying that loosely, lightly, in Wemby. And I think you got to balance, you got to attack him in unconventional ways. So, you know, Alan, you may not be at liberty to speak on this if you are privy to any kind of strategy. I understand that. But I wanted to ask you to indulge me and just get, you know, this is maybe far-fetched, but I just want to kind of get your take. What about the idea of putting in a guy like Jose Alvarado, who has that sixth sense of stealing the ball? He kind of, you know, stands up to Wemby's waistline, having him sag off his defender, assuming it's not a three-point shooter, and try to get into his dribble, because the distance from the floor to Wemby's dribble is pretty high. And if you can make him into a jump shooter, I think that will be pretty effective. Now, you could say he can, you know, take one dribble and get to the rim from the three-point line. I understand that's going to be an issue. But I'd love to get your take on that strategy of getting Jose, use his sixth sense, get into his dribble, have him sag off his defender. What do you think about that?
Well, I don't think you're going to have Alvarado guard him. And I think when Alvarado comes in the game, I'm sure he's going to be looking for the high dribble when he gets the opportunity to go after it. He'll try to do that. He's so good at that kind of sneaky backdoor steal that he's well known for, because he's so fast and he's so crafty. So, you know, I mean, I think that's just – I don't think that's a strategy. I think that's just something he does. But you got to, you know, I said this at the beginning of the show. Let's not get caught up in how do you stop Wembanyama. It's not that. You want to make it difficult for him. You want to make him work. You want to get him frustrated, but you also want to make him feel like he has to carry the team. And that means others can't be getting it done. The reason why a player like him, who is a star who understands this pressure on him to perform, he will start to feel pressure even more if no one else is doing anything and all the media and everybody else is going, you got to shoot more, you got to do more, they need more. That's what you got to do. Don't let other guys beat you. Don't be so focused on trying to stop him and shut him down. You're not doing it. He's 7'5". He can run, he can shoot. He's really good, but he's not going to score 115 points a game. You have to beat the Knicks. You got to beat them by scoring 110, 115 points a game. So even if he gets 100, it's not enough. Don't let other guys beat you. That's what this matchup's going to be about, in my opinion. Because why did the Thunder lose? Because they let guys like Champagny get off from three. They let other guys get off against them. And that can't happen.
Anthony Pusick with ENN coming up next. Don Hahn and Rosenberg till 7. The Knicks coverage right here on ESPN New York.
It's summertime, so why are you still living with pain? If you're dealing with neck pain, back pain, joint pain, or nerve pain, don't wait any longer. Call Dr. Jay Shaw at Soundwell Pain. He's Ivy League trained, double board certified, no surgery, no long recovery, no relying on pain medication. Just non-surgical image-guided treatments that help you get your life back. With offices in Woodbridge, Livingston, and Inglewood, and most major insurances are accepted. Help is close. Go to SoundwellPain.com. Feel better this summer, not someday.
If you think a new central air conditioning system is out of your budget, think again. Slomin's is here to change the game with their preseason super sale. They're now offering cutting-edge 18-SEER 2026 refrigerant-compliant R45 4B systems expertly installed by their certified technicians, all at the lowest prices of the year. That's right. Get started with 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for 18 months. Plus, they're including a comprehensive service plan for 5 years, including annual system checks, filter replacement, and refrigerant to keep your AC running smoothly all summer long. Call Slomin's today at 516-932-7000 for your free estimate. But hurry, these cool savings won't last. That's 516-932-7000 or visit ac.slomans.com. 18-month promo period, no payment, no interest, and no down payment offer. The offer is available through a third-party bank. On approved credit, interest is waived if loan is repaid in full during the same as cash period. Terms and conditions apply.
First, I take a sabbatical, then do absolutely nothing.
Glorious. But what? You'd win the New York lottery, then do nothing?
Well, I'd also commission a cutting-edge mobile bed, so I never stop doing nothing, even when I leave my house.
Okay, but how can you do even less?
Well, I'll spend 6 months living with a Honduran Capuchin monkey troupe to learn how to pick things up with my feet, so I never have to lift a finger again.
Oh, you'll be a hit at dinner parties. New York Lottery. Can you imagine? Play today. Please play responsibly. Must be 18 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY.
And now let's take a look at the traffic with Brandy Scott.
Thanks a million, guys. I hope you have a great rest of the night. Let's go, Knicks. We've got a couple of watch parties going on. Tip-off less than 3 hours away in San Antonio, taking on the Spurs. Game 1 of the NBA Finals. You can cheer them on over at MSG, Plaza 33, and Central Park Summer Stage. Yanks are home tonight in the Bronx. If you're using the inbound, George, stick with the lower deck. Upper level, about a 20 to 30-minute ride from 80-95. A little bit better from the 4 and 46 approaches. Deegan just stop and go, both up and down, heading over to the stadium with the volume for the outbound, George. Northbound, delays go back across the Triborough and up onto the Bruckner. Outbound, Lincoln Arena, about 20 to 30 minutes. Outbound, Hahn, 30 to 40. New York Liberty are home at the Barclays in Brooklyn, especially tough on the westbound BQE. Jam with a crash over by Queens Boulevard in Queens. You stay on the brakes on the westbound side through to Atlantic Avenue. I'm Brandy Scott on 880 ESPN New York.
Progressive knows sports brings people together, but you gotta feel bad for people who don't even get it. Some people will never know what it's like to see their favorite team's hopes decided by a ping pong ball to draft the next superstar. Or not. I mean, sure, it's silly for your happiness to hinge on the success of a 20-year-old entry-level employee, but you just can't help yourself. The stress is exhilarating. Progressive can't bring people together like the draft, but we can bring your home and auto insurance together with a bundle. So switch and see if you could save hundreds. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers not available in all states or situations.
With the new MyLowe's Pro Rewards American Express card, earn 3 points per dollar spent on Lowe's qualifying purchases for the first 6 months after card account opening. Plus, save 5% every day on eligible purchases at Lowe's and earn points on eligible purchases everywhere else Amex is accepted. Card members get more at Lowe's. Subject to credit approval. 5% can't be combined with any other offer. Exclusions and restrictions apply. Points subject to loyalty terms at Lowe's.com/terms and credit reward terms at Synchrony.com/MLPRA-terms. Visit Lowe's.com/business credit.
This is your home for the Eastern Conference champion New York Knicks and the NBA Finals. WHSQ and WCBS-FM HD2, New York. This is an ENN special report. Now reporting.
The very handsome Jewish man, Peter Rosenberg.
We should talk some sports. Do what you want. It's ENN.
Rosenberg's on assignment, so Anthony Busick is going to handle ENN, which is brought to you by Fanatics Fest NYC. How are you, buddy?
Doing good, Don. Alan, how we doing?
Doing well.
Shout out to Stout NYC for the hospitality. Shout out to everybody that's been here upstairs at Stout since 3 o'clock this afternoon.
Let's go.
We have the best fans in the world.
Let's
this has
go.
been awesome. Everybody's excited. Game 1 Knicks Spurs NBA Finals now 2.5 hours away, an hour away from coverage with the extended pregame show with Pat O'Keefe, who was in San Antonio. And I'd be remiss if we didn't mention this. At Fanatics Fest, Thursday, July 16th at the Javits Center, special edition of The Roommate Show. Jalen Brunson, Josh Hart, and Aaron Judge.
Maybe we'll have an update on his shoulder by then.
I hope we have an update before that.
That'd be nice.
That would be important.
Yeah.
Is he in a sling at this event?
I would hope not. Please, no. That would be terrible. Why would you put that in the universe?
Well, I'm not putting it out there.
You're trying.
What
did he do?
Aaron Boone's saying that they're looking at it and need to look longer.
They're looking at it.
That's who set it up.
We're going to keep looking
Listen,
at it.
I don't love that.
You know what?
We're gonna
I don't know.
Stare at it until it gets
General soreness.
heals.
Thanks, Aaron.
See, there's different ways. He could say, hey, all is well.
Oh.
Remain calm.
Or he could say, all is well. Remain calm.
Or he could, for the last 3 weeks, not say anything was wrong, and it turned out something was very wrong.
Yeah.
Good evening, Don.
I wasn't prepared for him. Nobody was.
Yeah.
That says Victor Wembanyama. I guess you weren't prepared for him. Let's do it again. Don?
I wasn't prepared for him. Nobody was.
Yeah. Oh, well, because he was calling the game. And he'd never seen anything like it.
Yeah, but
Listen.
I think that's an ineffective drop.
Talk to the guys in the back. Jacob Harvey.
Remain calm. All is well.
And good evening to Alan.
He's got little legs. He's a wee little man.
Ooh. Little stereo. Let's do it again. Good evening to Alan.
He's got little legs. He's a wee little man.
No. Oh, that's not. See, if no one knows what you're talking about, that's labeled. That's labeled Bill Pito. That's not very nice.
I gotta say,
I didn't say that today, though.
He made it all the way over here for us.
Well, that's what it was. The last time we were here,
Yes.
he didn't get here on time.
So you had a clean day, is what they say.
I had a clean day.
Clean
I've
day.
had a clean week so far.
You know, I don't think you wanted to be a part of the hellos today.
And of course, good evening. Thank you, Peter. And good evening.
No.
Dare I say good evening to Danhausen?
Go Knicks!
Oh, well, listen now. Now this is important.
Here we go. I
first,
knew this was coming.
Well, listen, we have to address it. The Knicks have been undefeated since Danhausen was given human money to uncurse the Knicks.
Yeah.
He went on First Take today, and he had a message for Stephen A. Smith.
Hi, Danhausen here, Battle Damage. Speaking of which, I won my match, and as you all know, the Knicks have been winning their matches. Swept. So, speaking of which, Stephen A. Smith, your checks have cleared so far. However, if you want to keep this uncursing going, perhaps Danhausen's going to need his own TV show, or more monies, or perhaps those courtside seats, no big deal. You have until tip-off time to decide what happens with the curse.
I didn't hear the demands. The producers was in my ear. Thank God I didn't hear what he has to say. People that are serious about this stuff, they don't blackmail you. They take their position and they hold to it. He's trying to blackmail. That does not work. He's dampening his reputation by engaging in blackmail.
So it doesn't sound like Stephen A. is going to give in to the demands of Danhausen.
Dude.
What's it going to cost?
Listen.
What do I got to do?
You could text him. You can figure it out.
What do I got to do?
We got to talk to MSG. He's got to get courtside seats.
I don't like this.
This isn't good. Don's out completely.
Oh, completely. I mean, we don't need this. He needs it. What are we doing? The Knicks are in the finals. People are excited. They're going to win their first title since 1973. I don't need some yo-yo WWE fake Dracula to do anything for me. I'm embarrassed by it. I'm embarrassed for our company. I'm embarrassed for him. I'm embarrassed for WWE.
You know what's funny? Alan believes it.
You're embarrassed.
He's concerned.
I'm nervous.
He was going to get Mucinex for Jalen Brunson yesterday.
Listen, I was you kidding me?
Did we get any confirmation on that?
I was going to DoorDash that to his room. But I think the medical staff was on it.
Rocky and Bullwinkle. It's Natasha. What was his name again? The little guy.
Yeah.
Bill Pito.
No, really?
Oh my!
Wow. He's got little legs. He's a wee little man.
No.
Oh wow.
That's what
Boris and
yes,
Natasha.
Yes.
He sounds like Boris. Goodbye. No, bad bye. I think it's yo-yo. I don't want anything to do with it. And matter of fact, if I have any say at this radio station, I don't want to play it again.
Oh, no. I think we made it this far.
And Harvey want to make up for what was basically a ridiculous open with ENN, you'd erase it from the system.
Well,
if you had any sack.
Don, he could curse you. That could happen. No,
wow.
Listen, Dave,
oh, no. Don't mock him.
Please talk to your brother. Tell him how real this is.
We are 4 games away from a championship.
What are we
Jacob,
doing?
you're making Jacob nervous now.
No, I don't. But this is don't met this up. with the grimace and the Haktua. This is basketball. This is dominance.
We already sang
You don't
Who Let the
need
Dogs
this.
Out.
Am I wrong at all?
You're not wrong. This is a very Mets thing.
And you're helping him.
It's very Mets.
Didn't know who this was before this Nick run.
It really
And I'm not
does.
going to care after it's over.
It's giving Mets.
Somebody was up here with the "You Are Uncursed" shirt with the Knicks on it.
Well, because you get a yo-yo in a crowd of good people. There's got to be at least one yo-yo.
And then now you got Mike Brown doing "Who Let the Dogs Out."
I'm so nervous. I'm nervous for
in
tonight.
the context of the story.
Yeah, he's telling a story about what
It's
kids
fine.
were doing.
And I needed that context, and I got it.
Yeah, now
All
you're
right?
okay with it.
But listen, the vibe in here is amazing. I imagine the vibe in
The
San
vibes
Antonio
are
is going to be
immaculate,
amazing.
some might say.
They opened up the streets, guys. The NYPD is allowing the block party tonight.
Yes. We'll be there for MSG's pregame show.
Is that why you're in this lovely polo?
Yeah,
That
team
is a nice
issue.
polo.
Team
What's up,
issue.
Boo?
I didn't see Bill in that, though.
Well, no, because he's in the studio.
Wow. Oh, I see.
I'm outside.
You and Steve Novak?
I'm with the people with Steve Novak. and
That's
we
right.
have to be matching for some reason. So Steve Novak and I
Yeah,
got
because
these
I mean, listen,
wonderful
you're tall.
golf shirts, even though we're not playing golf.
But I'm not confusing the two of you.
No. Well,
Interesting. What do you mean by that, Tom?
I don't know. I'm going to leave it there.
Yeah, I don't
We're
know.
both
Well,
tall white guys.
Well, listen, we heard
We
Aaron,
all look the same.
We heard Aaron Glenn. Aaron Glenn was impressed with the Knicks run, and we heard from him about a week ago.
Yeah, you like their grit, he said.
Today, at Giant practice,
Oh.
John Harbaugh came out in a Knicks hat. He has been impressed with what he's seen from the Knicks.
How about this? Is it time? Huh? Let's go.
He had the
Let's
hat
go
on.
Knicks.
Go
Let's
Knicks.
go
Did
Knicks.
he?
Listen.
Don't tell.
Well,
Please,
he talked about the team, didn't he?
I think he did.
So it's exciting. It's watching the way they play. It's fun because I think it's instructive. You get an opportunity just to see how a team can come together. Just a team to me that's executing at the highest level, operating together on the same page with everything they do, playing with a lot of confidence because they understand exactly where everybody's going to be at all times. I mean, it's like a coach's dream when you watch a team play the way they're playing. So it's a fun team to watch. It's going to be a great series. Let's go get a win.
All right, so
Coach's dream, he says.
All right, now we know what Joe Biden thinks. What is John
Wow,
Harbaugh?
okay.
It's encouraging to see multiple coaches in this market
No, it's
talk
encouraging.
about this team
But
being cohesive.
Did he have to point out he was wearing the hat? It wasn't obvious enough. He had a Nick hat.
By the
Well,
way,
he showed everybody. He took it off the podium. He showed everybody. Then he put it on.
I thought he had it
No,
on.
he didn't walk
the
in with it
visuals
on.
help. No, the visuals help.
Yeah.
The visuals help.
We didn't have the video to run.
I don't think he had to say. Just put the hat on.
No. Well, I thought like you did, Don. I just saw him with the hat on.
Anybody in the room that doesn't know what he's doing doesn't care anyway.
I think he knows well enough. By the way, did you see the picture on social media? Odell, one-handed catch in practice today.
Of course he did.
Hey, listen.
It's all coming together.
It's going to be highlight reel.
all
It's not,
coming together.
It's the day when you realize
This is the ENN from hell for
it's
Don.
not about it has nothing to do with you anymore. Nothing is no longer for you.
I've done Danhausen. I've done
Nobody-
Odell.
Nobody is marketing anything for me.
You're aged out. Did you age out?
I'm officially out of the demographic.
You have aged
I don't
out.
think that's the
I'm
case.
done. The Danhausen one-handed catches
by Odell in a OTA.
I'm a big. You know what? The Knicks are in the finals. We're good.
We're very good.
You know,
We're
if
all
we got to
set.
start doing yo-yo stuff, you know what? The yo-yo stuff's for you. It's not for them. This is all for Danhausen. He's getting free publicity. Hope he enjoys it.
Go Knicks!
As long as the script has him winning, he's in good
He
shape.
played it anyway. You said remove from the system. Played it again.
But you understand.
Again,
though.
it's not for me anymore.
No, I know.
No, it's not. But the whole thing that he's doing, there's a little bit of brilliance here because all he has to do, win or lose tonight, is decide what to do. He could just pretend that Stephen A. sent him money, or he could pretend that he didn't, and this is what you get.
And then this is bad.
He wins no matter what happens.
This is the equivalent.
It's unreal.
This is the equivalent of giving more gruel to Oliver.
More gruel.
More gruel,
This is
please.
Stephen A. Smith. This is ESPN. This is a monolith.
Yeah.
Oh, he should be thanking his lucky stars he's getting his free publicity. I'd be charging the guy.
All right. Well, I kind of agree. I think we're kind of done here.
Guys,
I was trying to play into it for a minute.
No, it's not.
And then as Don started talking, I'm like, all right, yeah,
Right.
I'm not doing this.
It's like trying to put your son's underwear on.
It was nice
Not
to see
fit.
the real fear in your just
Doesn't
for a
fit.
minute. To see the real fear in your eyes did make me happy though. You weren't looking at him. He was like, is he not going to pay him the money? It was good. I enjoyed it.
I was trying to play it up, thinking
Well-
that Don might lean in, but he didn't.
More plays.
Thank you.
Yay! I'm sorry.
Don't be sorry. I didn't have to pretend that I gave a rip about this, so it's good.
No, but you tried, man.
I know.
I'm done trying.
Yeah.
What other charity cases could we have? Is there a car dealership that needs a little love? What are we doing? Come
John
on.
Starks Kia?
Stand tall.
Yeah, you know what?
I did. If I'm not mistaken, I think Michael Wilbaum was on First Take today as well. I think we have this cut, and I'm interested to see what your guys' take is on it.
Now we're talking.
He said that the team that needs to win Game 1 is the San Antonio Spurs.
Spurs need Game 1. They're at home. They're the neophyte team. They're the ones who I was really impressed with Victor Wembanyama talking about getting over Game 7, getting past it, how difficult that is. I expect the Knicks to be rusty. They can play their way through it. The other thing is Game 1 is the least important game of the series. I don't care what statistically it says. Game 1 is the game you can get over. The Knicks can get over that, get by it. They were down 2-1 in a series already in these playoffs, and we saw them roar back from that. I don't see it as being necessary for the Knicks. It may be not necessary for either one, but if you're San Antonio, I expect, even though we've seen no nerves, Brian, I expect there to be nerves tonight. This is different. This is not the conference finals. This is not the second round. It's not an opening round series. I think the Spurs need that to settle into their first final.
Did I not say this at the beginning?
Yes. But the only thing I buy into is because they're home.
Right. For the Spurs,
if the Knicks
this
were
means
home,
more.
If the Knicks were home,
Of course.
they would need it.
Yes.
So it has nothing to do with youth and all that stuff.
No, it's where you are. It's where the series is. It's the fact that the Knicks normally are starting series at home. This is like a rare time they're going to start on the road, and the pressure isn't on them, which is why they can come into this thing with this idea of let's rip this from them.
The mathematics tell you that the Game 1 is the least important because it's Game 1. And
Yes.
There's still potentially 6 more. But when you look at the stats that 70% of the teams that win Game 1 win a series, it's not nothing. I'm not going to sit here and come on tomorrow if the Knicks lose and say they're done. I'm not going to do that. Nor am I going to say the Spurs are done if they lose.
Right.
I agree that losing home court advantage is not nothing. You know,
You just have an upper hand. That's all you have. You have an upper hand.
But
That's
look, I'll say this from what Wilbon said, and he said that, they're inexperienced, yes, but in the sense of this is the finals, this is different. Well, I got news for you. Other than OG Anunoby and Mikal Bridges, nobody else has been to a final either on the Knicks. So everybody's got that inexperience, but the Knicks have fought those wars, as we've said, before in the playoffs. So they know what it takes. And if you could punch the Spurs in the mouth, in my mind, personally, I think you just got to split. And if you win Game 1,
we always say that.
Fantastic.
Yep.
Split, get home, and have home court, and see what happens when you get to Game 3. I think that's the goal, and I think that the Knicks' best chance is to win Game 1.
I think the biggest part of the anxiety for Knicks fans watching this game is they haven't seen a loss in so long. They're afraid of seeing a loss.
They don't know what it's going to look like.
You know what I mean?
They don't know how to feel when it happens.
Because these things do happen. Like, they're afraid of seeing a loss because they haven't seen one in so long. It's like if a loss happens, it means that the balloon is popped. That is not accurate.
Right.
Well,
keep that in mind.
Well, then that's buying into that they're on some sort of like a fluky miracle
you're
run.
right. Yeah.
No, they've won 11 in a row because they've been superior to their opponents.
Yeah.
And if they lose tonight, it'll just be for tonight they weren't.
Yeah.
But if you start talking about a balloon pop and then you're buying into the whole there's some kind of magic going on here, I don't think it's magic. I think it's legit great basketball.
It seems like no matter who you talk to, even the most optimistic people, not our callers who want to sweep, of course, which is what everybody wants. Anybody who's even saying, the Spurs are definitely winning this, or the Knicks are definitely winning this, they're still saying 6 or 7. This is going to be a dogfight.
So you're going to have a loss.
There's going to be some ugly games in here, I think. So let's just keep that in mind as we
It's
move
all
along.
about, to me, the game-to-game strategy, the things you learn in a game that maybe didn't apply to a win, but now you can take and turn them into something. That's how the Spurs beat the Thunder. They kept adjusting.
The reason I worry about Vegas, and I shouldn't, and I understand they get it wrong too, but there are way more Knicks fans in this globe than Spurs fans. Knicks fans are so optimistic. Vegas is going to take a bath if the Knicks win. They can take a bath.
Well, it's amazing. The line started to move a little bit towards the Knicks because that was happening. Look, first of all, they made the Knicks an underdog. I think they probably thought they were going to get a lot of New York interest in it, right? And take advantage of it, but the problem was it didn't. I don't like. It's almost like you're right. It's almost to a point now where if the Knicks do win this thing and a lot of people put money on it, man, that could cause a lot of problems.
Look, this is just one bet, and I saw it on social media. Spurs Knicks first quarter betting at BetMGM. 89% of the money is on Spurs minus 1.5. 85% of the money is on the over. 65% of the money is on the Spurs to win the half minus 155. That's first quarter. First half betting, 88% of money on the Spurs, 57% of the money on the under, 64% on the Spurs to win the half. People think the Spurs, at least the public think, the Spurs are going to come out on fire in this game.
On fire?
Well, they're going to win the half. They're going to win the first quarter.
Right.
They think that it's going to be with the Spurs being home. And look, they're the team that's favored. They're the team that won more games this year.
We saw them get out to a 15-0 lead at home in Game 3 of the conference
But
finals.
I do like when the
And they
public
lost
is
the
against the Knicks. I like when the public's against anybody, because if a team that I
You-
like,
you
because
prefer
that
that?
means I love that.
Well, you know what that tells, but
the public's wrong
It
a
also
lot.
tells me, obviously our callers and people in the New York metropolitan area believe, but are they? They're not betting.
Yeah.
They believe, but they're not putting their money where their mouth is. are they?
I'm sorry. If you're a fan of a team, it's hard to bet them. At this level,
I agree.
It's hard to bet them.
I agree.
Because you're going to bet with your heart no matter what.
Right.
And you're certainly not going to bet against them.
No, well, it's only if you're maniacal do you bet against your team, because either way you win.
I did see one guy on social
it's psychotic, but it's the only way.
I did see a guy on social media. I don't know how true this is. He said he's bet $100 since Game 3 against the Hawks against the Knicks because they've won every time. So how much do you love your team?
Yeah.
You lost a lot of money doing that.
Right, but you didn't
But
have
how
to
much
do
do you
it.
love your
You
team?
didn't have to
Yeah,
do it.
you don't have to do it.
But it is a nice little consolation prize, I guess, especially if you don't, not somebody of means. But
Yeah.
I've thought about it. I've never done it
No.
because it's bad juju.
It is.
We have a final in Seattle. Metsies win. They win 7-1.
Oh, wow.
If you were listening over on 1050.
7-1.
Good start for Freddie Peralta. 6 innings pitched, 6 hits, 1 run.
Going to make him valuable.
3 scoreless innings from the bullpen. Raley, Weaver, and I believe Gerber, who was just called up for Jonah Tong, pitched a scoreless ninth.
Jonah Tong was sent down, right?
And that ends Seattle's 10-game winning streak.
That's
and
not nothing.
The last I checked, when it was 5-1, Bo Bichette had a couple of RBIs. Did he have any more?
Have a nice day.
Let me double check for you.
We're trying to get him going.
Bo Bichette was 4 for 4 today with 3 RBIs.
There you go. That's not nothing.
That's not nothing. And he hit a sack fly in the 8th, which was the other RBI. So there you go. They avoid a sweep. Don, you said you want. What did you say you wanted them to be?
At least 4-2.
Well, they'll have to sweep the Padres. In order to make that happen.
Sure, that'll happen.
If that'll make you happy.
Hey, you never know.
You never know. You never know. But we'll see. So that was a nice win for the Mets. And now, of course, plenty of time to get over to 880, the ESPN New York app, and get our full coverage of Knicks with Pat O'Keefe when it starts at
He's at San
7.
Antonio.
He is.
He's there.
Putting in the work.
I heard on his own dime. That's what I heard. That's dedication.
Yeah.
Can't confirm nor deny.
Jack Adams was announced today.
Yes.
Somebody on this panel votes for the Jack Adams.
I did.
And the winner was John Cooper of the Tampa Bay Lightning.
I did not vote for him.
Lindy Ruff and Dan Muse were the other finalists.
No, that's who it was. My 3, because you get 3.
Mm-hmm.
My number 1 was Lindy Ruff. My number 2 was Dan Muse.
Both former Rangers coaches in some capacity.
And remember, this is just for the regular season. You had to get the votes in before the playoffs.
Correct.
So the fact that Pittsburgh got bounced in the first round is irrelevant. And number 3, I had Martin St. Louis.
Yeah.
Can't go wrong with those answers.
But the reason I'm happy for John Cooper, you can make the case, and I think I'd win an argument that he's best coach in the NHL. And he's never won the Jack Adams.
Shocking.
I was going to ask that question.
Yeah.
My only addition here would have been, has he ever won it before?
Never won.
No.
Because I don't recall him ever winning it before. I'm shocked he's never won it
You
before.
can get on me for this.
We will.
I vote for coaches that got their teams to overachieve.
Right.
So,
Well, of course.
So, Jared Bednar's a great coach, but Colorado didn't overachieve. You could make the case Tampa overachieved, but there's still a lot of good players on that team. Nobody had Montreal finishing as high as they did. Certainly Buffalo looked dead.
Yeah.
We were in Buffalo on the Black Friday.
Oh, yeah.
And I was talking to people. They're like another lost season. They fired their general manager a couple of days later, and they end up winning the division.
Amazing.
I think Lindy should have won it, but I'm happy for John because he is the best coach in the NHL, and to not have that on your resume,
Crazy.
I think is bad. So good for him.
And he probably should have had it at some other
Good guy,
capacity
too.
as well. Listen, Don, we talk about it all the time. American Thanksgiving. That's the benchmark that you and I used to do on Game Misconduct to talk about who's going to make the playoffs, who isn't. There are some outliers, of course, the St. Louis Blues being one of them.
Mm-hmm.
Buffalo Sabres came out of nowhere, and they're only going to get better. Speaking of the hockey, if you had a vote within the last week of the season, you would have picked John Tortorella to win the Jack Adams, because not only has he made it to the Stanley Cup final, his team came back from a 2-0 deficit in Carolina to win the first game of the Stanley Cup playoffs. They're up 1-0 in the final.
That's teams have been down 55 times by 2 goals. Nobody's ever come back to win.
55.
Except Tootsie.
Isn't that crazy?
In the game 1, yeah.
Never has happened. Well, a game 1 significant being down 2, but being down 2 goals in the first game. And the fact that you rally back, that was a wild ending. The incredible save, scores tied. Who was this?
Who scored?
No, the goal was the
Hurdle's goal.
Yeah, was insane.
Hurdle's insane.
The pass though was insane. The Hurdle shot was great, but right before that goal, was there not like an insane save on a point blank opportunity?
There was.
Oh yeah.
I don't remember who it was.
And not only that, in a classic Torts fashion of a team, you see Mitch Marner blocking a shot in the dying seconds of regulation, which I don't think he would have been doing in Toronto.
No,
but with a Torts team.
And that again, that tells you everything you need to know. When you've got that kind of buy-in, where all the stars, everybody's in there blocking shots, sacrificing themselves, then no one else on the team then can say, well, I'm going to make a business decision here. Everybody's going to do it when the stars are doing it.
And our guy, Brett Howden, 11th goal.
Isn't that unbelievable?
11 goals, Brett Howden.
You look back and everyone says, well, everyone thought that he could do this. I don't think anybody thought he'd be leading or close to leading the playoffs in goals.
That was a terrific game, honestly.
It really
was.
That was a fun game.
So much fun. Right from the gate to like the start of the game is I think this shot out of a cannon.
This could be a fun series.
So much for everybody who said, it's Carolina Vegas. Nobody's going to watch that. Well, you missed out last night.
Listen, it doesn't matter the teams. It's entertaining. You so good. They obliterated the over, which was 5.5. So if you bet that, you certainly won. And I heard somebody say that. I give them credit. I forget what it was. Like, bad goaltending makes for entertaining hockey, and the goaltending was not great yesterday. Although when Hart had to make a save, he made one.
That's the one I'm talking about. That glove save was insane.
And I'm looking forward to seeing 6 more games just like that.
Now, guys, we've done a lot of remotes at Stout. This version of Stout, other versions of Stout. We are still an hour and a half plus away from game time. This is the most packed and most excited that I have seen a crowd here at Stout since we've done one of these, and it's because the Knicks are in the NBA Finals for the first time since 1999. That's going to do it for ENN tonight.
That's a really good ENN.
I think some came to see us, but I can't
I need you to say it one more time. The Knicks are where? Where are the Knicks? In the what?
NBA Finals.
NBA Finals?
Yeah.
The Knicks?
Yeah, it's true. It's something that's actually happening, and we're on board for it. That was ENN, brought to you by Fanatics Fest NYC. Fanatics Fest returns to the Javits Center July 16th through the 19th. See Aaron Judge, LeBron James, Jalen Brunson, John Cena, and hundreds more at the world's largest sports fan festival. Tickets available now at fanaticsfest.com. The Last Call crew, 1-800-919-3776. What are you thinking? We're 2 hours away from tip-off. Game 1, Spurs and the Knicks. We're live from Stout, 35th Street between 7th and 8th Avenue. Don Hahn and Rosenberg, ESPN New York.
The Knicks.
This is a team that is very talented and is playing its absolute highest level of basketball.
The Spurs.
The Knicks have been completely unstoppable.
The NBA Finals.
They will play for the Larry O'Brien Trophy.
I talk about how great we are. It doesn't matter. We just got to worry about being ourselves and just stay locked in and, go win.
NBA Finals Game 1 coverage begins tonight at 7 on 880 and the ESPN New York app.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today. 1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 877-CARS-4-KIDS to speak to a friendly live agent. Donation is super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Go to carsforkids.org now, or call 877-CARS-4-KIDS to donate your car today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too? Go to carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K.
Mornings with DiPietro and Rothenberg.
And the New York Knicks are on their way to the NBA Finals.
I am in disbelief. I have never, ever seen anything like this.
I mean, what a time to be alive.
What a time to be alive.
It really is.
So let it sink in. I'll say it again. NBA Finals.
DiPietro and Rothenberg, morning 6 to 10 on ESPN New York and streaming live on YouTube.
If you're heading into summer without a medical emergency kit, you're taking a risk most people don't think about until it's too late. Summer colds linger and can turn into sinus infections that last for weeks. Getting sick right now before vacation can derail everything. And when you're traveling, finding a doctor and pharmacy is stressful. That's why I ordered a medical emergency kit. It's like having urgent care and a pharmacy right at home. It includes essential prescriptions like amoxicillin and generic Z-Pak to treat a wide range of common and serious illnesses. So if you wake up sick at home or on the road, you already have what you need. No waiting for your doctor, no hours at urgent care, no pharmacy lines, no copays. Just match your symptoms to the right prescription in your guidebook or call their telemedicine doctor standing by. Start on your meds sooner and feel better faster. Every home needs at least one medical emergency kit. Order yours online in minutes and it's shipped to your door. And save $45 with my promo code 880 at urgentcarekit.com/880. That's promo code 880 at urgentcarekit.com/880.
You matter, and so does your well-being. If you're facing tough moments, struggling with anxiety, depression, thoughts of suicide, or substance use, help is here anytime you need it. Call, text, or chat 988 for free confidential support. New Jersey's 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline is here 24/7 for you or someone you love, with trained counselors who listen and care without judgment. You matter. Remember New Jersey's 988. A message from the New Jersey Department of Human Services.
Hey, it's Alan Hahn. At Rings End, they're there to help realize your modern design visions. That's why they partner with Marvin. Engineered for big ideas, Marvin modern windows and doors deliver effortless elegance, expansive views, and industry-leading innovation, all in a modular system designed to meet the exacting principles of modern architecture. Experience Marvin Modern at a Rings End showroom today and create something stunning with them. Rings End is a certified Marvin installing retailer.
Are you ready to make a difference for the environment while helping the visually impaired at the same time? Then donate your vehicle to Heritage for the Blind today by calling 1-800-983-6530. Every donated vehicle will either be properly recycled in an eco-friendly manner or given a new life through reuse. Donating your vehicle is easy. Simply call 1-800-983-6530 and Heritage for the Blind will do the rest. They'll even arrange for your vehicle to be picked up at no cost to you. And for a limited time, when you donate your car, you'll receive a $200 restaurant voucher and a 2-night, 3-day hotel stay at one of 50 locations. Call 1-800-983-6530 right now to schedule your vehicle donation and make a positive impact on the environment while helping others. Heritage for the Blind, where every car donation counts and every person makes a difference. Call 1-800-983-6530 now. This advertisement is paid for by Heritage for the Blind.
Tickets are up for grabs. Head to Caesars Sportsbook at Monmouth Park on Friday, June 5th for an exclusive Knicks Finals watch party. Catch the game on wall-to-wall screens, hang with Chris Carlin and Dan Grassa, plus Knicks legends, and score an official Knicks playoff T-shirt. The first 100 fans will also receive a free smash burger and fries.
What?
Stay until halftime because you could win a pair of 100-level tickets to Game 3 at MSG.
Seriously?
This event is open to Caesars Sportsbook customers only, so sign up now and bring your app for entry.
Huh.
Doors open at 7 p.m.,
You
so
gotta
get
be
there
there.
early.
Be
The
there.
space is limited. To learn more, visit Caesars.com/Knicks Finals. So everybody climbing on board here.
Come on now.
For this special event. Last call, crew, 1-800-919-3776. Take up until 7 o'clock. Pat O'Keefe will have the 90-minute pregame show. Tyler Murray and Monica McNutt will have the call at 8:30 for Game 1, Spurs and the Knicks.
If you're a Knicks fan, you got to think about it this way too, right? What you get right now is on the radio you have Tyler and Monica, but even on the TV you've got Mike Breen.
Right.
Like, is this not...
You should be in heaven.
This is heaven.
No, this is perfect. It really is.
You don't have to deal with an announcer that you don't know or you don't feel like knows your team that well or does like kind of a generic call. God love him. No Reggie Miller. You know, like Richard Jefferson's funny. Tim Legler, I think, is phenomenal. I think he's really good. We have him on our show. But his X's and O's and his breakdown, he really knows the teams. I've talked to him all season about this Knick team. So he and I have talked a lot about them. So it's just the fact that you have those choices is phenomenal.
Wow,
and did you hear that Jeremy Lin's going to be part of some of the stuff that ESPN's doing, coverage around?
Really?
Jeremy Lin. Yeah, isn't that great to have him back as well?
Is he trying to get into the business?
He's done some stuff. Yeah, he's done some things. And I think it's important because, of all the Knicks players who have come back and are on Alumni Row, everybody always says, like, where's Jeremy Lin? So to get him, and let's see if he's around for Game 3 and see him, put him on the Garden Vision. Think about the ovation he'll get.
It's pretty rare that you get your announcer calling a final.
Yeah.
You don't get it in football because you don't have local TV in football.
Right.
The last time it happened was nationally. It happened with Joe Davis, but here in the metropolitan area, it's really you're talking about Mike Emmer.
Yeah, Doc with the Devils.
And it was pretty cool for me. Like the Devils' first trip to the Stanley Cup Final was '95.
Yep.
Doc did it. JD balanced it out because he was the Ranger guy, but still you had Doc calling it. And then in 2000 and in 2003 when they went to ABC, you got Gary Thorne.
Mm-hmm.
So and it was pretty cool. And then you'd have to go back. I think Marv. Did Marv call 94? He didn't call 97. 99, excuse me, but I think he called 94. It was definitely on NBC.
NBC, yeah, he might have had 94 now that I'm thinking about it.
I think I remember looking it up. It doesn't happen
very
much.
It is, obviously it is very rare.
Because Marv.
But it's always a complaint, fans get, right? So this is no matter where you are, if you got to be in the car for something. I know there's a lot of people that are working tonight.
Oh yeah,
they won't be able to watch, but they'll be listening, or even if you are watching on on your smartphone, you can watch it on the ESPN app. Yeah. And you get Mike Breen's voice.
No, it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, I love it.
All right, let's go to the busy phones. 1-800-919-3776. Scott in the car. You're on Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg.
Hey guys, a couple things real quick, and I hope I get home because I'm stuck on the Parkway in Jersey. But one of the interesting parts about this thing, which I don't think I've heard a lot of people talk about, is the secondary people on this team. We know Wemby's going to be Wemby, and Brunson's going to be Brunson. We know we got to pull Wemby out of the inside so the Knicks can drive. But if McBride doesn't come through, if Landry Shamet doesn't hit like he has been, even if OG and Bridges doesn't get on board and be consistent. Now they have been, as opposed to the Spurs, where I've seen where Castle's been kind of streaky and a couple of those guys go back and forth. This is where I think the Knicks are really going to take over the game.
Yeah, it's literally what I've been saying from the start of the show.
Yeah.
That Wemby's going to get his. It's the others that you have to worry about. It's the others on the Spurs. You don't want them to get off. You don't want a Keldon Johnson to come in the game off the bench and bring energy, get the crowd going, and start playing physical and turn the game. Like what you want is for Deuce McBride or Landry Shamet to come in and knock down some threes and quiet it down and settle it down. Like that's bench minutes are not a lot. Like when you get this far, your starter's going to play a ton. But those bench minutes, as little as they are, the pocket of 3 minutes, 4 minutes, whatever it is, that could change the game. It could turn the game. So those areas is what I want everybody to be concerned with. Not, oh my God, Wemby went for 35. So what? He's going to do spectacular things. He's a spectacular player. It's not letting other guys change the game and suddenly be impactful and make you feel like, okay, we got beat because we weren't ready for Julian Champagnie to hit a bunch of threes, or Devin Vassell to hit a bunch of threes, or Dylan Harper coming in and he's getting into the paint and he's scoring easily. Like, you've got to make sure that you have that part handled, because the Wembanyama factor,
right.
Shutting him down doesn't necessarily mean you win the series.
True. But when you look at the Thunder series, it seemed like his best games were in the wins, and when he was contained, were in the losses. Like, he had 3 bad games, they lost them. He had 4 good games, they won.
You know why? Because no one else really – the Game 7 is where Champagnie stepped up, right? Like, you have to look. His bad games were because no one else stood up. That's the problem that the Spurs have. They rely so much on him to do a little of everything that's why he has to carry. That's why I would want to put so much pressure on him to feel like he's got to play well, and if he doesn't, it's going to cost his team.
Let's go to Raul in Connecticut. You're on ESPN New York. Raul. He's gone.
He gone. But you get what I'm saying, right? He's a young player. The pressure's going to feel on him. And he did feel this in the Thunder series, but he responded to it. But if you keep taking everyone else away, he's going to feel like he's got to do more, and that's just going to wear down. It's going to wear him down, man.
Well, I don't know.
You got to make him run. Like, there's a lot you got to do, and it's not like everybody's going to see him as this big, skinny guy. And they're going to, this is how a lot of Surfers fans, people who come in now, they parachute in. And they'll go, you got to hit him. You got to beat the hell out of him. You got to, we need more Oakleys out there. We're going to get that. I guarantee you in this series, somebody's going to call and they go, they need a Charles Oakley. That's what they're going to say. And no, that's not how you beat him. Because what you do is you beat him by, yes, being somewhat physical, but you got to make him run so he's sucking wind, so he's tired. You take his legs out so he can't make threes. That's what you got to do with him. You got to make sure that he's always feeling you. I thought Hartenstein did a really good job on him. He did. He did a really good job on him. And for the most part, he was doing what he does, but he had to work for it. It's the problem the Thunder had was, offensively, there was all Shea and nothing. Chet gave him nothing. They were doing the same thing. Shea had to carry it. The Knicks have an offense where other guys can step up. And I do think the game will be won. When I say perimeter, I don't mean the perimeter meaning outside shooting. I mean the periphery of the roster. They'll win because their roster depth will provide more coverage for a guy like Brunson than I think the Spurs roster will for Wemby.
When you have European players like Wemby, you don't know the origin story the way you do the American-born players. Like you mentioned,
the colleges
Brunson,
and all that stuff.
won 2 national championships with Villanova. He won big games. He had a lot of eyeballs on him, playing in stadiums on national television, winning a title. What's the biggest game Wemby played in before he was drafted?
He played in the gold medal game. It was France versus the U.S. He's a young kid. He played in that game.
Yeah.
So that's, that he felt lost. So, he has experienced that. But that was a single elimination situation for him. But, this is the biggest stage, really. I mean, the Olympics are the Olympics, obviously. But for what he's doing, this is the biggest thing. And that's why I want to see. Like, he's a remarkable young man. Never mind the talent. He's a remarkable young man. The way he handles things, the way he talks, he's very thoughtful. But this is the NBA Finals. Like, you got to make sure that he's constantly under pressure physically and mentally. And that's up to, again, the Knicks players to be aware of that, and they have to stay locked in. You can't chase him, and all of a sudden everybody's eyes are on him. And now double teams. You can't worry about that.
Right.
You just can't let other guys beat you on this team.
So far, his resume, although limited because he's only been in the league 3 years, again, those 6 and 7 wins, even though it wasn't the NBA Finals, but it's the conference finals against the defending champions.
Facing elimination.
That was a standalone game, right? That was Saturday night, national television.
No, that was a big deal.
I mean, again, it's not the finals, but it's damn close.
Oh, no.
So he answered the bell.
Yeah.
And again, it's not as extensive as what some of the Knicks have gone through.
He didn't have a great game either.
Right.
His numbers were decent, but it wasn't like he didn't dominate the game. They were really good defensively. There were some big plays that happened. Luke Cornett made the play of the game, his backup center. That game was still up for grabs, and Cornett made a great block. And then after that were a couple of defensive plays, some missed shots by the Thunder, and the game suddenly was over. But it wasn't as if Wembanyama dominated Game 7. He had a couple of really strong games in that series, but he wasn't overwhelmingly great.
True.
But they had other guys. Like I said, it was to watch other players come off that bench and have strong performances. That, to me, said everything.
Yeah,
and so all I keep saying to myself is, don't let someone else beat you.
Well, like I said to Monica, there's the narrative that they're inexperienced and the Knicks are experienced, but don't look past what they recently just did, because they had every reason, especially the Game 7.
That's
right. Like if we were doing a show before Game 7, we'd be like, oh, listen, Thunder, they've been there, done that. They won a Game 7 at home last year, and Spurs have never been in this situation, and it didn't matter.
It's hard to believe a defending champion would lose a Game 7 at home. It's still, to me, it's hard to believe that happened.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible. So they face the fire. Can they do it again? It'll be interesting, and it starts tonight. Pat O'Keefe will have the coverage at 7. Monica and Tyler will have the call at 8:30. More of your calls to close it out here. Last segment, 1-800-919-3776. Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg take you up till 7 o'clock live from Stout right here on ESPN New York.
The Knicks.
This is a team that is very talented and is playing its absolute highest level of basketball.
The Spurs.
The Knicks have been completely unstoppable.
The NBA Finals.
They will play for the Larry O'Brien Trophy.
A lot of talk about how great we are. That doesn't matter. We just got to worry about being ourselves and just stay locked in and, go win.
NBA Finals Game 1 coverage begins tonight at 7 on 880 and the ESPN New York app.
Who do you think will be wearing the ring at the end of the NBA Finals? Take your shot with FanDuel, and you might just be celebrating a victory of your very own. Right now, new customers can hit the court with $350 in bonus bets guaranteed after betting $5 for 7 straight days. FanDuel, the best place to bet all your favorite players during the NBA's biggest event. Play your game any way you want. Seek out individual player markets for baskets or rebounds, or build an epic same-game parlay for a chance at a bigger payout. It's up to you. And best of all, with FanDuel, you get paid instantly when you win. Now, there's only one way I can bet in the finals, and that is with the New York Knicks, who I've been winning with all playoffs long. So are you ready to play your game? Just visit FanDuel.com/local to join now to get $350 in bonus bets guaranteed after betting $5 for 7 days. FanDuel, an official partner of the NBA. 21 and over, physically present in New York. First online, real money wager only. Minimum $5 wager required for 7 consecutive days. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued is non-withdrawable bonus bets, which expire 7 days after receipt. For help with the gambling problem, call 877-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369.
Hey, New York, are you okay to drive? Did you know that driving under the influence isn't just limited to drinking alcohol? Cannabis, prescription drugs, and street drugs can all impair your ability to think and react behind the wheel. Drugs, alone or combined with alcohol, can cause poor coordination and lack of focus. Don't put your life on the line or take someone else's away. Cabs, rideshare, or public transportation are at your fingertips. The New York State Governor's Traffic Safety Committee is reminding you to make a safe choice. Always drive sober.
This is the Michael K. Show.
You don't knock the Knicks for beating the teams that were in front of them. The teams that were in front of them were the teams that beat the teams that you didn't want to play. Not the Knicks' fault. It's those teams' fault. And if you don't like it, and if you're looking for the negative, you know what you are? You're one of two things. You either don't like the Knicks, and that's fine. Not everybody's a Knicks fan. Or you're a hater. You're a troll. You're just trying to get a rise out of people.
The Michael K. Show. Weekdays at 1 on ESPN New York and streaming live on YouTube.
Summer's here. People are outside walking more, traveling, going to games, barbecues, the beach, just enjoying life. But if you have joint pain, sciatica, or back pain is still holding you back, you don't have to live like that. I'm Bart Scott, and Dr. J. Shaw at Sandwell Pain is the real deal. Ivy League trained, double board certified with non-surgical treatments that get real results. No cuts, no downtime, no pain medications, just a smart, targeted approach that gets you moving again. Same day or next day appointments are available. Go to SandwellPain.com. Don't let pain steal your summer.
No matter your age or career stage, SUNY Canton delivers education at the speed of life. With flexible, fully online degree programs, you can earn your credential on your schedule. Ready to get started? Apply now for a summer start in high-demand programs like applied psychology, cybersecurity, healthcare management, and more. Our admissions team is ready to help you review transfer credits, explore degree options, choose courses, and navigate every step of enrollment. Email admissions@canton.edu today or visit canton.edu to learn more.
The ESPN New York Beach Bash is back. Thursday, July 2nd at Bar A in Lake Como, New Jersey. Head down to the Jersey Shore and join the Michael K. Show and Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg live starting at 1 p.m. Plus, there'll be appearances from DiPietro and Rothenberg, as well as Bart and Carlin. We'll have plenty of giveaways for fans in attendance, a soccer watch party, and the chance to test your skills by trying to kick a soccer goal past Rick DiPietro.
Save DiPietro!
Plus, music from Surfing for Daisy. It's all brought to you by Spike Dave, Boost Mobile, Miller Lite, Fanatics Fest NYC, and New Jersey Lottery. You must be at least 21 years of age to enter.
Harry Douglas here to tell you about Fruity Rainbow 5-Hour Energy Shots. It's a fruity candy flavor explosion, and I mean explosion. Fruity Rainbow 5-Hour Energy Shots, a zero-sugar treat that's sweet tooth approved. These can take care of my candy cravings and provides a tasty caffeine kick without all the sugar. Fruity Rainbow 5-Hour Energy Shots. Get candy-flavored chaos with Fruity Rainbow 5-Hour Energy Shots Available online at 5hourenergy.com or Amazon.
My dad passed away unexpectedly. Of course, it was awful in every way, but we are very grateful that he had life insurance. So even after he was gone, he was still able to provide for us. And that's why I have life insurance for my family. Ethos.com. They make it fast and easy to get covered. It's 100% online. You get a quote in seconds, and you can apply in minutes. You get covered the same day.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ethos.com/game. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required. Rates may vary.
Hey, soccer fans, join us for a live broadcast presented by Milagro Tequila. It all happens on Friday, June 12th at Platt Deutsch in Franklin Square, Long Island. If you get there early, we start at 3 o'clock. We're going to do our show there. Grab a Milagrosa cocktail, and we'll talk matchups and storylines while you get to be part of the live, passionate soccer atmosphere that'll be going on there, and probably NBA Finals atmosphere happening as well. So don't miss this special live event with us on Friday, June 12th at Platt Deutsch in Franklin Square on Long Island. It's all brought to you by Milagro Tequila. Now, Don, so this is game one of the NBA Finals tonight, and you can feel the excitement. We're here at Stout. It is absolutely packed. Just saw there's a huge line all the way down 35th Street just to get in the building. So that's why you want to get here early. There'll be a watch party on 33rd Street. They're allowing that outside. Barricades already being set up on 7th Avenue in anticipation. So there's a lot of great anticipation for this game. Now, I think the obvious answer when I say this is the biggest game, sporting event in New York since. Clearly, it's the World Series a couple of years ago with the Yankees and the Dodgers, right? Like, is that too? Or could you say, well, the Yankees go a lot, so like there's something that just feels huge about this. It's undeniable, and I'm wondering, like, does this go back even further? Like, what would you say?
I don't
if
think
I said
you can just look at, like, Yankee fans are going to say, well, of course,
no,
Yankees World Series,
and I'm a
Yankees,
Yankee fan, so the first thing I thought was, well, the last time we had this in this city, it's Yankees-Dodgers. There's nothing bigger than that.
But is it?
But is it because of the vibe that we're getting here?
Let's face it. The vibe is two things. It's the Knicks that feel like they're standalone because of the fact of the popularity compared to the Mets, right? So there's that factor.
All right.
Because as popular as the Yankees are, the Mets are pretty popular. You want to go 60-40, whatever. Yeah. You're talking about a significant amount of Met fans who didn't care about Yankees.
And the Mets were basically 2 games away from making that a Subway Series.
Exactly. So you have that aspect of it, which makes it a little bit different. There's also the city aspect. I've always been told this by people, that the advantage that the Rangers and the Knicks have is that they play on the island itself of Manhattan. Madison Square Garden, the world's most famous arena. Right. Where the worlds come together, right? You're stone's throw from Times Square, where like every transplant, every traveler is there. Where the Yankee Stadium's, it's in the Bronx. Shea is in Flushing. And so it's a little bit different, and the Jets and Giants play in Jersey. So there's something like the centrally located, right?
Yeah.
Having a watch party in Manhattan just makes it feel bigger, right?
Right.
And I'm sorry, it's Yankee Stadium, but it's a new Yankee Stadium. It's not the old Yankee Stadium. So from a historical standpoint, the Garden still is the oldest building, right, in this city. All the other buildings are new. So there's that aspect of it that you throw on too. And the Yankees, maybe not to a certain generation, but going to the World Series has been fairly routine compared to everybody else.
It doesn't feel like again, it was the first time since 2009, so it did end 13 years, right? That you didn't have a World Series. That's a long time for the Yankees anyway. But I'm trying to figure this out without being.
The answer is
without being biased.
I think when they play Game 3 at Madison Square Garden,
right,
it will be, I think, from a New York perspective,
the biggest game
since Game 7 Rangers-Canucks.
Really? That long ago?
Well, what else would it be?
32 years ago?
You want to say – all right.
Now, you're saying in New York, so like the Giants Super Bowl.
Right, that's in the Super Bowl.
But it's not here.
It's not here. They're championship games.
People were caught up in that game, though.
Of course they were, because
I'm talking about the first one because it was the undefeated Patriots.
I'm just saying that I was around, and the vibe around New York City that going into that Game 7, maybe not Game 1,
right,
but by Game 7, with a chance to slay the dragon, that was a big That was a big deal.
Yeah, that was a cardiac night.
And then forget it. If the Knicks if the Knicks have a Game 6 with a chance to clinch or a Game 4, it'd even be bigger than that.
That would take it back to. I would probably say then that Game 7, 1970.
The
or
Jets,
maybe no. Game 7, 86.
Yeah.
Game 7, 86 was. Game 7, 86
that was humongous as well.
Unreal.
Because even though there was the Yankees, there was something about that Met team that really just brought everybody together.
There was I would say that's probably a universal interest in the Mets and that game.
I'm going to say
because
something
it was the Red
controversial.
Sox. Keep this in mind too. As a Yankees fan, were you torn about the Mets winning? I didn't want the Red Sox winning.
And I'm going to tell you something. I'm sure Yankee fans will go nuts, but I'm old enough to tell you this. The Yankees are way bigger a deal now than they were in '86. That was 40 years ago. It was still considered a National League town back then. Because remember, you still had old Dodgers and Giant fans that became Met fans that were still alive, still rooting for the Mets.
Okay.
That made it a big deal. And the Yankees, they weren't a dynasty for a while.
No, they hadn't
right?
been good for
now, and then they win 4 championships in 5 years, and then 6, and Derek Jeter and Alex Rodriguez. They become a monolith.
The mystique was
But
back
in
again.
'86, the Yankees hadn't won a World Series since '78.
Yeah.
They weren't. They were good, but Don Mattingly was good. But this is post, Reggie and Nettles and Guidry and all that.
Yeah.
Like Guidry was still there, but it was
the shine was gone though.
They became, I think, much bigger when Jeter got here and Mo, to where they can't be touched from a popularity
Well, it was
standpoint.
I'm as much as I hate to say it, but I do agree. It was a Mets town then.
If
Late 80s, it was a Mets town.
They don't say it anymore, but I'm telling you, younger kids aren't going to believe this, but they still say it was a National League town.
Yeah, no, I know.
Because you took 2 fan bases and combined them into one.
Yep.
I mean, people don't realize the Yankees were winning so routinely back in the 50s that people got bored. But no, I'm serious. Like Roger Maris, the day he hit the home run, there was 27,000 people in the building. Now, a lot of it had to do with the fact that they didn't. It was past the 154 games, and Ruth still was their champion. But still, it was a different vibe. And now that changed since the Yankees have become so good now, Aaron Judge and everything else.
Yeah.
So
all right. Yeah. So if we get to an elimination type game, we'll go to '86. But you're saying right now, as far as vibe goes, Game 3 would be the biggest game, the biggest championship level game played in New York. And you're going to go back
since '94.
Not even '96.
That was a big deal.
That was a pretty big deal, man.
But I lived
come back
it
in that series.
This just feels, because again, it's the Yankees. The Yankees have champion. Even in '96,
but
the wait was only 18 years. This is 53 friggin' years.
I
know for Yankee fans, it's a long time. From 1978 to 1996, it's 18 years.
I'm very
it's not
well
even
aware.
2 decades.
I know.
This is 5+ decades. You have to be in your 60s to remember the last time they won. Like, I think when you combine all that, man.
And the heartaches, too, because they had lost a couple of times beforehand. And the year before, the heartbreak of losing last year. And
it's,
there is a lot of that's part of this. But I thought it was an interesting question.
No,
right?
it's a great
and I'm trying
question.
not to be biased about it because I'm in the moment, and sometimes you're the prisoner of the moment. But I'm thinking that the 24 World Series it was cool, but I don't know if it had this kind of feel where people were just so into it.
But I will tell you this, and being a young kid at the time, 77 for the Yankees. That was, to me, when I look at Yankee World Series, that was my first to see the Yankees win. That was big. Because that had been the first time since, what, 62?
61, right?
62.
62.
When they beat the Giants.
Yeah.
But that was a big deal because Reggie was a big deal. They had so many stars. Guidry was in his prime. So there's certain ones that hit. So 77 was a big deal, and the Yankees are a big deal. But this has all the elements, the 53 years, the popularity of the team, the game being played in the city. It has all the elements of being gargantuan.
Now all they got to do is win.
Because remember, the Rangers weren't the most popular team, but the fact that they hadn't won in 54 years, and then here in comes Messier, there was like a perfect storm there.
Right. It just, again, it all felt like it was, and then they traded away players to bring in more name players. Like there was a lot of momentum on that one, and it's here. And so finally we have it.
Yeah.
Game 1 NBA Finals, Knicks and the Spurs, in just about an hour and a half from now.
Enjoy it, man. Have fun with it, and we'll be all over it tomorrow. at 3 o'clock.
Thank you, everybody here at Stout. We appreciate you all.
Jake Aspen came out.
There he is. All right.
Interesting outfit, but it is hot, huh? But you look good. You look more beach wear than anything.
Well,
but
he's got New York forever.
All right. We will talk to you again tomorrow at 3.
Let's hear it. Let's hear it.
Replacing your home's AC system isn't exactly pocket change. Let's be real. Most people don't have thousands of dollars just lying around. And that's why Sloman's makes staying cool affordable. Right now, Sloman's central air conditioning makes it easier than ever to upgrade without blowing your budget. Get 0 down, 0 payments, and 0% financing for up to 18 months.